Unless you can't help it, right? Su Luo said softly. Lu Jun couldn't help but laughed out loud again. Oh my God, Director Lu, you've been exposed. Tell me, what is the challenge? Zhu Jai said loudly from the side. Well, our show focuses on the daily lives of couples, so our challenges are also related to that. Lu Jun had just discussed this game session with Ding Lei. They had originally planned to have some simple questions and answers, but a girl from the planning team suddenly said that she heard that the acupressure mat was quite fun. Several people looked at each other, and a hint of similarity flashed in their eyes. Director Lu, please stop keeping us in suspense, Zhu Jai urged. Everyone follow me, Lu Jun said, standing up and walking towards the back of the newly built house. The 7 people followed in confusion. Haha, it hurts just looking at it. Are these 3 platforms meant to be stood on? Lu Jun led everyone to the back of the house, where they saw a huge acupressure board lying on the ground with 3 platforms on top. The moment several people saw the acupressure mat, they were shocked. Director, is this what you just said, the daily life of a couple? Su Luo said with a look of shock and disbelief. Yes, that's it, Harahaha. Lu Jun himself started laughing. Director, I suspect that you came up with this idea at the last minute. Su Luo looked at Lu Jun with a questioning look on her face. Ha. Lu Jun laughed even louder when he heard that. Looking at the director's expression, it seems like Su Luo has guessed it right. It's not really a last-minute idea. From the director's smirk just now to the laughter now, I think it was really a last-minute idea. Director, you are going to cause trouble, Zhu Jai said from the side. Haha, okay, let's talk about the rules. Lu Jun restrained his smile and spoke. See those 3 platforms? 3 groups of celebrity husbands carrying their wives on their backs. We'll show Peng Xiaoman a phrase, and she'll perform it, but she's not allowed to speak. Raise your hands to answer. Couples who answer correctly can go down first. If you answer incorrectly, all the platforms will open and you will fall onto the acupressure mats. There are 5 idioms in total. If all 3 couples leave the platform, the challenge is a success. Do you understand? Wait, I have a question. Zhu Jai raised his hand and said, Please speak. Lu Jun looked at Zhu Jai and said, What if I guess all 5 idioms and fail the challenge? Then start over. Can I try the feeling of falling first? Zhu Jai asked. Okay, Lu Jun said, trying not to laugh. Zhu Jai took off his shoes and walked towards the platform, then stood on it and made an okay gesture to Lu Jun. Lu Jun gestured to the equipment controller beside him. Bang! The board on the platform opened instantly, and Zhu Jai fell on the acupressure board. Zhu Jai's expression suddenly changed. His whole body suddenly froze, and he slowly lay down on the acupressure mat. Ah! A cry slowly came out of Zhu Jai's mouth. Zhu Jai paused and slowly stood up. He screamed and walked to the side. Director, are you sure we can bear this? Zhu Jai walked out of the acupressure mat, sat directly on the ground, kept rubbing the soles of his feet and spoke. Don't worry, the acupressure mat is good for your body, so there won't be any problem, Lu Jun explained. The production team was so cruel. I felt the pain at that moment. Emperor Zhu's expression turned ferocious, but I don't know why I inexplicably wanted to laugh. People's sorrows and joys are not shared, but their sorrows are shared with my joys, ha. It hurts so much just carrying their own weight, and now they have to carry their wives. Ha, I'm really looking forward to it. The number of barrage comments increased at this time. It seemed that the more unlucky the guests were, the happier they were. At this moment, Ding Lei felt as if he had found the password to traffic. Let's start, Zhou Yang said from the side. Then a few people will go up to the platform first. Lu Jun pointed at the platform and said. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu walked to the platform at the edge. Come, wife, I'll carry you. Su Luo held Yi Xiaomu's hand and said with a smile. Okay. Yi Xiaomu walked behind Su Luo, jumped lightly, and jumped directly onto Su Luo's back. Then Su Luo grabbed Yi Xiaomu's thighs with both hands. Xiaomu, just raise your hand. I should know it all. Su Luo instructed Yi Xiaomu. Okay. Yi Xiaomu put his arms around Su Luo's neck and said with a smile. Everything is ready. First question, Peng Xiaoman, get ready. Lu Jun held a board in front of him and said. Peng Xiaoman went over to take a look and first held up 4 fingers. Peng Xiaoman thought for a moment, stretched out 2 fingers, put them on her head, ran a few steps quickly, and suddenly fell to the ground as if she had bumped into something. Then Peng Xiaoman stood up, walked to the side, then walked back, grabbed with her right hand and smiled. Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai were both confused, but Su Luo felt like she had guessed it. Maybe it's just a matter of sitting back and waiting. Yi Xiaomu raised his hand when he heard Su Luo say in a low voice. Yi Xiaomu, please answer. Lu Jun spoke when he saw Yi Zayaramu raise his hand. Sit back and wait, Yi Zayaramu shouted loudly immediately. Answer, everyone looked at Lu Jun nervously. The answer is correct. Yeah, Yi Zayaramu happily hugged Su Luo's neck and leaned over to kiss her. Yi Zayaramu, Su Luo, you can come down and have a rest, Lu Jun said. Su Luo put Yi Zayaramu down, and the two of them walked down from the acupressure mat and sat down under the envious gazes of Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai. Yi Zayaramu sat next to Su Luo, holding Su Luo's arm and just watched quietly. The answer is wrong. Tang Jiru got the second question, but unfortunately she answered it wrong. Prepare to be punished, Lu Jun said. Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai looked nervous, their brows furrowed tightly. Bang! The platform opened again. Zhou Yang, carrying Li No on his back, and Zhu Jai, carrying Tang Jiru on his back, landed directly on the acupressure mat. Zhu Jai's voice rose from low to high. Zhou Yang was fine. She carried Li No out of the acupressure mat directly. Su Luo gave Zhou Yang a thumbs up. Zhou Yang smiled in response. Kill two birds with one stone, Su Luo shouted loudly from below. Li No raised her hand immediately. Kill two birds with one stone. You, Lu Jun immediately looked at Su Luo. Director, the rules of the game don't say I can't give hints, Su Luo said with a smile. The answer is correct. Lu Jun shook his head helplessly. Luo, help. Zhu Jai was the only one left standing on the platform. Brother Jai, don't worry, it won't hurt, Su Luo said with a wicked smile. Yeah, it really doesn't hurt. Zhou Yang also made a joke. Chapter 36, Save me, save me. Save me, save me, Zhu Jai kept murmuring. Peng Zayaramu was swinging her hands and kicking her feet. Su Luo saw it and immediately laughed. It's as if the whole person has let himself go. Why is Manman like this? Is this possessed? But Su Luo really couldn't tell what kind of performance this was. The dancing didn't look like anything. Zhu Jai looked at Su Luo as if asking for help, but Su Luo shrugged. 5.4. The army started counting down on the side. Dancing with joy. Tang Jiru had no choice but to answer the one that was most similar. Wrong answer. Banged. The platform opened, and Zhu Jai, carrying Tang Jiru on his back, fell down instantly. The stinging sensation made Zhu Jai's face flush red. Tang Jiru smiled and got off Zhu Jai and climbed onto the platform. Zhu Jai's face was grim, and he stood on the acupressure mat with his eyes closed, motionless. Brother Jai, what are you doing? Why aren't you moving? Su Luo shouted. I am in so much pain that I can't speak. Zhu Jai spoke to himself word by word with a look of stupid laughter on his face. Honestly, it hurts just looking at it. Actor Zhu feels so miserable, I can't even look at him straight in the face. I just want to laugh. Zhu Jai finally struggled to stand back on the platform. Director Lu, don't make the last question so difficult. Zhu Jai shouted to Director Lu. Okay, I understand. Let's do the most difficult one. Lu Jun stretched out his hand to gesture okay, then said with a sly smile. After hearing this, Tang Jiru covered her mouth and laughed. I don't care if they laugh at me, wife. When you laugh out loud, I feel like you're stabbing me in the back, Zhu Jai said with a dejected look on his face. There was laughter all around, and Tang Jiru laughed even louder. There is a kind of happiness that is built on the suffering of others. I think that at this moment, actor Zhu must feel that his wife is a fool. Tang Jiru laughed enough and looked at her husband, who was indeed quite pitiful. She walked to Zhu Jai, stood on tiptoe, and kissed him on the cheek. Oh, Su Luo immediately started to make a noise. Oh, immediately afterwards, the surrounding staff also started to make a noise. Although Tang Jiru was not young anymore, she still looked like a little girl, squatting behind Zhu Jai with a smile on her face. Zhu Jai looked at Su Luo with a smug look on his face and raised his eyebrows at her. Sometimes men enjoy their wives' pampering and obedience outside, which they can brag about in the future. Seeing this, Su Luo immediately hugged Yi Zayaramu and kissed her on her cherry lips. Boo, another voice came. Yi Zayaramu's face immediately turned red. She slapped Su Luo hard, then lay in Su Luo's arms with a red face. Oh my God, aren't they torturing the guests? Why do I feel so bad when I see this? So sweet, these two guys are so childish, but I like it. Today's dog food has arrived. Are you still shy? Su Luo said gently to Yi Zayaramu in her arms. There are so many people here, and it's a live broadcast. Yi Zayaramu whispered in Su Luo's arms. Dear viewers, minors please watch the live broadcast under the guidance of their guardians. When Su Luo heard Yi Zayaramu's words, she turned around and spoke seriously to the camera. Okay, let's look at question 5. Seeing that time was dragging on, Lu Jun immediately interrupted and signaled the game to continue. For the last question, Su Luo gave another hint, and Zhu Jai and Tang Jiru answered correctly. Congratulations on your successful challenge. Lu Jun picked up the loudspeaker and spoke. Yeah, Yi Xiaomu jumped excitedly and high-fived Peng Xiaoramen. It's not easy. Zhu Jai sighed and slumped aside. At this time, Ding Lei suddenly came out. Dear guests, we will provide unlimited food every day, but you need to cut the wood for the stove yourself. Also, for every tree cut down, 5 trees need to be planted in the open space to the east. Ding Lei said with a smile. He had already decided to do a slow variety show. In fact, seeing the 4 girls chatting over there, their popularity was growing very quickly. He found that the audience might like to listen to some interesting stories within the circle. After all, they had no way to know these things before. So our daily task is to cut down trees and plant trees, right? Su Luo asked. Yes, you can arrange the rest of the time yourselves. Ding Lei nodded. Su Luo immediately understood what Ding Lei meant. Since it was daily, it must be related to daily life. Otherwise, you have to run around every day just to eat, and the audience will definitely get tired of it. Su Luo, Zhou Yang, and Zhu Jai looked at each other and nodded. We have no problem, Zhou Yang replied. Everyone has worked hard today, let's go to bed early. Ding Lei said as he saw that it was almost 10 o'clock. A few people nodded, and first went to the room given to Peng Xiaoramen to take a look. Basically, everything was there, so everyone felt relieved, said good night, and left. Zhu Jai followed Tang Jiru back to the room. Tang Jiru asked Zhu Jai to sit in the living room and took off his socks. Looking at the red soles of Zhu Jai's feet, Tang Jiru's eyes reddened. Does it hurt? Tang Jiru asked with concern. It doesn't hurt anymore. Don't worry, Zhu Jai said, pulling Tang Jiru up and letting her sit in his room. Tang Jiru lay quietly in Zhu Jai's arms without saying a word. Is it 10 o'clock? Zhu Jai asked. Yeah, Tang Jiru nodded. Fix it. You're just playing the same old trick, husband. Tang Jiru patted Zhu Jai. It was already past 10 o'clock, and all the cameras were turned off. Husband, Tang Jiru called sweetly. Zhu Jai shuddered. She naturally knew what Tang Jiru was thinking, but there was nothing she could do. If she didn't have a child, Tang Jiru would be 30 soon. The older the mother is, the more dangerous it is, so after being together for a few years, it's time for them to have a child. Wife, go take a shower first, Zhu Jai said with a wry smile in his heart, while touching his waist without leaving any trace. Let's go together, husband, Tang Jiru winked at Zhu Jai. Zhu Jai naturally did not refuse, and followed Tang Jiru into the bathroom. Soon a magnificent concert was staged in the bathroom. On the other side, Su Luo held Yi Xiaomu's hand and returned to the room. Xiaomu, are you tired? Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu with concern. I'm not tired. I didn't do anything today. Yi Xiaomu leaned quietly on Su Luo and spoke gently. By the way, Su Luo, there is something I am worried about. At this time, a worry appeared on Yi Xiaomu's face. What's wrong? Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu seriously and asked. Chapter 37 Mud Opening. Yi Xiaomu looked at the time, and it was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Today, Sister Ru said she's trying to get pregnant. She said drinking alcohol to get pregnant might have an impact on the child. I'm a little worried. After all, you drank too much that night, and I was drugged. Yi Xiaomu looked at Su Luo with a worried look on his face and said in a low voice, You went for a checkup a few days ago, and didn't the doctor say everything was normal? Su Luo held Yi Xiaomu's hand and spoke gently. Yes, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid our child will be unhealthy. As Yi Xiaomu spoke, she seemed a little sad and her eyes began to turn red. Xiaomu, don't worry, there's nothing wrong. We should trust the doctors, they are the most professional. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu and felt a little distressed. She held his shoulders with both hands and started talking. Really? Yi Xiaomu seemed to believe it a little. Su Luo took Yi Xiaomu into his arms, knowing that Yi Xiaomu's temperament would definitely change during her pregnancy. At this time, he needed to protect her. Of course it's true, our child is very healthy. Su Luo patted Yi Xiaomu's back and said softly. After a long time, Yi Xiaomu's mood gradually calmed down. Su Luo, I'm fine. Yi Xiaomu sat up straight and said. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu's face seriously, and she rolled her eyes and slapped Su Luo. Hate it, why are you looking at me like that? Yi Xiaomu's face looked a little embarrassed. She felt as awkward now as she did with affection and emotion just now. Well, it seems that you won't have any wild thoughts anymore, Su Luo teased. Yi Xiaomu didn't say anything, just pouted and looked at Su Luo. You can be a bystander like this. Su Luo was amused by seeing Yi Xiaomu acting coquettishly. Then Su Luo raised her hand and pressed Yi Xiaomu's pouting lips. You are so mean, you just laugh at me, Yi Xiaomu said, pretending to be angry. The man is not bad. You know. Su Luo raised her eyebrows at Yi Zayaramu. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to take a shower. Yi Zayaramu reached out and patted Su Luo, then stood up and walked towards the bathroom with her pajamas. Wait, Su Luo suddenly spoke. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo in confusion. You are pregnant now. In order to protect you, I must take a bath with you, Su Luo said seriously. Open it. Yi Zayaramu turned around and pushed Su Luo with a smile. Su Luo grabbed her and held Yi Zayaramu's hand against the wall. The two looked at each other. Yi Zayaramu felt Su Luo's fiery gaze, her heartbeat quickened, and she slowly closed her eyes. Su Luo looked at Yi Zayaramu's willing appearance and lowered her head to kiss her cherry lips. Feeling the softness, Yi Zayaramu gradually became a little breathless. He pushed Su Luo away, lowered his head and blushed and walked around Su Luo. I'm going to take a shower, don't come in. Yi Zayaramu looked up at Su Luo and whispered. Then he walked into the bathroom. Su Luo smiled and thought, well, when a girl says no, she actually means yes. So she took her pajamas and walked to the bathroom door. Gently turning the handle, the door was not locked. Su Luo opened the door and walked in. Yi Zayaramu had just taken off her clothes and saw Su Luo coming in. She crossed her arms and exclaimed in surprise. Wife, let's take a shower together, Su Luo said gently. Yi Zayaramu blushed and felt helpless. Since it was already like this, what else could she refuse? She nodded. Su Luo looked at the flawless Yi Zayaramu, and her heart was beating fast. But now was obviously not the time to make trouble for her. Su Luo felt amused as she looked at Yi Zayaramu, who kept his head down and didn't dare to look at her. However, he did not do anything. After all, Su Luo's main purpose was to get closer to Yi Zayaramu. It is obvious that in the current situation, there is almost no barrier between the two people who are honest with each other. Half an hour later, Su Luo carried Yi Zayaramu out of the bathroom and gently placed her on the bed. Let me help you blow dry your hair, Su Luo said gently. Yeah, although Yi Zayaramu was shy, she had obviously accepted Su Luo from the bottom of her heart. Although he was a little fickle before, he has given me a sense of security since he has been with me. Su Luo took the hair dryer, plugged it in, turned it on to medium speed, and started to blow Yi Zayaramu's hair. Those who say they have never blow-dried a girl's hair and don't know how to do it are all lying. Su Luo had never helped a girl blow-dry her hair before, but at this moment, she was helping Yi Zayaramu blow-dry her hair very smoothly. Wife, what do you want to eat tomorrow morning? After the bathing incident, Su Luo was obviously more shameless, and the word wife came more easily to him. I want to eat snail noodles, ha. Yi Zayaramu said and laughed. That might be a bit difficult. We only have flour and some vegetables. How about I make dumplings for you tomorrow morning? In the evening, Su Luo saw the production crew put some flour and vegetables into the refrigerator. She estimated that the meat would not be prepared until tomorrow morning. The program team just told them the rules. From now on, they only need to consider planting trees, and the program team will prepare the ingredients. I don't really want to eat it. Can you make noodles, or let's just eat noodles? Yi Zayaramu thought for a while and said, Okay, I'll give it to you to eat tomorrow morning, Su Luo said with a smile. You old pervert, you're driving again? Yi Zayaramu reached out, patted Su Luo's leg and scolded with a smile. Haha, I mean I'm making noodles for you to eat. What are you thinking about? Su Luo then realized that what she had just said was ambiguous. Then do you want to eat my bottom? Then Su Luo took away the hair dryer, leaned close to Yi Zayaramu's ear and whispered. Go away. Yi Zayaramu's face turned red. Although she was pregnant, she had never experienced these things before, so she was naturally a little shy. Su Luo smiled and touched Yi Zayaramu's hair, which was just dry. Putting down the hair dryer, Su Luo picked up the comb and helped Yi Zayaramu comb her hair simply. Wife, let's go to bed. Su Luo put down the comb, looked at Yi Zayaramu and said, Yeah, Yi Zayaramu's face was still a little red at this time. She nodded and lay down on the bed. Su Luo also lay down and hugged Yi Zayaramu. Yi Zayaramu turned around, faced Su Luo, and leaned into Su Luo's arms. Su Luo, do you miss it very much? Yi Zayaramu snuggled in Su Luo's arms, feeling Su Luo's heartbeat, thinking of the scene in the bathroom, and spoke in a low voice. Don't think too much, go to sleep. Su Luo naturally thought about it, but Yi Zayaramu was pregnant now, so what could she do? I can help you. Yi Zayaramu raised his head, looked at Su Luo, and said seriously. Feeling Yi Zayaramu's hands groping around in her arms, Su Luo reached out to stop Yi Zayaramu. Be obedient and wait until you're through this period. It won't be good for the child if you get emotional, Su Luo whispered to Yi Zayaramu. Hearing Su Luo's words, Yi Zayaramu's hands immediately stopped. After a moment, Yi Zayaramu raised the corners of his mouth, moved in Su Luo's arms and closed his eyes. Su Luo looked at Yizairamu, smiled, and then closed her eyes. Chapter 38. I haven't brushed my teeth yet. The next day, 7 a.m. Su Luo woke up, feeling the octopus on his body. He smiled slightly and slowly moved out of bed. Looking at Yizairamu, who was dazed and kept moving towards the bed, Su Luo leaned over, kissed Yizairamu on the forehead, and patted her back at the same time. Finally, I know another reason why Yizairamu's baby is so small. He likes to sleep on his stomach. I'll go make breakfast, you sleep a little longer, Su Luo said softly. For the sake of the baby, Su Luo placed a pillow in front of Yizairamu and let her sleep on her side. Yizairamu answered in a daze, then fell asleep hugging the pillow. Su Luo stopped and looked for a while, then confirmed that she was fine. She found 2 towels and covered the 2 cameras in the bedroom. In case Yizairamu is still sleeping at 8 o'clock, it would be inconvenient to broadcast live. Su Luo doesn't want others to see Yizairamu sleeping. Su Luo also discussed this with the director team. After all, Yizairamu is a pregnant woman, so it is normal for her to be sleepy, so they try not to broadcast Room 3 Live in the morning. So in order to prevent operational errors, he covered the 2 cameras in the bedroom. TT keyword add data title equals game, data tag equals featured recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1913, /TT keyword add Su Luo took off her pajamas, changed her clothes, and simply washed up. After doing all this, Su Luo walked out of house number 3 and closed the door gently. Looking at the courtyard, I saw that the program crew had already started preparing for work. Director Lu, good morning. Do you need any help? Su Luo said, looking at Lu Jun, who was debugging the equipment. Su Luo, good morning. It's not necessary. It's almost ready here. Why are you up so early? Lu Jun looked up and found that it was Su Luo, so he greeted her. It's my first day sleeping outside, and I'm a little uncomfortable, Su Luo said with a smile. The show starts at 8 o'clock. You should get ready and fix your hair. Lu Jun looked at Su Luo's messy hair and reminded her. I'll do it, I'll do it. At this time, a crisp voice came, and Lu Mio ran over from behind the crowd. She took out a comb from her bag. This was Yizairamu's comb. Lu Mio also had some cosmetics in her bag, which were specially used to help Yizairamu take care of herself. Now that Su Luo and Yizairamu are married, he is her brother-in-law, and her task is naturally to take good care of these 2 people. Lu Mio stood in front of Su Luo and raised her hand to comb Su Luo's hair. Then he fiddled with it a few times with his hands, looked up, and found that there was no big problem. Do you want to put on some makeup? Lu Mio looked at Su Luo and asked. No need, this is fine. Thank you, Mio. Su Luo smiled at Lu Mio. Okay, brother-in-law, then you prepare to record the show. I'm nearby. Call me if you have anything. Lu Mio said coquettishly. Okay, don't go too far. Come back for breakfast later. Su Luo nodded and walked towards the kitchen. Lu Mio looked at the time. There were still 40 minutes until 8 o'clock. She squinted her eyes and followed with a smile. Su Luo walked into the kitchen and looked at Mio, who followed her with confusion. Hee, there are still 40 minutes left. I came to see you cooking. Sister Zairamu said your cooking is really delicious. Lu Mio said with a silly smile. Okay, then you wait a moment. Su Luo looked at Lu Mio, who looked like a child, and smiled. If Lu Mio knew what Su Luo was thinking, she would probably want him to see her usual state. She was still a child. She was the same age as Su Luo. Su Luo took out the flour, poured a little into the basin, thought for a while, and poured in some more. Add some salt, then add water in batches while stirring constantly. Stir the dough into flocks, and then knead it into a ball. Then Su Luo found a piece of plastic wrap, wrapped the dough, and set it aside. I opened the refrigerator and looked inside, and saw some bone broth sauce packets. Su Luo thought about it and started to work. He asked Mio to help him light a fire, boiled a pot of bone broth, and boiled water in another pot. The dough had risen enough, and Su Luo began to knead it. The surface, which had been rough just now, began to become smooth. Roll the dough into long strips, cut into 8 pieces, and roll each into sticks. Brother-in-law, what are you doing? Mio looked at Su Luo's actions and asked curiously. Make ramen, Su Luo said, pulling all 8 doughs into thin strips. Then Su Luo took out the seasonings and placed them in 8 bowls. Then she added broth to 2 bowls. Next, put 2 portions of the pulled noodles in. Soon, the ramen was ready. Lu Mio could not help swallowing her saliva while enjoying the aroma of the ramen. Mio, this is yours, eat it. If you need it spicy, add it yourself. Su Luo handed over a bowl of ramen and spoke. Thank you, brother-in-law. Lu Mio's eyes lit up. She took the ramen and took a bite. Wow, brother-in-law, it's so delicious, so delicious. Lu Mio smiled so hard that her eyes narrowed. As long as it tastes good, you eat it first. I'll take it to Zairamu. Su Luo smiled and walked out of the kitchen with a bowl. Zairamu, get up and have breakfast before going back to sleep. Su Luo put the noodles on the bedside table, sat on the edge of the bed, and spoke. Ah, oh. Yizayamu sat up in a daze, her nose twitching slightly. It smells good, Yizayamu said, and when she opened her eyes, she saw Su Luo looking at her. Good morning, Yizayamu's gentle voice came out. Good morning, wife. Eat something before going to bed. Su Luo looked at Yizayamu and said gently. Yeah, Yizayamu squinted her eyes and nodded, then picked up the bowl on the bedside table and started eating. It's delicious, so delicious, Yizayamu praised while eating noodles. Eat slowly, be careful of the heat, Su Luo said with a smile. Have you got a meal yet? Not yet, I'll eat later. Then let's eat together, Yizayamu said with a smile. You eat, there's more outside. I'll go out to eat later. Ah, you eat. Yizayamu picked up a piece of food with chopsticks while holding the bowl and leaned towards Su Luo. Su Luo had no choice but to open her mouth, bite, and suck, accepting what Yizayamu fed her. Okay, you eat first, I'll eat later, Su Luo said after finishing eating. Yizayamu lowered her head and began to eat. The sound of slurping noodles could be heard continuously. I'm done eating. Yizayamu even drank the soup. Ah, Yizayamu screamed as Su Luo just took the dishes and chopsticks. What's wrong? Su Luo asked nervously. I haven't brushed my teeth, Yizayamu said with a bitter face. It's okay, I don't dislike you. Su Luo felt relieved and said with a smile, then lowered her head and kissed Yizayamu on the lips. Hee, I'm glad you don't mind. Yizayamu herself felt that she was a bit of a loser now, but there was someone who spoiled her, wasn't there? Rest for a while and get up when you've had enough sleep, Su Luo said as he stood up. Okay, Yizayamu lay back on the bed and said sweetly. Chapter 39, Feeling the Care of Home. Go to sleep, I'll go out first, Su Luo said, leaning over and kissing Yizayamu. Seeing her blushing face and closed eyes, Su Luo turned and walked out of the room. Brother-in-law, I'm leaving the courtyard first. The show will start in 5 minutes. As soon as Su Luo walked out of cabin number 3, Lu Mia was waiting at the door. Okay, are you full? Su Luo nodded and asked with a smile. Well, I'm full, it's so delicious. I just don't know if I can eat it again in the future. Lu Mia looked at Su Luo expectantly. Get up early in the morning and I can make you one. Su Luo looked at Lu Mia, smiled and said, Okay, thank you, brother-in-law, I'll go first. Lu Mia said happily with a happy look on her face, then ran out of the yard. Su Luo smiled. If it were in the past, he could have won over a simple girl like Lu Mia in minutes. But now he no longer pursues these things. After all, she is Yizayamu's assistant. Yizayamu treats her as a sister, so Su Luo naturally treats her as a sister as well. When Su Luo walked into the kitchen, it was exactly 8 o'clock. First place check-in. Wow, this little brother gets up so early. I'm cooking noodles, they look delicious. As soon as the live broadcast started, the barrage of comments immediately increased. Emperor Zhu and King Zhou are also up now. Su Luo saw that it was already 8 o'clock, so she cooked the remaining 5 bowls of noodles. What's that smell? It smells so good. Zhu Jai's voice came from the kitchen door. Brother Jai, good morning. I made some ramen, help yourself. Su Luo was cooking noodles when she looked up and saw Zhu Jai walk in and said, Sure, you're the chef, Zhu Jai said with a smile. After last night's performance, Zhu Jai realized that Su Luo's cooking skills were excellent. She could even make the simple ramen so delicious in the morning. It's okay, Su Luo said casually. Several people sat in the yard with noodles and started eating. Let me tell you, Su Luo, this is an amazing move of yours, Tang Jiru said. I agree. I think Su Luo will be our cooking supervisor from now on. Zhu Jai raised his hand to show his agreement. Su Luo smiled and said nothing. In fact, he mainly made it for Yizayamu, and the others were just there as a side job. Where is Zairamu? Why isn't she coming out for breakfast? Tang Jiru asked in confusion. She's already eaten it this morning. Let her sleep a little longer, Su Luo said with a smile. You are so nice to her. Tang Jiru sighed, turning her head and glaring at Zhu Jai. It's okay, Su Luo scratched his head. He saw Zhu Jai winking at him, and he felt funny in his heart, so he didn't talk about it. After watching this show, I already foresee that my future will be difficult. Is it really okay to curl it this way? Su Luo, you go and have a rest. I'll clean up here. After everyone finished eating, Tang Jiru stood up and said, Okay, thank you for your help, Sister Ru. Su Luo nodded and did not refuse. Su Luo returned to the room and found Yizayamu still sleeping. so she did not disturb her and quietly left the room. I found a chair, sat in the yard and basked in the sun. Su Luo, I've watched the trailer. A voice came from the side. Su Luo opened her eyes and saw Zhou Yang holding a chair and sitting next to her. Brother Zhou, Su Luo called out. You have strong dancing skills, Zhou Yang praised. After all, he is a triple king of film, television, and music, so he has naturally learned singing and dancing. It's just that he is older now, so his focus is on movies and television. Just dancing around. Su Luo smiled and said shyly. She was still a little embarrassed to be praised by the king. Zhou Yang didn't say anything else. Like Su Luo, he just basked in the sun quietly. After a while, Zhu Jai also moved a chair and sat over. It's really comfortable, Zhu Jai said with emotion after sitting down. Brother Jai, why are you here? Weren't you chatting with them just now? Su Luo looked at Zhu Jai in confusion. Just now, Zhu Jai was chatting with Tang Jiru, Li Ne, and Peng Xiaoman. I was originally chatting with them about Peng Xiaoman's upcoming TV series, but as the conversation progressed, it turned to whether or not to wear thermal underwear, so I came over, Zhu Jai said with an embarrassed look on his face. Haha, Zhou Yang laughed out loud. Girls' conversations were like this sometimes, wild and unexpected. Should I wear long johns? I just saw it. When Zhu Jai left, I felt so awkward watching him that I couldn't say anything. A lot of times, it feels like guys prefer to play with guys, and there's nothing awkward about anything they say. What are we going to do today? Zhu Jai said, then looked at Zhou Yang. After all, he was the big brother and the most famous, so he would automatically follow Zhou Yang's arrangements in many things. Alas, it's a pity that Peng Xiaoman is a girl, Zhou Yang sighed. When Su Luo and Zhu Jai heard this, they both looked at Zhou Yang at the same time. The three of them looked at each other, as if communicating something in their eyes, and then nodded at the same time. What kind of puzzle are these three people playing? If I understand correctly, they want the guests to do the work. So these are actually three bad men. Oh my God, I can't imagine these are words that King Zhou would say. What are you talking about? Li Ne walked over and saw three people who seemed to be plotting something. Sister Na, Su Luo and Zhu Jai greeted each other. Nothing, just discussing what we should do today. Zhou Yang restrained his smile and spoke seriously. Have you discussed it yet? The weather is nice today. The food is provided by the program team and there is enough wood. We plan to bask in the sun today, Zhou Yang said. The wood in the kitchen will probably only last for 2 days, right? Do you want to prepare it in advance? Li Ne walked to Zhou Yang and asked. No need, I have already grasped the essence of this program, Zhou Yang said seriously. What essence? We want our guests to feel the care of home when they come here, Zhou Yang replied with a smile. It's like having a farm stay, Zhu Jai added. You also need to feel the joy of harvesting hard work, Su Luo added. After the three of them finished speaking, they laughed. Why are you like children? Li Ne looked at the three people, then looked at Zhou Yang, patted him, and said with a smile. It sounds grand, but in reality, it means the guests are being asked to do the work. I feel like there are other guests coming to this show. Although I think the three of them are a bit bad, I have an inexplicable sense of anticipation. What's going on? Why did my King Zhou suddenly become so sinister? Of course, Zhou Yang did not become like this suddenly, but the program team reminded him. After all, the program team still needs some content. Letting guests do the work, this kind of content will attract the interest of a large number of viewers. Chapter 40, Zhu Jai and his wife's social death scene. You guys chat first, I suddenly remembered that I have something to do, Su Luo suddenly said. What's the matter? Zhu Jai asked. There is some open space near the kitchen. I plan to build a chicken coop to raise chickens. Su Luo pointed to the kitchen in the distance and spoke. Raising chickens. These are the chickens Xiaoman brought yesterday. There are still a few tied there. If we raise them, we might get eggs to eat in the future, Su Luo said with a smile. That's great, let me help you. Zhu Jai immediately stood up and said. Let's go together, Zhou Yang said at this time. Brother Zhou, you guys can chat over here. Brother Jai and I can handle this. It would be difficult to handle it with more people. Su Luo stopped Zhou Yang. They said that not everyone could do the same thing, as that would waste too much time. Brother Jai, I took a look and found that this wood is just enough to build a chicken coop. So, after we are done, we still need to go cut down some trees. Su Luo pointed to a pile of long wood strips and said, Sure, no problem, Zhu Jai nodded. As an actor, he has experienced all kinds of hardships. The two of them divided the work. Su Luo used a knife to trim the wood and drill holes at the same time. Zhu Jai strung them together in groups of 10 using wire. Soon the two of them finished processing all the wood. Brother, you are amazing. With this skill, you can make furniture. What a talented little brother. No wonder our Mew Mew likes him. Then Zhu Jai took a shovel and dug a circle of holes, and the two of them built a fence around it. In order to prevent rain, Su Luo deliberately left a few high ones so that she could add tarpaulins later. Su Luo looked at the cameraman filming nearby and walked over. TT keyword add data title equals game, data tag equals featured recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1913 / TT keyword add a hum. The chicken coop is almost done. It's 2 meters long and 1 meter wide. Listen up, next guest. Remember to buy some rainproof cloth and bring it with you, Su Luo said with a smile. Good boy, little brother is really rude. Whoever the next guest is, will leave a message on his Weibo. Strongly request the program team to announce the next guest. At Celebrity Couple's daily program team, the barrage instantly became lively. Normally, everyone is busy with work all day, and now it is a rare time to relax. Watching this kind of slow variety show is also a way to relax. Ding Lei naturally also saw the barrage in the director's office and looked at Li Xiaoshuang beside him. Who is our next guest? When will they be here? The next guest is Chen Chichai, Li Xiaoshuang said. Okay, post his name on Weibo right away. Also, from now on, all our guests will be announced a day in advance. Ding Lei's eyes lit up. This also increased the interactivity of the program. Su Luo was really a lucky star. Director Ding, should we notify him? What if he doesn't bring a rain sheet? Li Xiaoshuang asked. Of course I won't notify him, but I'll let him on Weibo. If he really hasn't seen it, then there's nothing we can do. Ding Lei said with a smile that there would be ratings only if there were conflicts. Of course, if a problem really occurred, they would find a way to smooth things over in the end. Okay. A few minutes later, everyone check out the program team's Weibo. The next guest is Chen Chichai. Everyone hurry up and leave a message. He will arrive at the compound tomorrow. It's too late. No matter whether you can make it in time or not, just leave a message. Dear audience, if the next guest doesn't bring a tarp, he must be asked to cut down 2 trees and plant 4 trees. Otherwise, he might not be able to leave. Of course, this does not include girls. Su Luo put 3 chickens into the chicken coop and then spoke to the camera. Ha ha ha, little brother is so bad, I like it. It has to be this way, it has to be this way. It would be best if each guest could be assigned a task in advance and then have to do something if they can't complete it. Ding Lei's eyes lit up as he looked at the comments. What a great idea. Furthermore, it could also be reversed. The guests could make requests beforehand and both sides could cheat each other. That's a good idea. We might consider doing that later. Li Xiaoshuang? Ding Lei thought and started to discuss with Li Xiaoshuang. Su Luo couldn't see the barrage of comments. So after she finished speaking, she walked into the kitchen, took the remaining wood, and built a small shed specifically for placing orders for chickens. Okay, Su Luo and Zhu Jai stood next to the chicken coop and nodded with satisfaction. Su Luo, did you guys make this? It's great. Zhou Yang walked over at this time and exclaimed in admiration at the chicken coop in front of him. The others also came over and looked at the chicken coop in surprise. Su Luo, Zhu Jai, awesome. Lina also praised from the side. It would be great if you were so enthusiastic about having children. Tang Jiru muttered softly, and Zhu Jai happened to hear it. I'll try. I have to try hard to make my wife satisfied. Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jiru in a flattering manner and whispered in her ear. Okay, then from now on, we'll do it at least once every night during the dangerous period. Tang Jiru also said in a low voice. Did these two think we couldn't hear them? Is this the sexual exchange between a married couple? I can imagine how socially devastated they will be when they see their own recordings after the show ends. Brother Jai, Sister Ru, have you forgotten the radios on your bodies? Su Luo watched the two of them whispering to each other and rolled her eyes. Ah, Zhu Jai looked confused, while Tang Jiru beside him blushed. Well, there was nothing just now. Cut that part, Zhu Jai said immediately after he reacted. Brother Jai, what did you say? You too? Su Luo looked at Zhu Jai with a wicked smile. Also, let me remind you that the show is live, so that part can't be edited out. I'm leaving first. Tang Jiru felt a little embarrassed when she saw that everyone around her was looking at her mischievously. She said this and immediately ran back to the house. This is a bit embarrassing. Dear audience friends, please delete that part from your minds, Zhu Jai said with a wry smile. Eiji, you'd better stop talking. You're exposing your IQ, Zhou Yang said with a smile. Well, I just worked and I'm sweating. I'm going to take a shower and change clothes. Zhu Jai coughed dryly and immediately ran towards the house. He said, I can't live on Blue Planet anymore. I want to go back to Mars. Suluo also said something, and then walked towards the house. Zhu Jai returned to the room and looked at Tanjiro. Both of them felt a little embarrassed. It was too social. Well, dear audience friends, these sweet words between husband and wife are all like this, everyone just laughs. Zhu Jai explained to the camera. Haha, the two of them seem to be in a state of social turmoil. I'm dying of laughter. Does Mr. Zhu have to be so funny? But it's really time for them to have a child. After all, the result has been a while. Bless them. Bless them. Sympathize with Mr. Zhu. Something's wrong upstairs. Chapter 40, One Morning Routine. Suluo returned to the room and found Yizairamu still asleep, lying spread eagle on the bed. Suluo looked at Yizairamu's unrestrained, sleeping posture, smiled, and walked forward with a hint of fondness in her eyes. Suluo walked to the bed and sat down, quietly looking at the sleeping Yizairamu. A tranquil face, fair and delicate skin, a perky butt and a little bunny. Yizairamu's eyes moved and she slowly opened them, and saw Suluo staring at her. Following Suluo's gaze, he saw that it was his pet. Suluo, Yizairamu called out coquettishly. Suluo came back to her senses and looked at Yizairamu. Seeing her looking at her with a teasing expression, Suluo's face turned red and she turned off the radio. Does it look good? Yizairamu said sweetly. I can't see, it's too small. Suluo put away her embarrassment and immediately teased Yizairamu. How can you tease me like this? I have to be careful. Ah, not small at all, you always say I'm small. Yizairamu exclaimed, immediately sat up, hugged Suluo and said dissatisfiedly. Just tell me how tall you are, Suluo asked with a smile. 169, Yizairamu said proudly. What about your weight? I weighed 98 kilograms when I checked a few days ago. Yizairamu said after thinking for a moment. TT keyword add data title equals game, data tag equals featured recommendations. Data type equals 1, data value equals 1913, /TT keyword add, that's it. If you weigh less than 100 pounds, you're either flat-chested or short. Suluo shrugged and said with a smile. Ah, Yizairamu's face turned red, and she immediately took Suluo's hand and placed it on the little rabbit. Are you still young? Yizairamu asked in a low voice. It's not small, it's really not small, Suluo murmured because Yizairamu pulled down her pajamas. Suluo felt the softness, and her mind was blank. Although it was not the first time she touched Yizairamu's little rabbit, Suluo liked this feeling very much. Are you okay? Let me go. Yizairamu's face flushed and he said in a low voice. Cough. Suluo coughed dryly and took her hand away. Zairo-mu, did you sleep well? Do you want to sleep a little longer? Suluo lifted Yizairamu's pajamas and asked gently. No more sleep, I've slept enough. Yizairamu shook his head. Then get up, we need to turn on the camera later. Suluo patted Yizairamu and said with a smile. I want you to hug me. Yizairamu sat on the bed, opened her arms and said coquettishly. Suluo smiled, stretched out her hands, and passed them through Yizairamu's armpits. Then, Yizairamu wrapped her legs around Suluo's waist and was dragged by Suluo into the bathroom with her legs raised. Yizairamu loosened his legs, stepped on Suluo's changed slippers, slowly turned around and began to brush his teeth. Liu, can I call you that? Yizairamu spit out the foam from his mouth and spoke. Of course not, you have to call me husband, Suluo said with a smile. I'm embarrassed to keep calling you husband. Yizairamu's voice became much softer. You can call me whatever you want. Suluo reached out and scratched Yizairamu's nose. Well, Yizairamu turned around and kissed Suluo on the face with her foamy mouth. Then he looked at Suluo in the mirror and started laughing. Stop making trouble and wash up quickly. Suluo looked at Yizairamu and smiled, then reached out and tapped Yizairamu's head. Yizairamu reached out and touched some water, gently helped Suluo wipe off the foam, and rinsed a few mouthfuls of water himself. Then she washed her face and looked at Yizairamu in shock. Zairo-mu, is this how you usually wash your face? Suluo looked at Yizairo-mu in surprise. This is to wash your face directly with cold water. I suggest that you consider washing your face with cold water after washing it with hot water. In summer, use cold water. That's how I wash when there's no notice, Yizairamu said casually. Then why is your skin so good? Because my sister is naturally beautiful. After washing her face, Yizairamu turned around and spoke to Suluo while stretching out her hands. Suluo picked up Yizairamu again and walked out of the bathroom. Is it heavy? Yizairamu asked with concern. It's not heavy, very light, Suluo replied with a smile. But I will get fat soon and then you won't be able to hold me, Yizairamu said with a pout. Suluo walked to the bed and slowly put Yizairamu down. Even if you weigh another 100 pounds, I can still hold you. It's just a matter of how long. Su Luo shook her head and said with a smile. You only weigh 100 pounds. Yi Zayaramu pouted and said dissatisfiedly. Don't worry, no matter how heavy you are, I will hug you if you want. Su Luo smiled and rubbed Yi Zayaramu's head. Yeah, Yi Zayaramu nodded with satisfaction. Get up quickly, I'll take you out for a walk, Su Luo said when she saw Yi Zayaramu's expression. Okay, Yi Zayaramu nodded, raised the corners of his mouth slightly and spoke. Huh, aren't you going out? A few minutes later, Yi Zayaramu found Su Luo still sitting by the bed. Why should I go out, wife? We went to the bathroom together yesterday. Su Luo mentioned what happened yesterday, then looked at Yi Zayaramu with a smirk on her face. You old pervert, just bear with it a little longer, it will be over soon. Yi Zayaramu teased Su Luo and took off her pajamas. The white and tender skin, and the two delicate and firm little rabbits are indeed fascinating. Gurgled the sound of swallowing saliva. Su Luo's throat moved, and she seemed to be a little greedy. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo and burst out laughing. Is my figure really great? Yi Zayaramu asked Su Luo again. Great, Su Luo said as she handed the clothes to Yi Zayaramu. Liu Liu, Yi Zayaramu, who had put on her clothes, suddenly spoke. What's wrong, Zayaramu? Su Luo looked at Yi Zayaramu in confusion. Do you want to make your debut? Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo seriously and asked solemnly. Why do you suddenly ask this? Su Luo did not answer Yi Zayaramu but asked back. Well, I just feel that your dancing is amazing, and it seems that you are not nervous at all in front of the camera. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo with admiration and spoke excitedly. Oh, has she become my little fangirl? Su Luo said, waving her hands casually twice. Yeah, little fangirl. Sister Tan said before that if you entered the entertainment industry, you would become famous quickly. Yi Zayaramu pulled Su Luo and did it on the edge of the bed in the bedroom. The cameras here were not turned on at the moment, so there was no need to worry about anyone watching. Are you serious? Su Luo looked at Yi Zayaramu. Yes, I can't let you be buried because of me. Yi Zayaramu nodded heavily. Actually, I don't care whether I'm a star or not. As long as I can be with you, that's enough. Su Luo smiled at Yi Zayaramu. As the two of them became closer, Su Luo felt better and better about Yi Zayaramu. Sometimes she thought that it would be nice to be together for the rest of her life. Yi Zayaramu listened to Su Luo's words with a smile on her face. She sat on Su Luo's legs, hugged Su Luo, and kissed her. A reward for you, Yi Zayaramu said with narrowed eyes. Chapter 42, you have to take the initiative, right? Actually, if you also enter the entertainment industry, we don't have to separate. Yi Zayaramu hesitated for a moment and spoke. After all, if Su Luo really didn't go out to work and became her assistant, she didn't think it was a big deal, but many people would gossip about it. Yi Zayaramu was worried that Su Luo would mind these rumors. It's okay, let's talk about it later. Let's finish the show first, Su Luo said softly. Then wait until this show is over, then tell me. Yi Zayaramu said seriously after parting their lips. Okay, let's go out first. Su Luo nodded, holding Yi Zayaramu's hand and speaking. Okay, wait a minute, Yi Zayaramu said, pulling Su Luo and removing the towels from the two cameras. Let's go. After Yi Zayaramu finished, he took Su Luo's arm and spoke. The two held hands and walked into the living room. Wow, Mumu is out. Mumu is so beautiful. Mumu, I want to have a baby with you. The guy upstairs, you're dreaming. Miu Miu already has a monkey. Su Luo took Yi Zayaramu out of the room and sat in the pavilion in the courtyard. The warm sunshine fell on the two of them, and the breeze was accompanied by the fragrance of flowers. The morning sun smiles sweetly, and the breeze is gentle on my face. You have been dancing in my heart for many years. A light and ethereal voice came out of Yi Zayaramu's mouth. Well, I was so busy raising fish before that I didn't listen to much music. You know what, Yi Zayaramu sang really well. Su Luo held Yi Zayaramu's hand, closed her eyes, and listened quietly. Yi Zayaramu sang softly while leaning her head on Su Luo's shoulder beside her. This scene is amazing. The live broadcast showed the backs of two people, with the girl leaning on the boy's shoulder and the boy's head tilted towards the girl. Love that goes both ways is really sweet. Miu Miu's singing is so beautiful. As expected of a queen of the music world, this a cappella performance is truly remarkable, especially the visuals. Smart guy, I've taken a screenshot. I'm going to use it as my wallpaper. At this time, the socially dead Zhu Jai and Tang Jiru, as well as Peng Zayaraman, were behind Su Luo and the other person. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 /TT keyword add sister Ru. These two people are so romantic. Peng Xiaoman said excitedly while holding Tang Jiru's arm. Yes, I like this feeling too. It's like we're in this together. Tang Jiru said this, glaring at Zhu Jai, but her eyes were full of smiles. Although she and Zhu Jai are not together often, when they are together, they always act like a couple who have just gotten together. Zhu Jai would pamper her and care about her, and she would also act like a spoiled brat without restraint. Of course, when Zhu Jai needed care, she would turn into a caring sister and stay by his side. Although she envies other people's feelings, Tang Jiru cherishes her own more. At this time, Zhu Jai smiled and rubbed Tang Jiru's head, then looked at the camera and spoke seriously. Dear viewers, remember this scene. One day they will be old, the rising sun will turn into the setting sun, and the young ones will also be old. Appearing in this picture together, then, these two images must be the witness of their lifelong love. Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai with admiration, and she suddenly realized, does this wooden man also understand romance? I imagined it, and it was such a beautiful scene. I'm a fan of Miu Miu. I've saved this picture. When they get older, I'll definitely go and witness the process of taking another photo. Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai expectantly, as if she was hoping he would ask her to take a photo like this. Zhu Jai felt warm in his heart when he saw Tang Jiru's expression. He turned around and went to the cameraman, watching through the camera. Master, just keep this angle and don't move. Zhu Jai quickly asked the cameraman to keep one direction and not move. At this time, the live broadcast room has switched to the camera of the cameraman, arranged by Zhu Jai. Wow, this picture, with the light coming from the upper left corner, is so beautiful. The scattered trees and the green lawn are so beautiful. Actor Zhu still has some romantic elements. The person above, don't overthink it. Actor Zhu is an actor who has become a director. It shouldn't be difficult for him to learn some photography skills. He should be showing off his skills. Anyway, this is straight male romance. Sometimes it can really make people intoxicated. Zhu Jai then walked towards Tang Jiru, bent slightly, and extended his hand to her. Tang Jiru was a little confused. She didn't know what Zhu Jai had just done, but she still put her hand on Zhu Jai's hand with a smile. Zhu Jai brought Tang Jiru into the camera, and then asked Tang Jiru to lean against a tree. Tang Jiru stood by the tree, her hands in front of her. Zhu Jai picked a bunch of rape flowers from the nearby rapeseed bush and held them behind his back. Then Zhu Jai walked up to Tang Jiru and put his left hand on the tree, slightly above Tang Jiru's head. At this moment in the picture, Zhu Jai's head just blocked the sun, and a beautiful picture was presented. Zhu Jai put his right hand, holding the rape flowers behind his back, and slowly lowered his head towards Tang Jiru. At this moment, Tang Jiru's heart was pounding. Looking at Zhu Jai in the sunlight, she slowly closed her eyes. Wow, actor Zhu is really good at it. Kiss it, kiss it. Remember to take screenshots? Zhu Jai suddenly stopped and said to the cameraman. Tang Jiru suddenly opened her eyes, full of disbelief. You suddenly said these 4 words at this time. Look, Ruru's expression is making me laugh to death. The atmosphere was already so tense. You could just kiss her, but you ended up posing for a photo. Mr. Zhu, are you trying to make me laugh to death? I was careless and shouldn't have had such high expectations of him. From now on, I won't call him Zhu the movie emperor anymore. I've decided to call him Zhu the straight man. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu were also attracted by Zhu Jai's voice. They turned around and saw the state of Zhu Jai and Tang Jiru. They looked at each other with smiles in their eyes. This brother Jai is a bit straight. Yi Xiaomu looked at Su Luo and shook his head helplessly. It's okay, just watch me. Su Luo smiled. Then she stood up and pulled Yi Xiaomu to the cameraman. Brother Jai, you don't even dare to kiss me like this. I look down on you. Su Luo shouted loudly, then hugged Yi Xiaomu and kissed her. When Zhu Jai heard Su Luo's words, he turned around and saw Su Luo kissing Yi Xiaomu. Tang Jiru also saw it, and her face turned a little red, but she did not leave. Instead, she looked up at Zhu Jai. Seeing this, Zhu Jai kissed Tang Jiru. He just tasted it briefly and then kissed her. Then he looked at Su Luo with a look that said, Who said I don't dare to kiss you? I'm dying of laughter. Zhu Jinan kissed me and provoked Su Luo. He's treating kissing as a competition. That excited little expression, I seem to see a message, did you see it? Who said I can't do it? Su Luo covered her forehead with her hands. She felt defeated. Zhu Jai smiled and was about to leave. Tang Jiru, who was staring at Zhu Jai, showed a hint of helplessness on her face. Chapter 43, remember to call me next time. Why are you just following a piece of wood? Tang Jiru said angrily, then hooked her hand around Zhu Jai's neck and pulled him to bend over. You have to make me take the initiative, right? Tang Jiru said domineeringly, and then kissed Zhu Jai. Wow, everyone around exclaimed in admiration for Tang Jiru's dominance. I have to say Sister Ru is still domineering, Yi Zaiamu exclaimed. At this moment, the domineering Tang Jiru was a little defeated and hid behind Zhu Jai awkwardly. What are you doing? At this time, Zhou Yang came out of the room with Li Na, saw the expressions of the crowd, and spoke. Haha, they are showing off their love in the competition, Peng Ziraman said with a smile. Zhou Yang looked at Su Luo in surprise, then at Zhu Jai. He gave a thumbs up. You young people really know how to have fun. Remember to call me next time. Li Na, who was standing by, listened to Zhou Yang's teasing, slapped him, and said angrily, Don't be so frivolous. Ha ha ha, several people laughed. Wait, stop laughing. I was just in the room thinking of a question. It's a coincidence that everyone is here. Zhou Yang clapped his hands and spoke. Let's sit over there and have a small meeting. Zhou Yang pointed at the pavilion and said, Okay, Zhu Jai nodded and walked over with Tang Jiru. Just now I have been thinking about a question, which is the positioning of our three families. Zhou Yang saw everyone looking at him, thought for a while, and spoke. It's all about what we should do in our daily lives. To be honest, the production team didn't give us a script, but we have to make this show a success. I rarely participate in variety shows. This is my first variety show appearance, and my purpose is to give Nana a relaxing and leisurely life. Zhou Yang looked at Li Na, the tenderness in her eyes almost melting, and she began to speak. Brother Zhou, what is your purpose in participating in this variety show? Su Luo suddenly spoke at this time. As you know, Nana is also my personal assistant. She's usually busy with work and she runs around for me. The children are taken care of by a nanny. So I also want to use this program to let Nana relax and enjoy the fun of life. Zhou Yang said this seriously, while reaching out and holding Li Na's hand. When Li Na heard Zhou Yang's words at this moment, a hint of tenderness flashed in her eyes. She tightened her hand holding Zhou Yang's and smiled. Is it really that scary? Just now, those two couples were showing off their affection, and now King Zhou really isn't willing to be outdone. Peng Xiaoman sat in the corner, shivering and muttering softly. Little transparent Xiao man, meaning that others can't see her. Xiao man, I should be under the car, not here. Xiaoman, what's wrong with you? Tang Jiru heard what Peng Xiaoman seemed to be saying and asked. Well, I think this is a family meeting and I shouldn't attend. Peng Xiaoman immediately waved her hand and said, Well, you know you won't participate, but you still don't pour water for the brothers and sisters. Su Luo coughed lightly and made a joke. Pa Yi Zaiamu slapped Su Luo on the leg. What are you doing? Let the guests pour tea. Su Luo said that pregnant women were indeed difficult to deal with, as they had very strong grip. Zaiaman, it's okay, just stay here. Yi Zaiamu comforted Peng Xiaoman and held her with a smile. Ajia said before that his purpose is to stop and have a baby. Zhou Yang spoke after seeing that everyone had teased him enough. Brother Zhou, what a black baby. Zhu Jai was shocked. Haha, I said the wrong thing. I slipped up. Give birth to a baby. Zhou Yang clasped his hands together, nodded, and said with a smile. It's okay, just a joke. Zhu Jai responded with the same action. Su Luo, Yi Zaiamu, what is your purpose in participating in the show? Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai looked at each other, and both said that what had just happened was over. They turned to look at Su Luo and asked. Of course, that was a reply to the online haters. Su Luo thought, of course, you can't reply like that in reality, or you'll lose some fans. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu, but saw her smiling sweetly at her and lowering her head. Well, in this game, my teammates chose to play badly. Actually, we treated this trip as a honeymoon. Another point is that, unexpectedly, Zaiamu and I made our relationship public. But after all, I'm an amateur and haven't graduated yet. Zaiamu is worried that I won't be able to withstand the online criticism. So, she wants to participate in this program to show me myself so that her fans can accept it more. Su Luo said this, holding Yi Zaiamu's hand and looking at her firmly. The most important thing is that my husband is so handsome. Now that he's been exposed, I want to introduce him to everyone. Yi Zaiamu covered her mouth with her other hand and spoke with a smirk. Wow, it's confirmed that she's a husband showing off, Zhu Jai immediately added. I don't know if I have disappointed everyone. Su Luo nodded with a smile and then said with a proud look on her face. Looking at Su Luo's smug look, I want to beat this old man to death. You bastard, take good care of my seventh uncle. Everyone, listen to me. Zhou Yang waved his hand, interrupting the banter between the few people. The production team gave us a lot of freedom this time. I have an idea. Brother Zhou, you talk and we're listening. Seeing Zhou Yang's serious face, Zhu Jai agreed seriously. I thought about it, our only daily task now is to plant trees. Let's not talk about this, Zhou Yang said casually. Well, there's really no need to discuss this. Su Luo nodded and said in agreement. At the same time, Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang looked at each other. Oh my goodness, this matches what happened before. Chen Chichai, I feel like this is going to be terrible. Haha, I'm kind of looking forward to it for no apparent reason. What should I do? The daily grind of celebrity life. The talent upstairs. Brothers, is it really appropriate for you to discuss this matter in front of me? Peng Xiaoramen rolled her eyes and spoke helplessly. We haven't discussed anything yet. Let's skip this and talk about the next arrangements. Zhou Yang suppressed his laughter and spoke seriously. Here's what I think. Regarding the cooking issue, although a Luo's cooking is indeed delicious, it's really not appropriate for a young man to stay in the kitchen all day. As for me, I suggest that Li Ne and Tang Jiru be responsible for cooking from now on. Is that okay? Zhou Yang glanced at Li Ne and Tang Jiru. My cooking is not very delicious, Tang Jiru said in a low voice. It's okay, Li Ne will take you with her. If that doesn't work out, Luo can help teach you for a few days. That's no problem for me. Tang Jiru nodded and accepted the job. Yi Xiaoramu is pregnant and has free time. If she has nothing to do, she can consider decorating our yard and planting some flowers and plants. Zhou Yang looked at Yi Xiaoramu and said, Chapter 40, For Malice from the program crew. I can do this. Yi Xiaoramu nodded when he heard that. Next, it's our turn to make arrangements as men, Zhou Yang said, looking at Su Luo and Zhu Jai. At this time, the live broadcast content has been turned off on the live screen, and some relevant rules are being introduced to the audience. 1. The program team will give out 3 tasks every day. Audience friends can choose the female guest they support to vote. The selection result will affect the tasks of the 3 female guests. 2. The program team will arrange 5 options for voting every day. If the female guest completes the task, the male guest only needs to complete the task that ranks first. If the female guest fails to complete the task, the male guest needs to complete the first and last ranked tasks. Voting will start at 8:00 a.m. every day and end at 8:00 p.m. At this time, 3 avatars appeared in the live broadcast room, namely Li Ne, Tang Jiru, and Yi Xiaoramu. It is described in the introduction like this. A couple's loving day begins when they wake up in the morning. There are 3 voting options under each avatar. 1. Dance in front of the male guest. If the male guest follows you and dances for more than 10 seconds, the mission is successful. 2. Provide a special breakfast, fried eggs with a lot of salt. Hearing the word delicious from the male guest indicates that the mission is successful. 3. After waking up, you can only say, "You are so handsome," and get a reply of, "You are so beautiful." Complaints like this count. Oh my God, looking at the options, I can sense the production team's malicious intent, but I like it. I chose the second one for Ru, ha ha ha. The guy upstairs, you want to see actor Zhu make a fool of himself. I can imagine him saying he doesn't want to eat anymore with a straight face. Then another voting option appeared in the live broadcast room, the male guest task. 1. Give a gift to the female guest. Only use existing resources. 2. Talent show, making the female guests laugh. 3. When speaking today, you must add Chinese letter as the first word. 4. All answers today can only be negative. 5. Women's clothing for a day. Oh my God, what kind of amazing options are these? When I saw the first 2, I thought it was a dope variety show, but when I saw the last 3, I thought it might be a comedy variety show. This rule is quite interesting. The production team can consider the tasks we provide. The daily program team of the celebrity couple said, "Viewers, please leave more messages, we will consider it." Oh my God, the production team actually responded. I want to see Su Luo dressed in women's clothing. Big brother upstairs, there's something wrong with you, but I want to too. At this time, Zhou Yang had already explained the latest rules of the program team to several people. At this point, the live broadcast screen returned to the group. However, the voting option was already enabled below the live broadcast room. Don't we know their mission? Su Luo pointed at Yi Xiaoramu and asked. This is their secret mission, we don't know about it. If they leak it themselves, then the mission will be considered a failure, Zhou Yang explained. I understand. Su Luo's eyes lit up. What do you understand? The others, including Peng Xiaoramen, looked at Su Luo. I think the female guest's task should be very simple. It's probably to test our reactions or behaviors, Su Luo said with a confident look. Oh my God, did Su Luo guess it? Did the program team miss a question? At this time, Ding Lei stared at the screen intently. No way, the plan he had finally come up with was cracked in the past few days. Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai both looked at Su Luo curiously. Looking at everyone's demanding eyes, Su Luo smiled and continued without keeping them in suspense. Because the number of our tasks is related to the completion of the tasks by the female guests. So if it doesn't delay our mission progress or the mission time, the female guest's mission must produce results quickly. So if I start live streaming at 8 a.m. every day, the results must appear after I wake up. Su Luo's eyes shone with wisdom. So I guess the female guest's task is likely to be something like a good morning kiss or wearing matching outfits with us, something that can be concluded quickly. After Su Luo finished speaking, several people suddenly understood. Of course, Luo, Zhu Jai exclaimed in praise. Generally, I think it's roughly like this. Su Luo waved his hand and spoke modestly, but he grinned to express his pride. In particular, Yi Xiaomu looked at Su Luo with admiration, which made Su Luo blow a kiss to Yi Xiaomu. I'm dying of laughter. Su Luo must have thought too highly of the production team. Looking at the shocked expressions on the faces of several people, I inexplicably wanted to laugh. Producer, I was so scared, I thought we missed a question. Producer, I thought there would be a script crisis, but it was a false alarm. Remember, the options for the female guests will be a little more difficult next time. Ding Lei felt relieved when he saw the audience's comments mocking the program team. Fortunately, he didn't guess it right. However, if you really guessed it, there is actually a solution. But since you didn't guess it, there is no need to think about it. Xiong Shuang, make the options for the day after tomorrow more difficult for me, Ding Lei said to Li Xiaoshuang with a sly smile in his eyes. Okay, let's stop talking about the show here, Zhou Yang said when he saw that it was almost done. Wait a minute. Peng Xiaoman raised her hand quietly and said in a low voice. Xiaoman, what's wrong? Is there any problem? Zhou Yang looked at Peng Xiaoman and asked in confusion. We're running out of firewood, and the production team said they'd plant 2 trees for everyone they cut down, but they haven't even made any plans for that. Although Peng Xiaoman is a girl, she is an actor after all, so it's okay for her to suffer a little. However, these people didn't seem to care about this kind of life problem, so she finally decided to remind them. She said that even if she went to cut down trees, she wanted to have a sense of participation. Upon hearing this, Zhou Yang exchanged glances with Su Luo and Zhu Jai. Hehe, the 3 of them suddenly laughed evilly. If I'm not mistaken, there will be a male guest tomorrow, Zhu Jai said. We have enough wood to last until tomorrow, Su Luo nodded. Peng Xiaoman looked at the 3 of them in confusion. So this was what they had meant before. This variety show is so scary, I want to go home. I feel so sorry for Chen Qichai. Chen Qichai, run. It's such a happy decision. Zhou Yang clapped his hands and said, It's almost noon, it's time to prepare lunch, Li Na said with a smile. Li Na found it funny to see that her husband had such a childish side, and she was not afraid that her children would see it and laugh at her in the future. Okay, sister, now let's go cook. Tang Jiru stood up and echoed Li Na. Chapter 45, Chen Qichai is confused. At this time, Chen Qichai, who had just woken up, looked at his assistant Xiao Wu with a confused look on his face. What did you just say? Brother Qichai, so many people have left messages on your Weibo that it's about to explode, Xiao Wu said as he handed over the phone. Chen Qichai sat up, took the phone and opened Weibo. Qichai, remember to buy a rainproof sheet. Qichai, remember to buy a rainproof sheet. The unanimous comments made Chen Qichai a little confused, and he looked at his assistant Xiao Wu. What's going on? Chen Qichai asked curiously. Brother Qichai, you're going to participate in the celebrity couple's daily program tomorrow. The guest on the show said on the live broadcast that the next guest should bring a rain sheet. Xiao Wu briefly explained the situation, and also mentioned that the program team announced that he would be the next guest. He thought that the program crew might be trying to take advantage of Chen Qichai's popularity. Xiao Wu, you don't understand this. Look at my meager number of fans. Chen Qichai knew what Xiao Wu was thinking just by looking at his expression and listening to what he said. This silly kid had such a narrow vision. 30 million? Xiao Wu said in shock. Before, Chen Qichai had about 28 million fans, and this suddenly increased by 2 million. It's only been a few hours, and the number of fans is still slowly growing. This is a win-win situation, do you understand? Chen Qichai smiled and said, Brother Qichai, I am narrow-minded. Xiao Wu bowed his head and admitted his mistake. Chen Qichai waved his hand and continued to read the comments. Suddenly, his brows furrowed slightly because he saw many comments expressing sympathy for Chen Qichai. There were quite a few messages like this. Chen Qichai immediately took out his phone and checked the live broadcast replay. It's a big deal. I'm afraid it will be difficult for me to go there. Chen Qichai looked at the 3 people smiling at each other on the screen, feeling a little panicked. What's wrong, Brother Qichai? Xiao Wu looked at Chen Qichai curiously. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add something big has happened. I estimate that I will lose at least 5 or 6 pounds this time. Chen Chichai sighed to the sky. That's good. Brother Lee said you were too fat. Xiao Wu's face lit up when he heard that and he spoke. Chen Chichai looked at Xiao Wu speechlessly. It was time to consider changing an assistant. Brother Chichai, what's wrong with you? Xiao Wu looked at Chen Chichai and asked in a low voice. Xiao Wu, brother, I've been around for so many years, let me teach you something. Chen Chichai got out of bed and patted Xiao Wu on the shoulder. Brother, you go ahead. Xiao Wu looked at Chen Chichai with anticipation. Remember this next time, if you can't speak, then speak less. Otherwise, I'll replace you. Chen Chichai hit Xiao Wu. Brother Lee is Chen Chichai's agent. This assistant listens to his agent and not his boss, and that's a problem. I'm sorry, brother. Xiao Wu's heart tightened, and he realized that he had said the wrong thing. Brother Lee can ask Chen Chichai to lose weight, and he can also say it as a joke, but he cannot say it in the name of others, especially in the name of his agent. If the artist's team and agent work together, the artist will become a puppet, which is a big taboo. Okay, just understand it. Let's make some arrangements. I'll go buy some things. Chen Chichai is not planning to replace Xiao Wu for the time being. After all, this is not a big problem. It can only be said that this young man has not yet experienced the hardships of society. Okay, brother Chichai, Xiao Wu said, took the car keys and left the room. Chen Chichai lowered his head and thought for a while, then his eyes lit up. He understood something, smiled, and went into the bathroom to wash up. After Li Na and Tang Jiru left, the few people left in the pavilion sat down and chatted. What do you want to eat for lunch? I'll make it for you. Su Luo leaned close to Yi Xiaomu's ear and whispered. No, Sister Na and Sister Ru have already done it, so you don't have to bother with it. Yi Xiaomu replied in a low voice. You've worked hard. Then Yi Xiaomu took Su Luo's hand and expressed his gratitude. It's not hard. Su Luo smiled and scratched Yi Xiaomu's palm with her fingers. Peng Xiaoman sat next to them and watched Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu with a smile on her face. It was really fun to ship them on the spot, and these two people were really a good match. Is this Xiaoman's first time participating in a variety show? Zhou Yang spoke at this time, starting to guide the topic. After all, the reason guests come to participate in variety shows is to increase their fans. If there is no change in the number of fans after 2 days, it will be difficult to invite guests to the show in the future. Yes, it's my first time participating. Peng Xiaoman nodded and said. Zhou Yang had a good impression of the young Peng Xiaoman. After all, after she came here, she didn't fight or quarrel, nor did she deliberately cause trouble. The production team had been testing the program before and ignored the guests. So now that the basic rhythm has been set, we can relax. How does it feel to participate in a variety show? Zhou Yang continued. I was a little nervous at first, but I feel much better now. Peng Xiaoman replied with a smile. I feel quite comfortable now. Before, I spent most of my time on the road, in cars, on planes, or on high-speed trains. My whole body felt tense. Although I have only been here for 2 days, my whole life is very healing and happy. Peng Xiaoman smiled, her eyes curved into crescents. Yes, I've been here for 2 days, and I feel very comfortable here. I like it very much, Zhu Jai said beside him. In fact, this is because the pace of life is too fast. If you slow down occasionally, you will find that there are many beautiful things in life. When Zhou Yang heard what Zhu Jai said, he also sighed. It is not easy to be a king of film, television, and music. Thinking about all the announcements in recent years, Zhou Yang himself feels very tired. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu realized that the topic was getting a bit serious, so they stopped whispering and joined in the discussion. We don't have the luxury of slowing down. If we do, we'll be eliminated. The pressure of mortgages and car loans is so overwhelming. Sometimes when I watch this kind of program, I feel like I'm experiencing the joy of slow living. For a while, some comments about the fast-paced life appeared on the barrage. Ding Lei looked at the comments and nodded. This was how the depth of the program came out. Xiao man, didn't you study dance? How did you become an actor? Zhu Jai suddenly asked at this time. Oh, Xiaoman has learned dance, Zhou Yang said puzzledly. Yes, but later I thought acting was quite interesting, so I switched to becoming an actor, Peng Xiaoman replied. How about a performance? Zhu Jai said. No, Su Luo is here. I dare not show off my skills in front of an expert. Peng Xiaoman immediately waved her hand. She had watched the trailer, and Su Luo's dance was absolutely professional. Chapter 46 Wife, please give me some face. It's okay. Just show it with confidence. It's a good opportunity for us to communicate. Zhu Jai waved his hand and advised. Peng Xiaoman looked at Su Luo with some embarrassment. It's okay. We are all beginners and can learn from each other. Su Luo glanced at Zhou Yang and said with a smile when she saw him nod. Well, giving people a chance to show themselves is just a matter of course. Okay then, Peng Xiaoman no longer refused. She also understood that this was an opportunity for her to show off. He took out his cell phone, played a piece of jazz music, and started dancing along. Oh my God, these long legs are killing me. I really didn't expect that Xiaoman had this skill. I'm a fan, oh my God, this figure is amazing. When Peng Xiaoman jumped up, Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang were immediately attracted. Because Peng Xiaoman's dance was so beautiful, with occasional twists and waves, Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang were immediately attracted to it. Yi Xiaomu nodded on the side. She was a singer and only knew a little about dancing. She would dance a few times when filming music videos and performing at concerts. But if you ask her to choose a complete dance or even choreograph it herself, she can't do it. Pa, pa, pa. After the dance ended, several people laughed and applauded. Peng Xiaoman breathed slightly and looked at Su Luo expectantly. After all, among these people, she knew that Su Luo was the most professional, so she naturally looked forward to his comments. Brother Zhou, Brother Jai, what do you think? Su Luo did not comment, but looked at Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai. If it really came to something involving the entertainment industry, with the two seniors here, Su Luo couldn't speak first. Luo, we don't know how to dance, so you should explain it first, Zhou Yang said with a smile, becoming more and more satisfied with Su Luo. Then I'll tell you, I think it's great. Su Luo stood up and said with a smile while clapping. Peng Xiaoman was obviously not satisfied. She knew her own level and continued to look at Su Luo. Oh, I can't praise you anymore, otherwise my wife will be jealous. Su Luo had no choice but to say this. After all, Peng Xiaoman is an actor and a celebrity after all, and she has fans. She has no status of her own, so how can she make random comments? Isn't this asking for trouble? So no matter what, just praise, but know when to stop, otherwise it will be hypocrisy. Upon hearing this, Yi Xiaomu immediately reached out and pinched Su Luo. Peng Xiaoman looked at Su Luo, who was enduring the pain, smiled, and then looked at Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai again. Xiao man, I really don't know how to dance. I just think you dance very beautifully. You deserve to be a professional dancer, Zhou Yang praised with a smile. Zhu Jai didn't say anything, but gave Peng Xiaoman a thumbs up. Yi Xiaomu didn't say anything, but nodded at Peng Xiaoman. Wife, please give me some face, Su Luo said softly as he watched Su Luo pinching him and not letting go. Yi Xiaomu let go of his hand and realized that he had been a little willful. He then looked at Su Luo with some guilt. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add, it's okay? Don't worry. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu's expression, rubbed her hair, and replied in a low voice. When Yi Xiaomu heard Su Luo's words, she felt relieved, smiled sweetly at Su Luo, and then took Su Luo's arm. You two are so sweet, Zhou Yang exclaimed as he looked at Su Luo and the other two. Yi Xiaomu blushed and lowered her head, too embarrassed to speak anymore. Brother Zhou, you and Sister Na are even sweeter than us. There's a saying, companionship is the most lasting confession of love, and staying together is the warmest promise. The relationship between you and Sister Na is not comparable to that of us newlyweds, Su Luo responded with a smile. Zhou Yang smiled and didn't talk about this topic anymore. After all, Su Luo was right. He and Li Na have been together for more than 10 years, from nothing to something, and Li Na has accompanied them wholeheartedly. These are all precious memories. Dinner is ready. Li Na came out with 2 plates of dishes. Everyone immediately got up and went to the kitchen to help carry the food back to the pavilion. Looking at the table full of dishes, Yi Xiaomu's eyes lit up. Sister Na, Sister Ru, you are so amazing. It looks delicious. Yi Xiaomu praised with a smile on her face. I'm not that good, it's mainly Sister Na, I just help her. Tang Jiru waved her hand and said, I'm sorry for the poor performance. My cooking isn't very tasty. Please forgive me, let's eat, Li Na said with a smile. It's really good. Several people took a bite and immediately praised it. Su Luo also nodded. Although her cooking skills were far inferior to his, this slightly unique flavor tasted quite good. Is Sister Na from the north? Su Luo asked after finishing the food in her mouth. Wow, how did you know? Lao Zhou and I are from the same place, Qingdao. Li Na was a little surprised. After all, she was an amateur, and there was basically no information about her on the internet. I just eat the dishes cooked by Sister Na. They are northern style and very delicious. Su Luo touched his head and said with a smile, some northern dishes have strong flavors and use more seasonings, so the taste is richer. Of course, Li Na may have deliberately not made it very spicy in order to take care of others. Of course, a Luo, Zhou Yang praised. No, no, Su Luo smiled. Let me wash the dishes. I didn't buy anything for lunch, so I can't help much. After everyone finished their meal, Tang Jiru immediately stood up to clean up the dishes and spoke. No, without your help, these dishes would not be possible. Li Na was helping to collect them and spoke at the same time. Several other people also helped to clean up the dishes. I'm going to take a nap, Zhou Yang said after cleaning up. Everyone nodded and went back to their rooms. Su Luo then took out her cell phone and checked her WeChat chat. She hadn't read the message she had received before. Boss, are you the one in the daily life of this celebrity couple? This is the message sent by Guo Rui, the second in the dormitory. Guess, Su Luo replied. This is a classmate from my dormitory, Su Luo said when she saw Yi Zaiamu looking at her. Yeah, Yi Zaiamu nodded. This damn sense of security left no room for doubt. Now it's not a question of whether I guess or not. Have you ever thought about your previous? What if they knew you were on the show? Guo Rui's message came back quickly. What's the situation now? Su Luo replied immediately. There are some rumors about you in school now, saying that you are a scumbag and have multiple relationships. Su Luo looked at the message and frowned slightly. If something really went wrong, it would definitely affect Yi Zaiamu. Zaiamu, come with me. Thinking of this, Su Luo pulled Yi Zaiamu into the bathroom. Su Luo, you... Yi Zaiamu blushed a little, lowered her head and followed Su Luo. Chapter 47-100. Oh my God. Wow, what are they doing? In broad daylight. Oh my God, young people are young people. They have no idea how to control themselves. Where did this little black guy upstairs come from? He's obviously here to discuss something. Miu Miu is pregnant, what are you thinking about? Wife, I have something to tell you. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu seriously in the bathroom. What's wrong, Liu Liu? Looking at Su Luo's expression, Yi Zaiamu knew that it was serious business. Well, I told you before that I had ambiguous relationships with many people, Su Luo said, with a somewhat embarrassed look on her face. What's wrong? Yi Zaiamu was not angry, because Su Luo had explained this matter to her before, and she knew how Su Luo treated her. We are participating in this program live, and I have been recognized, Su Luo said with a frown, holding Yi Zaiamu's hand. What will happen if they recognize you? Yi Zaiamu asked softly. It wouldn't be a big deal, but my friend said there are rumors about me in school now. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu hesitantly. It's okay, just say it. Yi Zaiamu looked at Su Luo and spoke gently. It means I'm a scumbag who has multiple relationships, Su Luo said with a wry smile. Yi Zaiamu laughed out loud upon hearing that. Ha ha ha, you're a scumbag. You should also add that you're an old pervert. Wife, you can still laugh. If it gets exposed, I don't care, but you will be affected. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu laughing and said worriedly, Then tell me how many ambiguous objects you have had in the past. Seeing Su Luo's worried look, Yi Zaiamu put away his smile and asked seriously. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu's serious expression and felt a little numb on her scalp, but she still stretched out a finger. Just one, Yi Zaiamu was puzzled. No, it's 100. Su Luo looked at Yi Zaiamu cautiously and said in a low voice. 100, my God? Yi Zaiamu covered her forehead with her hands. She felt like she was laughing out of anger and stared at Su Luo up and down. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add wife. What's wrong with you? Su Luo asked in a low voice. I want to see what ability you have to make 100 women flirt with you. Yi Zaiamu looked at Su Luo with a half smile. Sister, I was wrong. That's just because I was young and ignorant, Su Luo muttered softly. Yi Zaiamu smiled. She had not been angry from the beginning, which she herself found strange. It should be because from the moment Su Luo proposed to her, everything he did gave her enough sense of security. She even believed what Su Luo said, that it was his first time. She had vaguely known before that Su Luo liked to flirt with beautiful women, and she thought it was childish behavior. Moreover, Su Luo was a self-disciplined person, which also made her very satisfied. What reason did she have not to trust Su Luo? Especially at this moment, Su Luo was like a child who had made a mistake, which made her feel even more amused. Do you know how to call me sister now? Do you know that you can't handle it? Yi Zaiamu raised her head and said with a proud look on her face. Yes, didn't I report this to you in advance? Su Luo lowered her head and spoke coquettishly. Looking at Su Luo's appearance, Yi Zai'amu's smile became even more intense. Okay, don't worry, let your sister handle it. Then Yi Zai'amu raised her head and rubbed Su Luo's hair, speaking gently. I'm sorry. Su Luo looked at Yi Zai'amu and said seriously. Why apologize? Yi Zai'amu asked puzzledly. I was so bad before. Su Luo's face was full of loneliness. At this moment, he regretted that he had indulged himself and flirted with girls at will. Yi Zai'amu looked at Su Luo, a trace of heartache flashed in his eyes. He held Su Luo's face with both hands, stood on tiptoe, and kissed his lips. Liu Liu, no matter what you were like in the past, I only know that you are a responsible and good man. I can feel how good you are to me. I can even feel that you have fallen in love with me. When Yi Zai'amu said this, her face turned slightly red. Even I also, like you. When Yi Zai'amu said this, his voice was a little low, but Su Luo still heard it. Su Luo was so excited when she heard Yi Zai'amu's gentle voice that she took Yi Zai'amu into her arms and hugged her tightly. You are gentle, careful, patient, respect me, and love me. Yi Zai'amu continued in Su Luo's arms. When you said you had 100 ambiguous partners, I felt I should be angry, but I wasn't really angry. I even found it a little funny. I just feel that your behavior is a bit childish. Only now do I truly realize that my Luo Luo hasn't graduated from university yet and is still a child. Liu Liu, you can spoil me, but remember, I am your elder sister. I can protect you when necessary. Yi Zai'amu felt Su Luo's heartbeat and spoke firmly. Su Luo was moved by Yi Zai'amu's words and lowered her head to touch him softly. The two of them at this moment seemed like a painting. The only problem is that the location is not very suitable. It's in the bathroom and there's a toilet. After a long time, the two lips parted. You only know how to bully your sister. Yi Zai'amu rolled her eyes at Su Luo. Su Luo touched his head and smiled foolishly. He had thought about confessing his feelings to Yi Zai'amu seriously at this moment. But thinking of where he was, he suppressed the impulse in his heart. What's the point of confessing in the bathroom? Could it be that every time Yi Zai'amu thinks of Su Luo's confession in the bathroom, that memory will not be a good one? Sister, at this moment Su Luo completely let go of her airs. When getting along with Yi Zai'amu before, Su Luo always looked mature or somewhat casual. But after what Yi Zai'amu said, Su Luo can be her true self in front of Yi Zai'amu. She can be mature, naughty, and childish. Yi Zai'amu was very happy to hear Su Luo call her sister. They both let go of their guard and were truly themselves. She felt that they had truly opened up to each other at this moment. This must be the feeling of soul mates. Su Luo and Yi Zai'amu thought at the same time. Liu Liu, wait for me, I'll make a call. Yi Zai'amu touched Su Luo's cheek and said gently. Okay, Su Luo nodded. Sister Yer, it's me. Yi Zai'amu dialed the phone. There is something I need to tell you in advance about Su Luo. Yi Zai'amu talked about Su Luo's romantic debts while holding the phone. Looking at Su Luo, whose face was a little red, he smiled and raised his other hand to touch Su Luo's face. What 100? You? Tanya was surprised when she heard what Yi Zai'amu said and then seemed to be hesitant to speak. Don't worry, my Liu Liu is very self-disciplined. She was just being ambiguous. She confessed to me before, but she didn't tell me the amount. She only told me this time because she was afraid that the revelation would affect me later. When Yi Zai'amu heard Tanya's tone, she naturally knew what she was thinking and began to explain. Chapter 48, Su Luo's social death scene. At this moment, Su Luo was like a child who had made a mistake and was a little at a loss. Yi Zai'amu, who was on the phone, put the phone away, stood on tiptoe and kissed Su Luo on the cheek, speaking softly. Don't think too much, I don't blame you, be good. After Yi Zai'amu finished speaking, she took back the phone and continued talking. There are some rumors going around Liu Liu's school now, so I'd like to trouble you to help deal with it. It's possible to handle it, but the key is, do you have a list of names of people involved? After listening to Yi Zai'amu's explanation, Tanya naturally understood what Su Luo was playing. She felt that Su Luo was flirting with 100 girls and keeping himself clean, which was just like a dog licker. It was just a bit more sophisticated. Licking 100 girls at the same time, huh? See dog. If Su Luo knew what Tanya was thinking, she would definitely vomit blood. What kind of sea dog is that? He is obviously the king of the sea. All the women lick him, but Su Luo adheres to two principles, neither taking the initiative nor refusing. The reason why there is no irresponsibility is because Su Luo herself is a responsible person, so in order to avoid taking responsibility. Therefore, all the girls that Su Luo flirted with remained in the most innocent state. The longest date is having dinner and watching a movie. Liu, do you have a list of people? Yi Zaiaramu turned on the hands-free mode and then looked at Su Luo and asked. Well, one is that I deleted them all, and the second is that I don't remember most of their names. Su Luo said somewhat embarrassedly. What, no cell phone number? Tanya asked in surprise. That I don't remember. Then you should always remember the WeChat nickname, or the notes on the WeChat. Well, I did make the note, but it's probably useless. What notes? At this moment, Su Luo had already dug out a 3-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment from her shoes and looked at Yi Zaiaramu awkwardly. Go ahead, Liu. It's the serial number and nicknames like Linlin, Tianchen, and Nana, then the height, and finally. Su Luo hesitated when she said this. What else? Tanya asked. And the cup size, Su Luo said, blushing a little. Puche, Tanya and Yi Zaiaramu both laughed out loud. Do those girls still tell you their bra cup sizes? Tanya asked doubtfully. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add, I estimated the height and cup size by I. Su Luo realized at this moment that good will be rewarded with good, and evil will be punished with evil. It's not that there will be no retribution, it's just that the time has not come yet. It seems that my assessment of you was wrong. You are definitely a fish pond owner. You have raised so many fish that they are numbered, Tanya said with a smile. Ha ha ha, Yi Zaiaramu laughed and felt that Su Luo was more and more cute. What kind of train of thought was this? He plays ambiguously with girls and can't even remember their names, but he still seriously numbers them and uses a professional format. I'm afraid he has set up a gaming guild. Sister Ye, is this easy to solve? Su Luo asked without caring about the situation. To be honest, it's a bit difficult because you don't have any information and you're a bit passive. Tanya stopped laughing and spoke. Then is there any other way? I personally don't care, but I'm mainly worried about affecting Xiaomu. Su Luo frowned and spoke. Xiaomu said you are a chaste person. You have to tell me the truth, whether you have ever had sex. Tanya suddenly said seriously at this time. No, at most we'll just eat and watch a movie, Su Luo explained. If Xiaomu wasn't pregnant, I would have suspected that you were no longer capable. Ha ha ha. Hearing Su Luo's affirmative answer, Tanya laughed and said. Su Luo was upset and looked at Yi Zaiaramu, but she was also covering her mouth and laughing. Pa, Su Luo raised her hand and patted Yi Zaiaramu gently. Yi Zaiaramu covered her buttocks and kicked Su Luo lightly. Well, in that case, it's not a big problem. Tanya's words made Su Luo feel relieved. Do you remember what we talked about? Was there anything sexually suggestive? Tanya was also a little overwhelmed at this time. This was the first time she encountered such a thing with no information at all. How could she handle the public relations? She could only take it one step at a time. Probably not, mainly because I can't remember it clearly. Su Luo thought about it. She was just flirting for fun before and trying to show off at the same time, so naturally she was very arrogant. Okay, you don't know anything about anything. Are you having an affair with her? Tanya was a little speechless. It wasn't long since she had been here. Well, the main reason is that I never send messages actively, so maybe we don't chat much, Su Luo added. Well, let me ask you a question. Why did you do that? Tanya was helpless. What should she do? She had no idea how to prepare in advance. When Yi Zaiaramu heard this, her eyes lit up. She was also very interested in this. Well, my childhood friend always brags to me about his girlfriends, so. Su Luo was completely socially devastated today, and her foundation was completely drained. Ha ha ha. Yi Zaiaramu laughed out loud. Putting the phone aside, he raised his hands and rubbed Su Luo's face. My Liu is so childish, so cute. I want to go back to Mars. Is it still in time? Su Luo said helplessly. It's too late. You have already settled down on Blue Star. You are mine. Yi Zaiaramu smiled even more after hearing Su Luo's words. I'm telling you too. Can you please stop showing off your affection? Tanya rolled her eyes invisible to both of them on the other end of the phone and said helplessly. Okay, Sister Ye. Yi Zaiaramu immediately withdrew her hand, put her arms around Su Luo and replied. I already understand the general information. I'll arrange for someone to go to Su Luo's school and inquire about it. Jinling University of Finance and Economics, right? Yes. Those 100. Haha, are those 100 also from Jinling University of Finance and Economics? Tanya couldn't help laughing halfway through her sentence. Yes, both. Okay, that's easier. I'll arrange for someone to go and inquire. Tanya breathed a sigh of relief when she heard Su Luo's affirmation. She was afraid that Su Luo would say, he doesn't know which school they are from, or they are from 100 schools respectively. Thank you for your help, Sister Ye, Su Luo said seriously. Just be nice to Yi Zairamu. That's it for now. I'm hanging up now. I'll make arrangements, Tanya said and hung up the phone. Yi Zairamu took back the phone with a smile on her face, then turned to look at Su Luo. Zairamu, I'm sorry to trouble you, Su Luo said sincerely. Call me sister, elder sister. Be good, it's no trouble at all. We are a family. Yi Zairamu looked at Su Luo and said seriously. Su Luo nodded and smiled at Yi Zairamu. By the way, take out your phone. I want to see what you noted for me. Yi Zairamu seemed to have thought of something. Su Luo took out her cell phone and handed it over. Yi Zairamu took the phone and opened WeChat, and the one pinned to the top was herself. Seeing the notes Su Luo gave her, Yi Zairamu blushed slightly and the corners of her mouth raised. Chapter 49, My Miss Yi. Seeing the notes Su Luo gave her, Yi Zairamu blushed slightly and the corners of her mouth raised. My Miss Yi, why did you make this note for me? Yi Zairamu handed the phone back to Su Luo and asked curiously. The copy we sent out on the day we got our marriage certificate was Miss Yi, right? I changed it to this. Su Luo took the phone and said, thinking to herself, it's a good thing I changed it at that time, otherwise it would be terrible now. Because Su Luo's previous comment on Yi Zairamu was Tsundir Airport. Of course, Su Luo would not self-destruct at this time. Not bad, worthy of praise, Yi Zairamu said and kissed Su Luo. I'll change it too. Yi Zairamu took out his cell phone, found Su Luo's profile picture, looked at the note on it, and blushed. Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu's reaction and moved closer curiously. Don't look. Yi Zairamu immediately turned around and blocked Su Luo's sight. Oh, you don't really want to call me husband, but the note is husband, Zairamu. You are quite good at it. Su Luo took a quick glance and saw Yi Zairamu's note to him and said with a smile. Hateful, Yi Zairamu said in a low voice, then pinned Su Luo to the top. And then Yi Zairamu looked at the notes with satisfaction. Look, Yi Zairamu turned around, raised his cell phone and placed it in front of Su Luo. My Mr. Su came into Su Luo's sight. Aren't you childish? Su Luo smiled and rubbed Yi Zairamu's head. Little brat, you weren't like this just now. How dare you bully your sister? Yi Zairamu pushed Su Luo's hand away, stood on tiptoe to ruffle Su Luo's hair, and said with a stern face. Su Luo immediately grabbed Yi Zairamu's hand and lifted it up in the air. Seeing this, Yi Zairamu raised his hand again, but was still caught by Su Luo and lifted up. Su Luo slowly lowered her head and moved closer to Yi Zairamu's pretty face. Watching Su Luo getting closer, Yi Zairamu slowly closed his eyes. Sister, Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu, who had her eyes closed, and called softly. Yi Zairamu's heart skipped a beat and her eyelashes fluttered slightly. Su Luo kissed that soft spot, and at the same time she let go of her hands and hugged her. Romantic French style, Yi Zairamu was obsessed with it. Husband, after their lips parted, Yi Zairamu blushed and whispered softly. Wife, let's go out and rest for a while, Su Luo said with a smile. Yeah, Yi Zairamu nodded and followed Su Luo out of the bathroom. Wow, it took them half an hour to come out. Everyone upstairs is bored, waiting for half an hour. Don't argue, you've all been waiting for half an hour in vain. Dear viewers, we are going to have a lunch break. Su Luo took 2 towels, walked in front of the camera and spoke. No, I just want to see how you take your lunch break, nothing else. I don't want to expose what you mean upstairs. I just want to know how the little brother sleeps. Su Luo naturally couldn't see the barrage, so she hung 2 towels on the 2 cameras. Wife, take a nap. Su Luo turned to look at Yi Zairamu and said gently. The 2 changed into pajamas and lay down on the bed. Yi Zairamu blushed and took off her bra. I feel uncomfortable, Yi Zairamu explained in a low voice. Su Luo smiled, took it and put it on the cabinet beside her. The 2 men lay down facing each other. Why are you looking at me? Yi Zairamu said in a low voice when she saw Su Luo staring at her. You are so beautiful, Su Luo replied with a smile on her face. HMPH, you still have to tell me that. Yi Zairamu couldn't stand Su Luo's fiery gaze. She looked at the ceiling and spoke arrogantly. Well, Su Luo leaned over and kissed Yi Zairamu on the cheek. Go to sleep. Yi Zairamu looked at Su Luo with a stern face, said coquettishly, and then lay down. Su Luo watched her close her eyes and smiled slightly. She hugged Yi Zairamu and closed her eyes as well. Yi Zairamu's body trembled, and she cursed in her heart, You old pervert, because Su Luo's hand just happened to grab her little rabbit. But she did not push Su Luo away. She raised her hand and placed it on Su Luo's hand, then slowly fell asleep. When Su Luo woke up again, Yi Zairamu was sleeping soundly with her arms around his. Su Luo tried to pull his arms free, but Yi Zairamu held him very tightly. He had no choice but to let Yi Zairamu hold him. Suluo took out his cell phone, looked at it, and found that his mother had sent him a message. Son, take good care of Zairamu. Your dad and I are going to Shanghai in 2 days. This is Sun Yun's message. Okay, Mom, don't worry. I will take good care of her. Huh, you're awake now. Why didn't you turn on the live broadcast? Mom, are you watching the live broadcast now? Zairamu hasn't woken up yet. Let her sleep a little longer. Okay, we haven't seen it before. I dragged your dad to buy a computer today. Sun Yun only knew that her son had gone to record a program, but she had never watched it. I only found out how to do it last night when I chatted with Zairamu's mother, Sun Tingting. Now I'm dragging her to Susiyuan early in the morning to buy a computer. Okay, Mom, just watch. Zairamu is awake, so I won't say anything more. Feeling Zairamu slowly moving next to her and almost waking up, Suluo replied a message and put down her phone. Liu, Zairamu slowly opened his eyes. Seeing Suluo, he smiled at him. Do you want to sleep again? Suluo supported herself with her hands, looked at Zairamu and asked softly. Well, what time is it? Zairamu stretched and asked quietly. Suluo took the phone and looked at it. It's past 2. It's still early. Do you want to sleep in a little longer? I won't sleep anymore, otherwise I won't be able to sleep at night, Zairamu said, sitting up. Suluo also sat up and handed the clothes to Zairamu. What's wrong? Suluo was changing clothes and saw Zairamu not moving, so she asked. Zairamu's face was slightly red, and she was holding a bra in her hand. Seeing this, Suluo smiled slightly, stood beside the bed, moved closer to Zairamu and spoke softly. Sister, you're still shy. Who said I'm shy? I just haven't woken up yet. I need to take it easy, Zairamu said with a blushing face. The two of them had been honest with each other before, so Suluo naturally wouldn't pretend to be a gentleman. He stood there and looked at Zairamu. HMPH, you old pervert, Zairamu muttered. Then she took off her pajamas, revealing 2 perky little bunnies. Suluo's eyes lit up, and her skin, as soft and smooth as jade, made him feel a little overwhelmed. Something seemed to be coming out of the nose. Liu, you're bleeding from your nose, Zairamu exclaimed, not caring about her bra anymore. He immediately took out a few pieces of paper, stood beside the bed, lifted Suluo's head up and wiped the blood. It's okay, change your clothes first, don't be nervous. Suluo took the paper from Zairamu's hand and walked towards the bathroom with her head raised. Chapter 50, Suluo's nosebleed. Is anyone there? Did I just hear something? At this time, the screen of Suluo and the others' live broadcast room was black, but the sounds from their bedroom could still be transmitted into the room. If I heard correctly, Suluo had a nosebleed. Ha ha ha, Miu Miu is pregnant, Suluo. Cough cough, poor child. Oh my God, you guys are so understanding. I was just thinking about what Miu Miu was wearing, and Suluo actually had a nosebleed. At this time, Zairamu saw Suluo leaving and no longer cared about being shy. She quickly put on her clothes and ran into the bathroom. Suluo washed away the blood and tilted her head back. Her nosebleed had stopped at this time. Liu, how are you? Zairamu pushed open the door and asked worriedly. It's okay, I just had a nosebleed. Suluo wiped her face and said with a smile. Zairamu walked into the bathroom, closed the door, stared at Suluo's face, and after making sure that her nosebleed had stopped, she breathed a sigh of relief. What are you worried about? It's not that exaggerated, it's okay. Suluo looked at Zairamu's reaction, a smile on her face growing, and she spoke. Liu, are you angry and thinking about that? Zairamu suddenly said at this time. That shouldn't be the case. Suluo looked at Zairamu, who had been looking at her old face flushed, and she said embarrassedly. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add, is it really not? Zairamu looked at Suluo suspiciously. Okay, don't worry, it's really not the case. Suluo waved her hand. Maybe it was just that she had always lived in the south and suddenly came to the north where it was a bit dry and she felt hot. Liu, if you think about it, tell me, I can help you. Zairamu leaned close to Suluo and whispered something, then ran out of the bathroom with a red face. Zairamu ran out of the bathroom and sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about what had just happened. It was when she took off her pajamas that Suluo had a nosebleed. Humph, you still think I'm young, but you still have a nosebleed, don't you? You're just saying one thing and doing another. Zairamu looked down, muttered softly, and a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. Then her face turned red again, and she kept fanning herself with her hands. On the other side, Suluo watched Zairamu leave and smiled. With such a wife, what else could a husband ask for? After tidying up a little, he walked out of the bathroom and saw Yizaya Amu's appearance, feeling happy. You were so bold just now, but now you feel embarrassed. Zairo Mu, what are you doing? Su Luo said deliberately with a smile on her face. Ah, nothing. Yizaya Amu was startled and spoke hurriedly. That's a little hot, a little hot. Seeing Yizaya Amu's panic, Su Luo walked over, took her hand and kissed her forehead. Do you want to put on some makeup? Su Luo didn't continue teasing her. No need, I'm not wearing any makeup anyway. Yizaya Amu leaned over and looked at the full-length mirror on the bedside. Seeing that there was nothing wrong, she spoke. Shall we go for a walk? Okay, Yizaya Amu nodded. The two walked out of the room side by side. Wow, there's finally someone here. I've been waiting for hours. The idiot upstairs. Why wait when you can just take a lunch break or watch the editing later? Su Luo and Yizaya Amu came to the courtyard and found that no one else had come out yet. Although the sun was high in the sky at this time, the weather at the end of March was warm. Su Luo pulled Yizaya Amu out of the yard and walked casually, followed by two photographers carrying cameras. Liu Liu was the fish we ate last time caught here. Yizaya Amu asked Su Luo while pulling her hand as they walked to the river. Yes, look, there are fish swimming there. Su Luo nodded, looked towards the stream and pointed at a grass carp swimming. Do you want to eat grilled fish? Su Luo looked at Yizaya Amu, who seemed to be hesitant to speak, and asked. Yeah, Yizaya Amu responded with a smile upon hearing that. Okay, wait for me to get the spear I made last time, Su Luo said, turned around and ran towards the courtyard. Yizaya Amu stood there, looking at Su Luo's back with tenderness in her eyes. The photographer on the side adjusted the angle and recorded this beautiful scene. I declare that Miu Miu is the most beautiful person in the entertainment industry. Bullshit, that must be my Zyro man. No matter what you say, it's all our sister Feng. The food upstairs is quite strong. In a few minutes, Su Luo ran back to the river with the spear she made last time and a plastic bucket. The photographer who followed Su Luo looked at her resentfully. This guy ran so fast. Zyro Miu, come, I'll take you fishing. Su Luo took Yizaya Amu's hand and walked to the river. There. Yizaya Amu pointed at a grass carp and whispered hurriedly. Don't get excited, that one is a bit small, let's get a bigger one. Su Luo patted Yizaya Amu's hand and said with a smile. Yizaya Amu did not answer Su Luo, but kept looking back and forth at the river. Liu Liu, there. Yizaya Amu pointed to a place again. Following Yizaya Amu's finger, Su Luo looked over and saw that the spear had already flown out in just a moment. Then Su Luo retracted the spear, and a large grass carp weighing about 10 pounds was constantly swinging. Wow, it's true. Yizaya Amu's face was full of excitement. Isn't that amazing? Awesome. Although Yizaya Amu had eaten grilled fish last time, she didn't know how Su Luo caught it. This time, she realized how amazing it was. Su Luo took the fish off with a smile, threw it into the bucket, and added some water. Get another one? Su Luo looked at Yizaya Amu and said. Okay. Then two people walked along the shore. SHH Zaya Amu, look. Su Luo pulled Yizaya Amu, pointed to a certain place in the river, and muttered softly. Yizaya Amu looked in the direction and saw a fish swimming slowly. Wife, watch, this is going to be awesome. Because there was some distance between them, Su Luo was ready to throw the spear directly. When Yizaya Amu heard Su Luo's words, he looked at Su Luo beside him with anticipation. Swoosh, a sound came, and the spear had already flown out, steadily and obliquely inserted into the river. Su Luo pulled Yizaya Amu up, stepped on the stones, and came to the side of the spear. He placed his right hand on the spear and applied gentle force, and the spear was pulled out, with a grass carp hanging on it that was even bigger than the one just now. It seems to weigh about 10 pounds. Wow, hubby, you're so awesome. Yizaya Amu clapped her hands excitedly. Yizaya Amu looked like a little fan of Su Luo. Wife, I love you. Su Luo made a heart shape with one hand and faced Yizaya Amu. Again, dog food. These two are so annoying, they keep showing off their love. Can't they just focus on recording the show? If I knew this, I would probably hang out with my girlfriend by the river from morning till night. I feel like there's something wrong with this game upstairs. It's a daily routine for a couple. Obviously, they need to show some dog food, you idiots. Hey, I have a girlfriend just for fun. Chapter 51. Is it okay to say that you are shameful? Su Luo carried the bucket and two fish to the kitchen, then washed her hands and left the kitchen. On the way, Su Luo picked a few rape flowers and held them in her hands. I would like to remind all viewers that waste is shameful. What I did was wrong. Please do not imitate me. Su Luo held a few rape flowers in her hand and turned to speak to the camera behind her. Is it okay to say that I am shameful? So Su Luo is planning to give rapeseed flowers to Miu Miu. My goodness, the smell of rapeseed flowers is hard to describe. After Su Luo finished speaking, she found a few flowers of other colors nearby and simply arranged them together. She also took out a few hairbands from her pocket and fixed the bouquet together. Soon a bunch of colorful flowers formed in Su Luo's hands. Don't mention it, it's quite pretty. They are all wild flowers. Hey, Su Luo is not a good person. Looking at the flower in her hand, Su Luo smiled, put it behind her back, and walked towards the river. Liulio, Yizayamo smiled when he saw Su Luo coming back. Wife, this is for you. Su Luo stretched out her hand from behind and handed the flower over. When Yizayamo saw the flowers in Su Luo's hand, her eyes narrowed with smile. Obviously, she was very happy to receive the flowers from Su Luo. This was the second time Yizayamo received flowers from Su Luo, although they were not roses or other flowers that symbolize love. But this kind of wild flowers, which are obviously carefully assembled, is even more touching. Life needs a little surprise and romance occasionally. Oh, Yizayamo, holding flowers, approached Su Luo, stood on tiptoe and kissed Su Luo on the cheek. I'm really jealous. I remember buying a bouquet of 99 roses for my girlfriend, and she slapped me in the face for wasting money. I cried. Wake up upstairs. Brothers, if your wife is watching the live broadcast, a reminder to all married men. Remember to bring flowers when you go home today. I'm smart, and I'm already on my way to buy flowers. Yizayamo smiled, moved the flower to his left hand, held Su Luo's hand with his right hand, and spoke. Let's go and have a look somewhere else. Su Luo nodded and continued shopping with Yizayamo. It's really beautiful here. Look at that tree over there, it's so tall. Liu, what kind of tree is that? Yizayamo pulled Su Luo to the woods north of the courtyard, pointed at several tall trees in the distance, and began to speak. Those are ginkgo trees, probably more than 100 years old, Su Luo said with emotion. I know the ginkgo tree, it can bear ginkgo fruits, Yizayamo added with a smile. Great, Su Luo exclaimed with a smile. Su Luo, don't treat me like a child. Yizayamo let go of Su Luo's hand and slapped her lightly on the body. Okay, sister, Su Luo said with a smile. Wow, this sister-brother relationship is so enviable. Have you noticed that Miu Miu is particularly happy when Su Luo calls her sister? Why did my girlfriend slap me in the face when I called her sister and said I thought she was too old? Good brother, Yizayamo said with a smile. I heard that ginkgo nuts can be good for beauty, but it's a pity that we can't eat the ginkgo nuts here. Yizayamo sighed. You probably can't eat it this year. Ginkgo nuts are not suitable for pregnant women, Su Luo said while holding Yizayamo's hand. Is that so? Yizayamo looked disappointed. It's okay, there are other delicious foods, you can eat them. Su Luo smiled and said comfortingly. Yeah, Yizayamo nodded repeatedly. Has our Miu Miu become a foodie? Hasn't everyone noticed that Su Luo dotes on Miu Miu? This place really has a pristine ecology, Yizayamo said with emotion. There must have been people living here before. Maybe our production team rented it out. I guess after the show is over, it will probably be developed into a tourist attraction. Su Luo looked at the surrounding environment and spoke casually. Then Su Luo's heart moved. This seemed to be a good place. Wife, do you have any friends who will come here as guests? Su Luo turned to look at Yizayamo and asked. I don't know, the guest program team didn't say anything. What's wrong with you? Yizayamo shook his head and looked at Su Luo with some confusion. Okay, that's okay. Su Luo had an idea, but he still needed to study it, so naturally he didn't tell Yizayamo. Su Luo and Yizayamo walked through the woods and continued around the river. This place is surrounded by rivers on all sides, and there is only one road leading to it, which should be the road they came by. There is a waterfall at the westernmost end of the courtyard, and below the waterfall is a large lake. Su Luo is not sure how big it is, but it is very spectacular. The rivers surrounding the courtyard should flow out from this lake. Su Luo did not describe the environment here. When she saw the waterfall, she even reminded the photographer not to take pictures. The main reason is that the characteristics of this waterfall are quite obvious. If it is really photographed, it may be exposed. It might be more difficult to make the show then, because there will always be a lot of fans coming to us. When Ding Lei received the application from the photographer, he nodded with satisfaction. After all, the purpose of finding this place was to get away from the city and avoid being disturbed by fans. Liu, it's almost time, let's go back. Yizayamo looked at the time, it was already 4:30 in the afternoon, and spoke. Okay, let's go. Su Luo nodded and responded. Come, I'll carry you. We've walked a long way today. Su Luo suddenly squatted in front of Yi Zaiamu. After all, the whole place is not small, and it took more than an hour to walk there. When Yi Zaiamu heard Su Luo's words, her heart warmed. Her feet were really sore after walking for so long, but after all, she was recording a program, so she was a little embarrassed to speak. It's okay, I'll walk by myself. You've walked a lot too. Yi Zaiamu felt distressed when she thought that Su Luo was also walking with her. She thought that if she just held on a little longer, she would not be far from the courtyard. Come on, it's okay. Su Luo squatted down, patted himself on the back and said, Then put me down when you are tired. Yi Zaiamu lay on Su Luo, holding flowers in his left hand and wrapping his right hand around Su Luo's neck and said softly, Okay, let's go. Su Luo stood up and carried Yi Zaiamu on her back. At this time, the two cameramen suddenly filmed each other. After a few seconds, they filmed Su Luo and the other person again. I'm dying of laughter. Cameraman, how about you carry me on your back? I think the two cameramen were devastated at that moment. Cameraman, you are not tired, but I am tired. Su Luo is so considerate. It's all fake, this Su Luo is a scumbag. At this moment, a barrage of comments instantly ignited the live broadcast room. Chapter 52, Su Luo's house is about to collapse. It's all fake, this Su Luo is a scumbag. At this moment, a barrage of comments instantly ignited the live broadcast room. This Su Luo is a scumbag. He's having multiple relationships at the same time. The black man upstairs, get out of here. A little wildcat, please follow my Weibo account. A little wildcat, I will release the real hammer. Is this true or false? This is a recorded show. It's all acted out, it's scripted. In reality, Su Luo is a super scumbag, dating at least 100 girlfriends at the same time. Fuck, is this true? If it's true, Su Luo is a true master of time management. This guy can't handle it. My kidneys are fine. Didn't you see Yi Zaiamu is pregnant? At this time, the live broadcast room was in chaos, and more people began to lead the rhythm. At the same time, many people expressed their desire to eat this melon. I quietly opened Weibo and followed a little wild cat. The number of fans of a little wild cat exceeded 100,000 in just a few minutes. At this time, Ding Lei looked at Li Zaiarshuang in a gloomy tone. Check it out for me right now. What's going on? Okay, director. Li Zaiarshuang replied immediately. Sister Ya, Han Yi, who was at Jinling University of Finance and Economics at this time, received a call from Tanya. Han Yi is Tanya's assistant, and was arranged to go to Jinling University of Finance and Economics to investigate the situation at noon. Originally, she thought that the situation would not break out so soon, so Tanya did not keep an eye on the investigation. Who would have thought that it would only take more than 4 hours from the time I knew about this to when it was exposed? This is such a coincidence. Is someone behind this? Zyro Han, how is your investigation going? Henya asked immediately. Sister Ya, I found more than 20 girls. They said they had chatted with Su Luo, but they just made a few casual jokes and were later deleted by Su Luo. What do they think of Su Luo? Tanya asked. Many of them said that Su Luo was handsome and had a good personality. He often invited them to dinner but never took advantage of them. They just needed to admit that they were Su Luo's girlfriends. Did all of the 20 or so people you asked have the same attitude? There were a few who were a little resentful, asking why they were deleted at random. They also knew that Su Luo was filming the show and was already married, so they just complained a few times but didn't say anything else. Some people have already started exposing the news online. Have you found anything? Tanya listened to Hanya's report and rubbed her eyebrows. She was overwhelmed by this kind of problem. How should she deal with it? It's not a big deal to let you pretend to be cool. The most important thing is that Yi Zaiamu and him were still an accident, and you can't tell the truth. This is really like telling 100 lies for one lie. Sister Ya, I have discovered a strange situation during this period. Hanya hesitated for a moment and spoke. Tell me about it. I've asked around 100 people, and 24 of them are related to Su Luo. Wow, that's great, Zio Han, you're so efficient, Tanya exclaimed. You should know that Jinling University of Finance and Economics has a total population of about 20,000 people. Excluding half of the men, there are still about 10,000 people. Su Luo has 100 girlfriends among them, which means that, in fact, there is about a 1% probability of finding a girl related to Su Luo. Well, I'm only looking for good-looking ones, Henya said softly. Fuck, great, Zio Han, well done. Tanya was speechless. This Su Luo was really good. She only looked for good-looking ones. Let me continue. I found that the reactions of several people were very strange, Hanya said as he frowned and recalled. Why is it strange? I didn't pay much attention to it before, but now I think about it, their reaction is a bit impatient, as if someone has asked this question before. Find those people immediately and confirm whether anyone has looked for them before, and see if you can get any evidence first, Tanya said immediately. Okay, Sister Ya, Henya said, hung up the phone, opened the notebook in his hand, took out his mobile phone, and started contacting the number on it. Henya's notebook contains the contact information of 24 people, all of whom are related to Su Luo. After hanging up the phone, Tanya touched her brow and watched the live broadcast of Su Luo and Yi Amu arriving in the yard. She hesitated for a moment and did not send a message to them. Instead, he called Ding Lei. After all, if this matter was not handled properly, the program would definitely be greatly affected. Director Ding, it's Tanya. Tanya spoke immediately after the call was connected. Sister Ya, what's going on? Why are there so many negative news about Su Luo suddenly appearing online? Ding Lei did not get angry at Tanya. After all, Tanya had a good reputation in the circle. Director Ding, I'm so sorry to have caused you trouble. We will handle it as soon as possible. Sister Ya, tell me the truth. Is there anything wrong with this Su Luo? Ding Lei was also worried that if Su Luo's reputation really collapsed, the show would be half ruined. Tanya hesitated. She was completely confused and had no idea what to do. Fuck, Sister Ya, this can't be true. Ding Lei was panicked, completely panicked, because this show was his lifeblood. Director Ding, don't worry. I can only say that this matter is quite complicated. I don't fully understand the specific situation right now, but I can guarantee that Su Luo is a person who keeps himself clean. Tanya heard Ding Lei's panicked voice and immediately started to explain. Ding Lei was a little confused when he heard that. Here's what happened. Director Ding, please help keep it a secret. Tanya had no choice but to tell everyone about the situation except the accident with Yi Amu, including the incident that caused Su Luo's death. Puch, ha. Director Ding couldn't help but burst out laughing. Li Xiaoshuang, who was standing by, looked at Ding Lei in surprise. At this time, Director Ding could still laugh. Tanya heard Ding Lei's laughter and felt helpless. Su Luo, don't blame me for telling it out. There was nothing I could do. You didn't give me any time at all. So much so that for a period of time afterwards, Su Luo discovered that Director Ding always smiled inexplicably when he saw him. Is Su Luo so childish? Ding Lei stopped smiling and spoke. After all, I haven't graduated from college yet. The key is that Su Luo doesn't have any information. As long as there is nothing wrong with Su Luo's chat history, this matter won't be a big problem, Ding Lei said after thinking about it. I thought so at first, but now that it has really happened, I don't know where to start, Tanya said helplessly. Sister Ya, you are confused because you are involved in the matter. Ding Lei thought for a moment and said with a smile. Director Ding, you have a solution. Tanya's eyes lit up when she heard Ding Lei's words, and she spoke excitedly. Of course, let me tell you everything, Ding Lei said, no longer panicking. Chapter 53, I always feel that social death is not far away from me. Then Ding Lei covered his phone and said something to Li Xiaoshuang beside him. There's no need to investigate Su Luo's affairs. Let's just collect some negative evidence about her. Okay, Director, Li Xiaoshuang responded. Sister Ya, I suggest that you ignore the outside world's opinions for the time being and talk to Su Luo first. After all, if this happens, their parents will definitely know about it immediately. Ding Lei thought about it for a moment and did not intend to start dealing with it immediately, but waited for the other party to make a move. Otherwise, if the opponent only has a 3 in his hand, and we directly throw a royal bomb, that would be like using a cannon to kill a mosquito. The two discussed for about half an hour and analyzed the problem clearly. Director Ding, thank you very much. After listening to Ding Lei's analysis and his own methods, Tanya felt relieved and expressed her gratitude. It's okay, it also involves my own program. Ding Lei smiled. He was still optimistic about Su Luo. Since there was no big problem, he would help if he could. On the other side, Su Luo carried Yi Amu back to the courtyard. At this time, everyone else was already chatting in the courtyard. Su Luo, what is that fish in the kitchen? Lina asked when she saw Su Luo coming back. Xiaomu wanted to eat grilled fish, so I caught 2 and grilled them, Su Luo said with a smile. That's fine. Zhu Jai heard it and immediately agreed. Xiaomu, sit for a while, I'll go grill the fish, Su Luo said to Yi Amu with a smile. Okay, Yi Amu nodded in agreement. At this time, online public opinion had gradually risen, and the Weibo account of a little wild cat had more than 2 million followers. At the same time, A large number of viewers gradually poured into the live broadcast room of the program team, and the barrage of comments was constantly discussing Su Luo. Because there is no solid evidence yet, everyone is just speculating. Of course, the old audience still doesn't believe it. After all, they had watched Su Luo do things and treat Yi Zairamu for so many days. Just as Yi Zairamu was about to sit down, she saw Lu Maomia waving at her outside the courtyard. Then she walked out of the yard and turned off the radio. "What's wrong with Maomia?" Yi Zairamu asked. "Sister Zairamu, there are rumors online that my brother-in-law is a scumbag," Lu Maomia said immediately. Lu Maomia just received a call from Tanya, asking her to inform Yi Zairamu about this matter immediately, and also explained that she would not respond for the time being. "Okay, I understand, it's okay." Yi Zairamu nodded and took out her cell phone to search. Yi Zairamu originally planned to post a small message, but after thinking about it, she decided not to respond for the time being. She had a feeling that this matter did not seem simple. "I'll continue recording the show." Yi Zairamu put away his phone and spoke. "Okay, Sister Zairamu," Lu Maomia nodded. "Bite." As Su Luo entered the kitchen, a voice came to her mind. Su Luo sank into his thoughts and thought to himself, "You're such a loser, I can't even count on you anymore. The host is facing online scandals. Please choose your approach." 1. Forget it, Tongzi can't continue. Just give out the rewards directly. Reward 1 all chat records. By the way, Tongzi, you are obviously a system that can give rewards directly. Why are you pretending? Su Luo thought to himself. "I'd love to." Wow, quite arrogant. Su Luo came out of his mind, took out his mobile phone, and looked at the more than 100 screenshots of chat records in his phone. Su Luo was speechless. What a sin. The 2 fish were processed and grilled. Su Luo took out her cell phone again and looked at the chat history. No wonder I didn't remember it clearly before. Except for the record of a little wild cat, the others were discussed last year. Several months had passed, and Su Luo hadn't taken it to heart, so naturally she didn't remember it very clearly. Su Luo looked at the chat history and thought, what a shocking thing happened to me last year. I just blame my childhood friend, who always brags in front of me about how many girlfriends he has. 25 Yuan, 164D Senior, deleted. Su Luo, what's your name? Deleted. 25 Yuan, 164D Senior, just call me Yuan. Deleted. Su Luo, you will be my girlfriend from now on. 25 Yuan, 164D Senior, we're not very familiar with each other. Deleted. Su Luo, just pretend. I'll treat you to a meal and buy you a bag. Deleted. 25 Yuan, 164D, okay, when? Deleted. Su Luo, it's okay now. Deleted. 25 Yuan, 164D, okay, where can we meet? Deleted. Su Luo at the school gate. Deleted. 25 Yuan, 164D, okay. 25 Yuan, 164D, Senior, what are you doing? 25 Yuan, 164D, Senior, why are you ignoring me? After reading it, Su Luo recalled his previous trick, which was to let others know that he had a new girlfriend by deleting the chat history. If you think about it this way, Su Luo immediately opened the chat interface of her childhood friend, Wu Chen. Sure enough, there are a bunch of pictures and screenshots. Su Luo, you will be my girlfriend from now on. 25 Yuan, 164D, okay. Look at Su Luo, she's been looking at her phone the whole time and her expression isn't very good. Maybe she's been hit and is panicking. You're an idiot, you took that speechless expression as a lie. I think Su Luo is definitely not that kind of person. I think so too. At this moment, Su Luo's appearance was seen by the people in the live broadcast room, and some old viewers spontaneously began to speak for Su Luo. Su Luo put away her phone speechlessly. Except for the chat history of a little wild cat which had some problems, the others were generally the same. I always feel that social death is not far away from me, Su Luo said in his heart. At this time, somewhere in Jinling, a woman dressed seductively was looking at her cell phone. On the screen was Weibo's personal profile, a little wild cat. At this moment, a large hand attached itself directly to a rabbit. Hate it, a little wild cat whimpered. How many people are paying attention to it now? The man said while pinching the rabbit in his hand. It's more than 2 million, a little wild cat said obediently. Well, just post an update. When it reaches 5 million followers, I'll post the real evidence, the man said after thinking for a moment. Okay, Brother Li. A little wild cat agreed and started operating on the mobile phone. Humph, Su Luo didn't expect you to get such a good deal, Yi Zairamu. You won't be so lucky next time. Li Yang had a gloomy face and finally muttered, "Brother Li, I have sent it." A little wild cat held up the phone and handed it to Li Yang. "It's still early, so come on." Li Yang put down the phone of a little wild cat, gestured with his hand, and spoke. "Brother Li, you're so annoying." A little wild cat said coquettishly, then rolled up her hair and possessed him. Chapter 54, The Straight Man Zhu Jai. With the release of a little wild cat's post, a new round of public opinion fermented again. Ding-ling-ling. At this moment, Su Luo, who was putting the grilled fish on a plate, suddenly received a call from her phone. "Smelly boy, what's going on the internet?" Su Siyuan's voice came out just as Su Luo picked up the phone. "They are all rumors," Su Luo said casually. "People say there's evidence." "Dad, I'm recording a show." Under the camera, Su Luo was still not used to talking to her family. "You are still concerned about recording the show. Let me ask you, have you ever done anything wrong to Xiao Mu?" Su Siyuan said seriously. "I have absolutely done nothing wrong to Xiao Mu, so just relax." Su Luo had no choice but to speak seriously. Seeing Su Luo say this, "I really think that little wild cat is spreading rumors. Didn't Li Maomu make a promise before, and didn't he finally make it happen? Remember, there is also Wu Maomu upstairs." "That's good, I won't watch your live stream for the next few days. Those comments are annoying. You can block barrage comments on that website. Ask your assistant to teach you." "Okay, I'll look into it." "Oh, and you should call your father-in-law. He's probably worried right now, too." "Okay, Dad, I'll call you right away." Su Luo also learned about this through the system prompt. Therefore, she didn't have time to call Yi's father and mother. Only when Su Siyuan reminded her did Su Luo realize that she had indeed neglected it. Su Luo hung up the phone, immediately found Sun Tingting's cell phone number and dialed it. When asked why Yi Zhenhua wasn't called, Su Luo said that a mother-in-law loves her son-in-law, but the same may not be true for the father-in-law. "Xiao Luo, you guys are recording a show, so we can't call you directly. Why are there so many negative news about you online?" When the call was connected, Sun Tingting's voice came out. "After all, my daughter is in the entertainment industry. Although she has never had any scandals, she still has black fans who often spread rumors and smears her. Therefore, Yi's father and mother have some understanding of the entertainment industry." So he did not blame Su Luo, but spoke to her in the same tone as usual, which made Su Luo's worries disappear completely. "Mom, it's okay, don't worry. It's probably someone spreading rumors maliciously." As Su Luo spoke, his eyes narrowed and he thought of a possibility. Yi Xiaomu had been drugged, because according to Su Luo's chat records, no woman would take it seriously, and she often treated them to meals and occasionally bought them a bag. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals fine recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add so. There is no reason for him to be targeted, and the only thing left might be Yi Xiaomu. "Xiao Luo, your dad and I feel relieved when you say that. Just focus on recording the show." "Okay, Mom, don't look at the barrage these days. It will be fine in 2 days." Su Luo nodded and said, "Then I'm relieved. You can continue recording the show and take care of yourself." "Okay, Mom, I will take good care of myself and Xiaomu." After hanging up the phone, Su Luo walked in front of the camera. "Defamation." Su Luo calmly stated the provisions of the crime of defamation. A powerful aura emanated from Su Luo, and at this moment he seemed like a messenger of justice. "Oh my God, this is a statement. Is Su Luo a law major? So impressive. Brothers, I checked it out on Baidu. Please don't add any character to me at will." After Su Luo finished reading the content on the phone, she raised the phone and said with a smile, "He sprained his waist. I was actually praising him even though he was like that just now. Brothers, let's not discuss this matter anymore. It's getting late. I need to let my wife eat. Look at the delicious grilled fish." Su Luo said, as she pointed at the 2 pots of grilled fish next to her. "We are already on our way to eat grilled fish." I was just about to say this might be a food show. My wife just kept pestering me about eating grilled fish and I slapped her in the face. I'm kneeling on a durian right now. I won't say any more, my knees hurt. The one upstairs is a real warrior. It's time to eat. Su Luo walked towards everyone, carrying a pot of grilled fish. "Okay," Zhu Jai responded, rushed into the kitchen and brought out another pot of grilled fish. "It smells so good. Luo, your cooking skills are really amazing," Zhu Jai exclaimed with admiration. "Su Luo, if you do this, I will be under a lot of pressure when cooking in the future," Li Na said with a smile. That's right, Tang Jiru immediately agreed. "Sister Na's cooking is delicious too." Su Luo smiled modestly. "What about me?" Tang Jiru interjected. Sister Ru, you're pretty good at washing dishes. Su Luo, you? Tang Jiro glared at Su Luo. Sister Ru, it's just a joke, just a joke. Eat it, eat it. Su Luo waved her hands and said with a smile. Yi Zairam on the side covered her mouth and smiled, secretly pinching Su Luo. Let's eat, I can't wait any longer, Zhou Yang said while holding chopsticks. Let's eat, let's eat. Everyone agreed immediately. This grilled fish is absolutely amazing, even better than the previous one, Zhu Jai praised as he ate. The fish today is bigger, so the taste will be a little different, Su Luo explained. They are all delicious, Tang Jiru said while holding the fish. Wife, if you keep eating like this, you'll probably gain a lot of weight, Zhu Jai said seriously. Huh, Tang Jiru immediately turned around and glared at Zhu Jai. The wind is so noisy tonight. Zhu Jai pretended to look at the sky that was gradually getting darker. Just wait and see how I'll deal with you when I get back. Tang Jiru rolled her eyes. Brother Jai, why do I feel like you're madly testing the edge of death every day? Su Luo looked at Zhu Jai, who looked a little guilty, and said with a smile, I'm just concerned about her. As actors, we have to maintain our figure. After all, losing weight is not easy. If the character's image is thin and we can't lose weight, that would not be good. Zhu Jai said seriously. Zhu Jai cried out in pain. Tang Jiru was twisting Zhu Jai's waist and spinning him. Brother Jai, let me remind you, don't try to reason with girls. Yizaya Amu said with a smile, covering her mouth. Yes, that's right. Whatever my wife wants to do, we just need to say 666. Why bother explaining so much? Su Luo also nodded in agreement. Wife, eat more and gain some weight. Zhu Jai nodded and immediately put a few pieces of fish into Tang Jiru's plate. Su Luo and Yizayaramu covered their foreheads at the same time. You're the one who gained weight. Tang Jiru slapped Zhu Jai with a big slap. Straight man actor Zhu. How did Zhu Jai catch up with Tang Jiru? I don't think he could have caught up with her in his current state. Sister Ru, how come you are with Brother Jai? Su Luo smiled at Zhu Jai, then turned to look at Tang Jiru and asked. Chapter 55, The Movie King and His Three Followers. We met while filming, Tang Jiru said with a slight blush on her face. Sister Ru, tell me in detail? Su Luo's eyes lit up. Looking at Tang Jiru's expression, Su Luo felt that there was gossip here. Peng Xiaoramen also looked at Tang Jiru expectantly. Li Na and Yi Xiaoramu were also curious. After all, sometimes women just have a talent for gossip. Ha ha ha, Tang Jiru said, feeling a little embarrassed as she stood up. Well, everyone must be full, so why don't I take it? Hey, Sister Ru, I'm sorry, please don't change the subject, Su Luo said with a wicked smile. Luo, you kid. Zhu Jai pointed at Su Luo and scolded with a smile. Brother Jai, it's not us who are curious, but the audience in the live broadcast room who are curious about how a straight man like him can have a girlfriend. After Su Luo finished speaking, she couldn't help laughing, and the others also laughed. Su Luo is a good person, we can get along well. Yes, there are some things that are truly taught. He is a sea king himself, so this thing is easy for him to do, right? The ones above are only a few cents each. Let's make money together. Tang Jiru had no choice but to sit down again, a smile still on her face. There's nothing bad to say actually. About 7 or 8 years ago, when I was still an extra, it was an evening scene. My husband was filming his first movie, and he kept doing NGs. The director was so angry that he packed up and left. Jai Ru and several extras at the time were with us and kept re-shooting, Zhu Jai added. Brother Jai, does this count as a dark history? How about we just stop here? Su Luo said. It's okay, he doesn't care about these. Tang Jiru waved her hand and said. At that time, the director was pissed off by him and left. We extras couldn't get our wages, so he came over, paid our wages out of his own pocket, and even treated us to a midnight snack. I didn't expect Zhu Jai to have such a thing. Zhu Jai is a very good person, and has kept a low profile over the years. This is the first time we meet, Tang Jiru smiled. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add, is Sister Ru moved by Brother Jai? After all, I heard that it is not easy to make money as an extra. Su Luo looked at Tang Jiru and said with a smile. Of course not. At that time, we extras hated him. We just wondered how this guy could be so stupid and affect our get-off work. I could have finished earlier and rushed to the next scene, but because of him, there was no scene after him. Tang Jiru rolled her eyes and said speechlessly. Zhu Jai, who was standing by, seemed to recall this incident as well, and a smile appeared on his face. Many times when looking back on the past, many people can't help but feel that it is beautiful, especially love. It was actually quite awkward at the time. TV dramas and movies are quite different. Movies have much higher requirements on facial expressions and eye contact than TV dramas. A TV series is about portraying a character through an entire show or a long sequence of scenes. Due to the length of a movie, it is expressed through a single scene or even a few seconds of footage, which raises the bar significantly. That was my first time filming a movie. Although I wasn't the main character, I played a relatively important supporting role. As a result, the director kept calling for cuts. Really, when I got back to the hotel that night, I kept dreaming about clicks, clicks, clicks. It was clicking all night long. Zhu Jai recounted this experience with a hint of nostalgia on his face. Everyone laughed secretly, saying that even in dreams there were clicks, and the clicks were not bad. Ha, it turns out Zhu Jai also has this moment. The movie Emperor also grew up from a young actor. I can only say that Zhu Jai and Zhou Tianweng are both real actors and very dedicated. That's indeed the case. Zhou Yang suddenly spoke at this time. Don't be fooled by the fact that movies are only about 2 hours long. In fact, many filming times are longer than TV series. I once filmed a movie that took 8 months to shoot. Zhou Yang began to explain. Every shot was meticulously crafted. Zhu Jai nodded on the side. After all, he was mainly focused on movies now. That's really different, amazing. I thought movies and TV were pretty much the same. Su Luo sighed. He was not in the entertainment industry, so naturally he didn't understand much about these things. Sister Ru, go on. What happened next? After Su Luo finished speaking, she looked at Tang Jiru and spoke. While we were having supper that day, he added the 3 of us on WeChat and said it was his fault this time, and he would compensate us later. Tang Jiru said this, looking at Zhu Jai with a tender face. This was the beginning of their fate. I told you, Zhu Jai's character is absolutely good. Then Ru and the other 2 extras are lucky. I'm just curious about who the other 2 extras are. Zhu Jai is helping them find resources, so they should be in the industry. Did you accompany Brother Jai to Duanji again the next day? Su Luo asked with a smile. Of course not, because the extras are all found by the director team on the day. So basically after the day is over, only some special guests can stay with the crew. Actually, it's my fault. After all, the director scolded me so harshly that I didn't dare to mention using you again the next day, Zhu Jai explained. What happened next? Su Luo asked. Later, this person became very shameless, Tang Jiru said with a look of disgust. After he added the 3 of us, we had a midnight snack at night, and while we were eating, he created a group. Having said that, Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai teasingly. Zhu Jai was embarrassed, covering his forehead. It wasn't that he didn't want Tang Jiru to talk, but he just felt a little socially awkward. Sister Ru, please speak quickly. The audience is waiting. Peng Xiaoman looked at the 2 of them and spoke without minding the fun. The name of this group is the Movie King and his 3 followers, Tang Jiru said with a smile. Puche, everyone couldn't help but laugh out loud. A guy who made so many NGs that the director was mad and left actually said that he was the best actor. Well, I was drunk at that time, Zhu Jai explained awkwardly. I didn't know Zhu Jai was so childish before. I love you, I love you. I didn't expect you to be this kind of actor, Zhu. Actually, I think the 3 of them are pretty good, so I thought I could help them. So are you 4 still in touch with each other now? Su Luo asked. Yeah, our group has always been there, but the name has been changed. Puchai, Tang Jiru said, and suddenly laughed out loud. I'm suddenly very curious about what the group name is now. Su Luo looked at Zhu Jai covering his face and said with a smile. Why, if you can't tell me this? Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jiru with a pleading look. I'm curious now. Aren't you curious about who the other 2 extras are? If they're still communicating, they might be from the same industry. This is terrifying when you think about it. Zhu Jai added these 3 people at the time. If all 3 of them had become famous, would Zhu Jai be considered a mentor? Chapter 56, Tang Jiru's Sudden Collapse. Please tell me the identities of the other 2 people. You can think about who Zhu Jai and Tang Jiru have the best relationship with. Could it really be the 2 of them? And those 2 are also a couple. If that's true, what kind of fate is this? Ha, Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai and laughed out loud. Sister Ru, I feel a little confused when you act like this. I don't understand what you are laughing at. Why don't you just tell us the name of the group? Peng Xiaoman's curiosity was obviously stronger than Su Luo's, and she couldn't wait. Of course, Zhou Yang and the others also looked at Tang Jiru curiously at this time, and everyone's curiosity had been completely piqued. Honey, look, they are all very curious. Why don't I tell them? Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai with a smile on her face. Just tell me, I've completely ruined my image these past few days anyway. Zhu Jai leaned back in his chair with a look of despair on his face. Haha, the name of the group now is Three Fools Leading an Award-Winning Actor. Tang Jiru laughed out loud as she spoke. Ha ha ha, Brother Jai, you have shown me what it means to be a family brother, Su Luo said with a big laugh. At the same time, several others also laughed. Zhu Jai looked at their expressions and slapped his forehead with his hand. Destroy it, I'm tired, Zhu Jai said. The word Kayan is well used, but I feel like the four of them have a really good relationship, and I guess those two people are Zhang and Tang. Later, whenever he was filming in our area, he would introduce us to the show and treat us to a midnight snack after it was over, Tang Jiru continued. Ag sure. Zhou Yang gave Zhu Jai a thumbs up and winked at him at the same time. There are tens of thousands of extras in a filming base every day, and there are quite a few actors whose time is wasted due to NGs. But Zhu Jai is the only one who treats extras to this extent. Brother Zhou, please don't praise me, otherwise I will offend people. Zhu Jai begged for mercy repeatedly. He naturally understood what Zhou Yang meant, so he pointed out the problem. It's not that Zhu Jai did anything wrong, but it's easy for someone with ulterior motives to take advantage of him. Look at how Zhu Jai treats extras, and then look at who. This will be used by people with ulterior motives to carry out moral kidnapping. In fact, to put it bluntly, being an extra is a job. You get paid to do the job, and that's your job. If an actor gives resources to extras, and this is taken seriously, then Zhu Jai will become the target of public criticism. This was also what Zhou Yang meant when he praised Zhu Jai just now, giving him a chance to explain. Compared to her experience in the entertainment industry, Zhou Yang's is much richer. She is a true triple-talented superstar who has experienced everything. To be honest, I originally wanted to give them my salary and treat them to a meal. When we were eating, I found that we got along really well. So I added the contact information, thinking we could get in touch more often in the future. But I got drunk, and the drink started to make me brag, so I changed the group name to this. Zhu Jai explained that what he meant was that he didn't bring them along because of the NG incident, but because the three of them had a good relationship and were good friends. Sister Ru, what happened next? Su Luo asked. After all, they were just acquaintances before, so how did they become a couple? Actually, at the beginning, the four of us were very good brothers and sisters, the kind that didn't involve personal interests, said Tang Jiru. Yes, later on, all three of them signed with agencies, but they never asked me for help. Every time I asked them if they needed any help, they said no. They just often made plans for dinner and chat together, Zhu Jai added. Brother Jai, Sister Ru, when did your relationship change? Su Luo asked. There was one time when the four of us had dinner together. When I arrived, Jiru arrived first. She was wearing a black dress, which really stunned me. That's when I realized he was a girl. Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jiru with a smile and said happily, Come on, the first thing you said when you saw me was, Your arms are so thick, thicker than mine. Tang Jiru rolled her eyes. Everyone immediately looked at Zhu Jai strangely. Let me explain. She usually dresses very casually, and she was in costume during filming. She suddenly wore that outfit that day, and I was a little nervous. Plus, I'm used to joking around, so I blurted it out. Zhu Jai said awkwardly, Actually, I think my husband wasn't attracted by what I was wearing, but by the two people who came later, holding hands. Tang Jiru rolled her eyes at Zhu Jai and spoke. It's the four of you. Those two got together first, right? Zhou Yang asked. Yes, Tang Jiru nodded. Then it's probably those two who provoked you, Zhou Yang continued. We were both very surprised at the time. We were brothers, so how could we become a couple? Tang Jiru continued. In the end, they both said, How can we, 2 men and 2 women, be brothers? So you and Brother Jai are together? Su Luo asked. No, it's just that our relationship did change a bit during that time. Maybe it was a little ambiguous. They also kept teasing us. Tang Jiru recalled with a smile, happiness sparkling in her eyes. Let me make a statement. Zhu Jai immediately raised his hand. I already liked her that day. It wasn't because of any provocation. Zhu Jai said solemnly. You are the only one who can do this, so why don't you confess your feelings? Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai with contempt. Well, I'm just afraid that if I confess my feelings, you'll say to me, I treat you as a brother, but you want to sleep with me, Zhu Jai said softly. Puchai. Several people laughed out loud immediately. Even Tang Jiru couldn't help laughing. Am I as fierce as you say? Tang Jiru said angrily to Zhu Jai. God damn it, I treat you as a brother, but you want to sleep with me. This doesn't seem like Ru's personality. After all, several years have passed, and now that we're married, there are bound to be changes. Then how did you end up together? Zhou Yang asked. After hearing this, Tang Jiru was silent for a while. Then she looked at Zhu Jai and when she saw him nod, she spoke. There was one time when I took on a role in a play that was set in water. Tang Jiru started crying as she spoke. Zhu Jai immediately took a few tissues and sat next to Tang Jiru to help her wipe it. Seeing Tang Jiru's sudden collapse, Su Luo and the others were at a loss. Is there something wrong? If it's inconvenient, I won't say it. We were just chatting. I'm just very sorry, really. Su Luo and Zhou Yang looked at each other and spoke with guilt on their faces. Chapter 57. Is this how you take advantage of someone's weakness? It's okay, let me tell you. This has always been on her mind, and now that we've come to this point today, I'll just say it out loud. Zhu Jai put his arm around Tang Jiru's shoulders and patted her gently to comfort her. What's wrong? Why are you crying all of a sudden? What happened to Ru? It's not what I thought, right? Is the person above referring to QGZ? The little black guy upstairs has shown his true colors, right? With Zhu Jai here, even though they don't need Zhu Jai's help, there's no way Zhu Jai would let those things happen. At this time, the internet was in an uproar because of Tang Jiru's tears. Jai Ru's scene was in the water. It was almost November and the weather was already quite cold, Zhu Jai said. At this time, Tang Jiru's emotions had stabilized, but her body was twitching constantly, showing that she was not calm. We filmed that scene in the water for 4 hours, and she had a fever right after the shoot. Later, I received a call from Yixin saying that she was admitted to the hospital. Zhu Jai's tone was a little low, and a look of heartache appeared on his face when he looked at Tang Jiru. Zhu Jai mentioned Yixin. Tang Yixin, so the 2 extras are Tang Yixin and Zhang Ryan. I feel so. The 4 of them have a very good relationship in the circle. When I went to the hospital, the doctor told me that since she was already menstruating and had been soaking in cold water for so long, the chances of her having a baby in the future were very low. Tang Jiru listened to Zhu Jai's words and tears flowed again. I asked her why she was working so hard, and she said she was afraid of delaying the filming progress. Zhu Jai said with a painful look on his face. She saw that I was upset, but she comforted me and told me that she had never planned to get married and that not being able to have children would not affect her at all. I felt very sad at that time, Zhu Jai sighed. You cried at that time? Tang Jiru wiped her tears and said with a smile, but the smile was somewhat forced. Ah, you saw it. Zhu Jai was stunned for a moment and looked at Tang Jiru in confusion. There was a mirror in the hallway at the entrance of that ward. You were hiding in the bathroom and didn't close the door. I saw you, Tang Jiru said. After he finished crying, he confessed his love to me, Tang Jiru said, holding Zhu Jai's hand. Tears were already glistening in the eyes of several women. Su Luo and Zhou Yang looked solemn. It was obvious how much of a blow it was to a woman to be unable to have children. TT keyword add data title equals beauty. Data tag equals boutique recommendations. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930. /TT keyword add I just realized now that actors work so hard. These are dedicated actors. They deserve to be famous. Think about it, if I don't go to the hospital, the wound will heal. The person above, please stop being funny at this time. Yes, I confessed my feelings, but she didn't accept it. She said again that she didn't want to get married. Zhu Jai nodded and continued what Tang Jiru said. Sister Ru, did you agree that day? Peng Xiaoman wiped her tears and asked. I agreed because... Tang Jiru was about to speak, but Zhu Jai immediately covered her mouth. Jai Ru, let's not talk about this. I'll confess my feelings to you and we'll be together, that's all, Zhu Jai said awkwardly. We want to listen, Su Luo said as she saw that the 2 men's emotions had almost calmed down. After this period, they should have happy memories, and it would be better if they talked about their experiences. After all, these things, if kept in your heart for so long, will eventually become a thorn. After I refused, Eiji said, don't think I'm pitying you. I'm taking advantage of your weakness to win you over. After all, I've liked you for a long time. This is called taking advantage of a weak position. Tang Jiru looked at Zhu Jai and said with a smile, she understood the purpose of his words. God damn it, take advantage of the opportunity. Is this how you use the word, take advantage of the opportunity? Is a straight man's confession so hardcore? The barrage of comments kept teasing Zhu Jai, and the people in the courtyard looked at Zhu Jai in surprise. Isn't this because I'm worried that she will have a psychological burden? Zhu Jai explained weakly. HMPH, then why did you kiss me directly? I couldn't push you away. I think that's what you really meant, taking advantage of my lack of strength. Tang Jiru glanced at Zhu Jai and spoke. Wow, brother Jai is really good at taking advantage of opportunities. Su Luo exclaimed and gave Zhu Jai a thumbs up. Don't worry about anything else. Just watch it and it won't work. I still caught it. Zhu Jai raised his eyebrows at Tang Jiru. Don't give me that. Do you still remember what you said later? Tang Jiru said softly. Upon hearing this, Zhu Jai's face changed drastically. He used his right hand to force Tang Jiru to lean on his shoulder. Skip it, Zhu Jai said with a wry smile. Husband, do you know the difference between before and after marriage? Tang Jiru said softly. What? Zhu Jai was stunned. It's just that married women tend to talk in a more open and informal manner, haha. Tang Jiru smiled. In fact, after she said it, she felt much more relieved. The difficulty in having children had been weighing on her mind for a long time. That's right, that's right. Yi Xiaomu immediately nodded to show her support. Su Luo turned to look at Yi Xiaomu, a puzzled look on her face. Why didn't I notice it? Didn't you notice? You idiot, what did I say at noon? Yi Xiaomu blinked. What? Su Luo was confused. Feel it for yourself. Yi Xiaomu lowered his head and glanced at Su Luo's lower abdomen. The two exchanged glances. Yi Xiaomu leaned in Su Luo's arms, and then the two looked at Tang Jiru. Seeing everyone looking at her, Tang Jiru's face turned slightly red, but seeing Zhu Jai's embarrassed look, she found it particularly funny. Actually, after all these years together, I already had a crush on him. Maybe this incident was a qualitative change that made me fall in love with him. When he arrived, he was in a mess. His crew was deep in the mountains at the time, and he ran 20 kilometers in one breath before he could get a taxi. So, after he kissed me, I didn't know how to refuse him, but I felt like I wasn't good enough for him. At that time, I told him that I might not be able to get pregnant. Then he said he didn't like children and just wanted to be with me. Tang Jiru said this, looked up, and kissed Zhu Jai. But as a woman, how could I not want to have a child for the one I love? I asked him, what if I like children? He panicked and said, actually, I like children too, so let's have one. I told you that I might never have children. Do you remember what you said, husband? Tang Jiru said this, looking at Zhu Jai with a teasing look on her face. I won't talk about that. I love you. Whether we have children or not, as long as I'm with you, that's all I want. Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jiru lovingly and spoke affectionately. No, you have to say it because I feel like you have forgotten it all, Tang Jiru said with a pout. Chapter 58, the scale is a bit too big. Looking at Tang Jiru's appearance, Zhu Jai felt a little overwhelmed. He let go of Tang Jiru's hand with his right hand and supported his waist. Hurry up and tell me, Tang Jiru pushed Zhu Jai. You just want to embarrass me, right? But we are broadcasting live and this is a bit too much, Zhu Jai said embarrassedly. Wow, it's quite large. I'm very curious about what Zhu Jai said. Tang Jiru remembered that it was still a live broadcast, and she really couldn't be too explicit, so she didn't force Zhu Jai to say anything. Zhu Jai touched the non-existent sweat on his forehead and thought to himself, that was a close call. Thinking back to what he had said before, Zhu Jai couldn't help blushing. The doctor just said the chances of getting pregnant are small, not infertility. If one doesn't work, try 2. If 2 doesn't work, try 3. If you're determined to have a child, then we'll go for it, 8 or 10 times a day. Tang Jiru, your body won't be able to handle it. Zhu Jai, don't worry, I'll just eat kidneys every day to replenish my body. We'll win by quantity. I'm willing to shed my last drop for you. Actually, I later told him that I would only marry him if I was pregnant, Tang Jiru said. But I never got pregnant, and he kept comforting me. He even said that I wasted his youth, and that I had to take responsibility and marry him. Brother Jai, you are too shameless. Peng Xiaoman heard Tang Jiru's words and spoke. This is a strategy. Otherwise, why would I have gotten married last year? Zhu Jai smiled and explained. So I feel very guilty that I can't give Eiji a child. Tang Jiru said, her eyes red again. Wife, what are you talking about? It doesn't matter whether they have children or not. Zhu Jai thought to himself, here it comes. Whether he can make his wife really let go of her obsession depends on this moment. In the past few years, the child has always been a knot in Tang Jiru's heart. Every time the two of them were together, Zhu Jai couldn't help but sigh that eating kidneys really didn't have much effect. I hope to have a child, but I hope you are happy and blessed even more. You are my wife, the one who will stay with me forever. Besides the children, we have many things to do and many places to go. For me, being with you is the greatest happiness. Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jiru seriously and spoke solemnly. At this time, Su Luo and Zhou Jai already understood Zhu Jai's idea. In fact, he wanted to take this opportunity to untie Tang Jiru's knot. Tangzi, is there any solution? Su Luo thought to herself. Host, you can try some fertility-enhancing recipes. Tang Jiru's problem isn't really that serious. It's mainly due to the excessive pressure she's been under these years. Logically, they should have come up with a recipe in the past 2 years, right? Why hasn't it worked? That's because my cooking skills are not good enough. The host's god-level cooking skills have a bonus to the conditioning function. I understand. Su Luo felt relieved. Brother Jai, Sister Ru, I think I can help you. Su Luo looked at Zhu Jai with a smile. After spending a few days together, Su Luo had a pretty good impression of these people and was naturally willing to help them. Su Luo has a solution. Is this the method I was thinking of? Why do I feel something is not right about what was said above? It's already this late and you're still driving. Are you human? Take me with you. Su Luo, if you can really help Miu Miu, I won't criticize you anymore. Really? Tang Jiru's eyes lit up and she looked at Su Luo. Zhu Jai also looked at him expectantly. It's mainly through diet therapy. Su Luo nodded and continued. We've tried diet therapy, but it doesn't work, Zhu Jai said disappointedly. Don't worry, I have a secret recipe, Su Luo said mysteriously and seriously. In fact, there is no secret recipe. It is just to reduce their stress. Really? Tang Jiru and Zhu Jai's eyes lit up. Diet therapy is not medicine, so there is no need to consider whether Su Luo has medical skills. Naturally, the two of them have nothing to worry about. There will be no problem in eating some food. Don't worry, it's okay. Trust me. I can't say anything else, but I'm an expert when it comes to diet. Su Luo patted her chest and said with a smile, Yes, my Liu can also make diet meals, Yi Zairamu said proudly. I want it, Tang Jiru exclaimed immediately. She was actually a little fat now, so she naturally hoped to lose weight by eating. Even Li Na and Peng Zairamen beside them were looking at Su Luo with shining eyes. Yi Zairamu looked at Su Luo somewhat awkwardly, as if she had accidentally tricked him and had to make him cook. Why bother Luo to cook? Just do it. I like you no matter what you look like. Zhou Yang turned to look at Li Na and said with a smile. Su Luo touched Yi Zairamu's head, smiled, and continued. Let me give you a recipe. It's just some ingredients, it's okay. Ha ha ha, this is a great relationship, Li Na said with a smile. Which woman doesn't want to be beautiful and lose weight? Wait, what is Peng Zairamen doing? She ran to Yi Zairamu and whispered in her ear. Yi Zairamu listened with a smile on her face, but when she looked at Peng Zairamen's little rabbit, her face suddenly drooped. No, Yi Zairamu said unhappily. What a joke, you're older than me and you're even bustier. I don't care about my dignity. Peng Zairamen looked at Yi Zairamu, glanced at her two little rabbits for a second, and immediately understood. I'm sorry, Sister Zairamu, I was wrong, Peng Zairamen said with a grin. Pa, Yi Zairamu slapped Peng Zairamen's buttocks. Peng Zairamen covered her butt and ran back to her seat. Luo, I don't know how to thank you, Zhu Jai said a little embarrassedly. They are all trivial matters. Su Luo waved her hand casually and spoke. Let's start tomorrow. I'll prepare meals for Sister Ru then, Su Luo said with a smile. Then everyone tidied up and sat in the courtyard to enjoy the evening breeze. Normally, the couple would be ready to have a baby at this time, but it is naturally impossible when filming a show. Who would want to watch several people sleeping? The other afternoon. Brother Chichai, why did you buy these bandages? Chen Chich, who had just finished shopping, was sitting on the sofa resting when his assistant Zio Wu asked. You don't understand, it will definitely be useful tomorrow, Chen Chichai said with a smile. Brother Chichai, we have to get ready for our evening flight, Zio Wu urged. Oh my God, I just got home. Let me lie down for a while, Chen Chichai said, lying down on the sofa. Oh, by the way, what's the current situation of Su Luo on Weibo? Chen Chichai suddenly sat up and asked. Chapter 59, Chen Chichai likes Weibo. Now it's just that little wild cat who is leading the trend. He just released the news and will release the confirmation when he reaches 5 million followers, Zio Wu said. Have other celebrities spoken out? Zhu Qing strongly supported Su Luo on Weibo. He said he believed Su Luo was a clean person. Well, she and Yi Zayam were best friends. Zio Wu give a like to Zhu Qing's Weibo, Chen Chichai said and thought for a while. After all, I don't know Su Luo yet. I just have a preliminary impression of her through the live broadcast and this time when I got into trouble. The overall feeling is still very good. The details will depend on how we get along with each other. The reason I like it now is just to establish a good relationship. Brother, what if it's really confirmed then? Zio Wu said hesitantly. It's okay, I'm pretty good at judging people. Chen Chichai patted his slightly plump chest and said with a smile. Okay, brother, we really have to go, otherwise we will miss the plane. Zio Wu nodded and continued speaking. Okay, let's go, Chen Chichai nodded. It's almost time, let's all go and have a rest. Several people in the courtyard were chatting happily. Zhou Yang looked at the time. It was just 10 o'clock and the live broadcast had been turned off. Several people stood up and nodded, walking towards their respective rooms. Yi Zayamu pulled Su Luo back to the room. As soon as the door was closed, Yizayaramu jumped onto Suluo's back. "Be careful." Suluo quickly supported her to prevent her from falling. "I shouldn't have accepted this program if I had known." Yizayaramu lay on Suluo's back and said resentfully, "What's wrong?" Suluo carried Yizayaramu into the bedroom and asked curiously. "I feel uncomfortable. It's not convenient for me to be closer to you," Yizayaramu said with a pout. "Silly girl." Suluo put Yizayaramu down, then turned around, kissed her, and said with a smile, "Okay, let's go take a shower." Yizayaramu's face turned slightly red, and she pushed Suluo and said shyly, "Together," Suluo said with a smile. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add you go first, I'll get the clothes. Yizayaramu blushed but did not object. It was not the first time. "Okay," Suluo nodded and walked into the bathroom. Yizayaramu opened the wardrobe, took out the underwear of both people, then picked up the pajamas on the bed and walked into the bathroom. Yizayaramu looked at Suluo without saying a word, and slowly put down the clothes in her hands. "What are you looking at? Come here." Suluo saw Yizayaramu staring at her and said with a smile, Yizayaramu's face turned red. She was actually obsessed just now, damn it. Soon the two of them got into a fight. "Are you okay like this?" Yizayaramu asked hesitantly. "It's okay, I can bear it," Suluo smiled. "Well, how about I help you?" "No, it's okay. Hurry up and wash up. We should go to bed." "Well, I've secretly watched some short videos and I can do it," Yizayaramu said in a low voice. Suluo looked at Yizayaramu, feeling a little hesitant. How could it not be tormented if it was like this every day? "Let's wait. If you have any ideas, it will not be good for the child." Suluo finally refused. "Don't worry, it's just this time. I'll wait a month next time. I don't want you to feel so bad," Yizayaramu said seriously with a red face. "So what are you going to do?" "Don't move, close your eyes and leave it to me," Yizayaramu said in a low voice. The sound of water stopped, and Yizayaramu touched her hair, which was already wrapped in a shower cap. Then he slowly squatted down. Hate you for not even saying a word." Yizayaramu coughed lightly twice, stood up, and patted Suluo. "That, I can't help it." Suluo felt a little embarrassed at this time. Even in sage mode, Suluo was still a little thin-skinned. "HMPH, bad guy," Yizayaramu said with a smile, imagining Suluo's appearance just now, and a sense of happiness filled her heart. Did you eat it?" Suluo looked at Yizayaramu and said uncertainly. "What else? You keep pressing me down and I can't even give in." Yizayaramu rolled his eyes at Suluo and spoke. It's okay, it's for beauty and skin care." Suluo touched her head and said with a smile, but in fact her heart suddenly became extremely excited and stimulated. "Humph, that's all lies, made up just to satisfy you men." Yizayaramu wiped her body, walked to the sink and prepared to brush her teeth. "Hey, what's wrong with you? My mouth is so tired, I can't do it anymore." Yizayaramu saw from the mirror that Suluo was about to look up again, and immediately said, "Haha, I was wrong," Suluo said with a wry smile. When she heard Yizayaramu eat it, Suluo could no longer control herself. He quickly turned on the faucet and rinsed it again. After washing up, the two changed into pajamas and lay down on the bed. "Are you comfortable now?" Yizayaramu asked gently while lying in Suluo's arms. "Thank you, my dear. I'm just afraid that I might have wronged you." Suluo held the pretty girl tightly in his arms and spoke seriously. "I don't feel wronged. Seeing you like that, I feel very happy," Yizayaramu said sweetly. "I love you, wife," Suluo said softly. "I love you too, husband." "Wife, what does that feel like?" Suluo's curiosity was aroused and she asked. "What?" He looked up at Suluo in confusion. "Just that, eat." "You're so annoying." Yizayaramu immediately lowered her head and slapped Suluo. "Wife, tell me, I want to know," Suluo said in a slightly coquettish tone. "Sister," after a moment, Suluo saw that Yizayaramu didn't say anything, so she called out again. "Oh, it's just hot," Yizayaramu said a little embarrassedly. "No other taste." "No. Didn't they say it would have a smell? That's what they say on the internet." Suluo muttered to herself curiously. "Suluo, if you keep talking about this, get off the sofa." Yizayaramu felt a little embarrassed and immediately looked at Suluo and said seriously, "Yeah, okay." Suluo nodded in agreement, and the relationship between the two became closer. Suluo lay flat on her back, her right hand around Yizayaramu's neck. Yizayaramu lay on her side. One hand held the handle, and one foot was placed on Suluo's leg. "Sister, what are you doing?" Suluo said helplessly. "It's fun and soft," Yizayaramu said with a smile. "Sure enough, young women become dirty after marriage." Su Luo felt Yi Zayaramu's soft little hands and teased with a smile. Yi Zayaramu blushed a little, but felt inexplicably excited. It was really fun to live like this with Su Luo. Wife, go to sleep. Su Luo turned around, scratched the little rabbit, and said softly. Yeah, Yi Zayaramu nodded, adjusted to a comfortable position and closed her eyes. Let go and sleep, Su Luo said helplessly. I won't go to sleep, Yi Zayaramu said without opening her eyes. Chapter 60, You're So Handsome. When Yi Zayaramu woke up again, he saw Su Luo holding up her head and looking at him. You are so handsome, Yi Zayaramu said with a smile and quietly turned on the recording on her mobile phone. Before the show ended last night, the director team called out the 3 female guests and assigned them tasks. Yi Zayaramu is the 3rd task. After waking up, she can only say, you are so handsome, and get the reply, you are so beautiful. Similar compliments count. Tang Jiru's first task, to dance in front of the male guest. If the male guest follows her and dances for more than 10 seconds, the task is successful. Li Na's second task was to provide a special breakfast, fried eggs with a lot of salt. Hearing the word delicious from the male guest indicated that the task was successful. Wife, you are beautiful too. Su Luo immediately guessed that this might be Yi Zayaramu completing a mission. He wasn't sure what the answer to the task was, but it didn't matter whether it was a task or not, just praise it. After hearing Su Luo's answer, Yi Zayaramu nodded with satisfaction, turned on his phone and sent the recording to the program team. Is the mission completed? Su Luo asked. Yes, haha, this is the simplest thing, Yi Zayaramu said with a smile. That's good, Su Luo also smiled. Did you sleep well last night? Yi Zayaramu looked at the time. It was just past 7 o'clock, so he raised his eyebrows at Su Luo. Ha ha, not bad, Su Luo said with a wry smile. You slept so soundly last night. I even got up to go to the bathroom, but you didn't wake me up. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo's embarrassed expression and said with a smile. Next time, just call me, Su Luo immediately said seriously. When the month is a little later, Su Luo will have to take good care of Yi Zayaramu even if she has to stay up all night. I'm just kidding, right? Men will be very tired in the future, Yi Zayaramu asked with a smile. Su Luo felt her face immediately getting hot. Liu Liu, you're blushing, tell me quickly. Yi Zayaramu reached out and touched Su Luo's face, saying in a soft voice. That shouldn't be the case, Su Luo said awkwardly. In fact, she had walked for a long time in the afternoon and had carried Yi Zayaramu on her back for a long time, so she was a little tired. Do you want it next time? Yi Zayaramu leaned close to Su Luo's ear and whispered. No, I'm getting up. Su Luo actually had a lot on her mind. She understood, but how could she feel comfortable doing something like this? Moreover, if Yi Zayaramu fell in love, it would not be good for the child, so Su Luo couldn't let herself do as she pleased. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo and smiled. In fact, she didn't mind at all, and seeing Su Luo enjoying herself, she felt very happy. I'll get up first and make breakfast. You lie down for a while. Su Luo got out of bed and whispered to Yi Zayaramu. Yeah, the live broadcast starts at 8 o'clock. I'll get up soon. Yi Zayaramu lay down again, nodded, and said. Su Luo smiled, lowered her head and kissed Yi Zayaramu's lips. After washing up, Su Luo walked out of the room and came to the kitchen, where she saw the breakfast ingredients prepared by the program crew, including soybeans and flour. Su Luo thought about it and quickly made a few fried dough sticks and some soy milk. Mio mio, come and have breakfast. After Su Luo finished cooking, she walked out of the kitchen and called out to Lu Mio Mio, who was behind the cameraman. Thank you, brother-in-law. Lu Mio Mio's eyes lit up, and she immediately walked forward and said sweetly, You're welcome, eat quickly. The live broadcast will start soon, Su Luo said with a smile. Yeah, Mio Mio squinted her eyes and nodded, picked up a fried dough stick, and poured a bowl of soy milk and started eating. Sister Zayaramu, good morning. When Su Luo was about to pour a bowl of soy milk for Yi Zayaramu, Lu Mio Mio's voice came over. Mio Mio, good morning. Su Luo looked up and found that Yi Zayaramu had already walked in. Zayaramu, breakfast is ready, eat something first. Su Luo walked forward, took Yi Zayaramu's hand and said softly. You eat too. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo and said with a smile. Lu Mio Mio, who was standing aside, suddenly felt that she shouldn't be here. Did these two people completely ignore her? Sister Zayaramu, brother-in-law, I'm full, you guys eat slowly. Lu Mio Mio finished her breakfast as quickly as possible and ran out immediately. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add HMPH. You still make breakfast for other women every day. Yi Zairomu pretended to be angry when he saw Lu Maomeo. Isn't that your sister? So there's nothing wrong with making breakfast for her. Su Luo smiled and rubbed Yi Zairomu's head. Yi Zairomu was just teasing Su Luo, so she naturally wouldn't be angry with him. Besides, Lu Maomeo had been with her for a long time, so she really treated her as a younger sister. By the way, have you prepared breakfast for Sister Ru? Yi Zairomu suddenly looked up and said. Not yet, Su Luo slapped her forehead. Ha, she really forgot about it. Then do it quickly, Yi Zairomu urged. Okay, wait a minute, let me see if the ingredients are available. Su Luo nodded and walked towards the refrigerator. Not long after, Su Luo took 2 ingredients and planned to make barley and lentil porridge. The other side, a little wild cat was lying alone on the bed in the hotel, holding a mobile phone in his hand. Seeing that his Weibo followers have exceeded 5 million, a smile appeared on his lips, seeing that all the comments were urging her to reveal the real evidence. Looking at the increasing popularity of his Weibo account, a little wild cat slowly stroked his 2 little rabbits. Your hard work is worth it, a little wild cat sighed in his heart. Thinking of this, a little wild cat posted a status. A little wild cat. The number of followers has reached 5 million, the proof is here. I am Su Luo's ex-girlfriend. According to my understanding, besides me, he was dating 100 girlfriends at the same time. He is simply a super scumbag. The chat content is as follows, picture times 9. The pictures all contain chat records between Su Luo and multiple girls. It included Su Luo inviting them to dinner and asking them to be his girlfriends. Finally, it also includes the last few sentences of Su Luo. We chat with a little wild cat, which of course have been deleted. Ding, ding, ding. A little wild cat had just been sent out when the message alert sound kept ringing. Is this the real deal? I thought there were some pictures, but is it just chat logs? Oh my God, they're all profile pictures of the same person. Judging by the style, they do look like the same person, asking others if they want to be his girlfriend right away. This scumbag is confirmed. He's a master of time management. Is the above poster stupid? Can this be considered a real hammer? I've unfollowed you, you idiot. No, I waited all night, and this is what I see. Not only did I not see any explosive content, but even the content looked weird. Many netizens were disappointed when they saw the updates posted by Little Wild Cat, because these contents could not prove that there was anything wrong with Su Luo. A Little Wild Cat's face darkened as it saw that the rhythm of the comments was not right. Chapter 61, The Beginning and End of Neptune. Didn't she even look at the chat history? She made this with a few people and deleted some of the chat content. At this time, in the meeting room of Brothers Entertainment Company, a young man looked solemn. Immediately arrange for the internet trolls to boost the popularity for me. Also, we will arrange for our artists and partners to speak out. The young man stood up and glanced at everyone with a gloomy look. Do you understand? Clear. Let's start, the young man said with a smile on his face. He sat down and the live broadcast interface was on a black screen on the laptop in front of him. The daily life of celebrity couple Su Luo and his wife's live broadcast room. Countdown 20 minutes. The scumbag is confirmed. Time management master Su Liu. Those with bad records requesting a ban. Soon, the tone of the comments completely changed. Tanya was also the first to see the news on Weibo. Just a few minutes later, all kinds of voices came pouring in. Liang Bo, a well-known director and a prominent figure under Brothers Entertainment, posted on Weibo. At Chinese letter, your husband is such a jerk. I suggest a divorce. Singer Hua Fa-shi, artist of Brothers Entertainment. I can't stand it. How can there be such a despicable person? He is a real master of time management. I suggest to ban him directly. In less than 10 minutes, scumbag confirmed. Hot was pushed to the top of the trending searches. Tanya immediately took out her cell phone and called Yi Zairomu. Hello, Sister Ya. Yi Zairomu's crisp voice came. Is Su Luo with you? Tanya asked anxiously. Yes, I've turned on the hands-free mode. Sister Ya, you can go ahead. Look at the trending searches. Your story has already exploded on Weibo. Sister Ya, I saw it, Su Luo said. Is that news true? Tanya asked carefully, fearing to hear Su Luo's affirmative answer. Yi Zairomu on the side has already taken out. I checked Weibo on my phone and saw the content, and immediately felt a surge of anger. But Yi Zairomu did not question Su Luo immediately. She had been in the entertainment industry for so long that she naturally knew the routine. So she looked at Su Luo, waiting for his answer. Su Luo took Yi Zairomu's phone and browsed the content on it. Oh my God, isn't this the same method I used to deceive Wu Chen? But it was difficult for her, and she actually found a few women to cooperate with her. The main reason why Su Luo was sure that it was not leaked by Wu Chen was that this was obviously a screenshot taken by the woman. In addition, Wu Chen went to serve in the army, and we haven't been in touch for several months. When Wu Chen complained to Su Luo that he was going to join the army, Su Luo smiled secretly, thinking that he probably had too many girlfriends and his family couldn't take care of him. We can't let this child be wasted. We should force him to join the army and let the army take good care of him. At the end of August 2022, Su Luo had not yet started school. Zishi City Taoshengsheng Bar. Luo, I'm so fucking broken. This afternoon, 5 women came to my house and caused a huge scene. I almost lost my life. Wu Chen made a bitter face, took a bottle of beer, poured a glass, and drank it. Su Luo was preparing Note 101, Wild Cat, when she was interrupted by Wu Chen's voice. Looking at Wu Chen's expression, Su Luo closed the WeChat chat, picked up the wine glass, and took a sip casually. How do they know your family? I don't know, but the purple stone is this big. I guess it was exposed by the license plate number. Wu Chen said speechlessly with a sullen face. Brother, you can't do that. Didn't you tell me you had them completely subdued? Su Luo looked at Wu Chen, smiled, and teased. Seeing her brother fail in trying to have multiple relationships, Su Luo was inexplicably very happy, and her smile was so satisfying. Fuck, you have over 100, and I didn't even tell you, and you're still laughing at me. Wu Chen looked at Su Luo, who looked like she deserved a beating, and said helplessly, So I'm better than you. Su Luo took a sip of wine and said with a smile, Fuck, I even suspect that what you said is fake. How can someone agree to be your girlfriend just by asking them? Wu Chen rolled his eyes. You are just jealous mainly because I am too attractive. This is nothing. Su Luo raised her eyebrows and said casually, Damn, I give up. I'm not as handsome as you, but you are my elder brother. Wu Chen cursed with a smile and finally said helplessly, Okay, I accept you as my little brother, but I find that being a sea king is quite interesting. Su Luo said with a smile. What's so interesting? The lesson of the car accident is now bloody in front of you, so stop it quickly. Wu Chen had a bitter face and spoke seriously, as if he was making arrangements for his funeral. Is the matter settled? Su Luo looked at the singing show playing on the big screen in the bar. Hey, who is this? Su Luo pointed at the woman singing on the screen and asked. This is Yi Zaya Amu, the new queen of the music world, 24 years old, and the youngest best female singer in China. Wu Chen looked up at the person on the screen and spoke. The singing is very nice. Su Luo nodded and commented with a smile. Hey buddy, I asked you to come out and drink with me, not to watch celebrities. Wu Chen said dissatisfiedly. Didn't I ask if the matter was settled? Su Luo retracted her gaze, rolled her eyes, and spoke. The moment they found out about each other, the bomb had already been planted. In fact, I still don't know how they knew it. Wu Chen did not answer Su Luo. He must have settled the matter, otherwise he would not be able to get out now. Have you ever considered that they might know each other? Just chatting, hey, my boyfriend's name is Wu Chen. Oh, what a coincidence, mine too. Su Luo said gloatingly from the side. Fuck, why didn't I think of that? Wu Chen slapped his forehead. What, are you planning to learn from your mistakes and make a comeback? Su Luo looked at Wu Chen and said with a smile. Forget it, I won't come anymore. 5 of you came today, and I've already explained everything to the other 20 or so. Let's just call it a day. Wu Chen spoke in a low voice, then looked at Su Luo and spoke. Brother, you'd better learn from my lesson. Otherwise, if you really flip over at 100, you'll be in big trouble. You don't have to worry about me. I was just chatting casually, unlike you, Su Luo said casually. I'm going to join the army. Wu Chen raised his glass, clinked it with Su Luo's, and spoke. Because of this incident? Su Luo asked curiously. Yes, I have confessed everything about this matter, except yours. Wu Chen raised his head and looked at the ceiling with a melancholy face. Well, it was just a lonely look. Very good, then this girl's chasing competition is over. You lose, Su Luo said with a smile on her face. You won the girl, but I lost myself. You actually said I was useless. You insisted that I join the army, Wu Chen said with a melancholy look on his face. Chapter 62, Mission Announcement. What will happen if you don't agree? Su Luo asked curiously. If I don't agree, you will kick me out and prepare to practice another trumpet, Wu Chen said embarrassedly. Then what are you afraid of? Just practice. It's all right to practice the trumpet, but the key is to let me fend for myself. Do you think I can support myself if I just mess around like this all day? Indeed, it's a bit difficult. You are quite self-aware. Su Luo looked Wu Chen up and down and nodded. Oh, let's stop talking nonsense. My father will send me to the army tomorrow. Wu Chen said with a heroic look on his face. All right, go to the army and get reformed. Screw you. Su Luo, Tanya's voice interrupted Su Luo's thoughts. It's the edited version. Su Luo came back to her senses and said without making any comment. Our Su Luo is a man who is committed to being the king of the sea. How could he really be owned by a woman? Yi Xiaomu, who was standing next to her, believed Su Luo's words immediately after hearing them, and the anger that had just risen in her disappeared immediately. Su Luo smiled and touched Yi Xiaomu's head. She noticed the change in her expression and felt a little dissatisfied with the atmosphere in the entertainment industry. So should we fight back now? We can call the police and retrieve the real chat records. Tanya asked. After all, Su Luo was not her artist, so she couldn't make a decision for him directly. Moreover, Su Luo's tone at this moment was full of confidence, completely different from the uncertainty she had in the previous 2 days. I'll reply on Weibo later, Su Luo said. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals find product recommendations, data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add. Is there anything I can do? Tanya asked. Not for now, Sister Ya. I'll take care of it first. At least there's no problem with Xiaomu's Weibo at the moment, so you don't have to worry about it for now. Okay, but Zhu Qing and Chen Chichai's personal Weibo accounts have been attacked by a group of internet trolls, Tanya reminded. Chen Chichai, Sulunu Chen Chichai, a variety show star, how could he? Zhu Qing is Xiaomu's best friend, so she said something for you, and Chen Chichai liked it. Oh, by the way, the guest here today is Chen Chichai, Tanya explained. Okay, I understand. I'll handle it. Su Luo nodded and then hung up the phone. Don't worry, Xiaomu, I'll take care of it. Looking at Yi Xiaomu's worried face, Su Luo said with a smile. Yeah, Yi Xiaomu nodded. This barley and lentil porridge is for Sister Ru. Please remind them later. The live broadcast will start soon. I need to take care of some Weibo matters. Su Luo pointed at the porridge in the bowl and said to Yi Xiaomu, By the way, Xiaomu, this porridge doesn't suit you. Tell me what you want to eat and I'll make it for you. Su Luo thought for a moment and reminded. Yi Xiaomu's face turned red. She had just wanted to try it, but it turned out not to be suitable for her. Ding, a text message came to Su Luo's cell phone. Congratulations on completing your daily mission, beautiful wife. You need to complete a mission today. When you speak today, the first word must be Tai. Su Luo looked at the phone speechlessly, then showed it to Yi Xiaomu. Ha ha ha. Yi Xiaomu covered her mouth and laughed after reading it. I'll go back to my room first. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu, who was laughing, smiled helplessly, and spoke. Liu Liu, if you can't handle it, just tell me and I'll find a way. Yi Xiaomu put away his smile and said seriously. Don't worry, it's okay. Su Luo nodded and walked out of the kitchen. Su Luo first went to find the director and explained the situation. Ding Lei certainly expressed his support. After all, if the issue is not handled quickly, it is likely to affect the live broadcast of the program. Therefore, Ding Lei said that after starting the live broadcast, he would not cut into the room. Then I'll trouble you, Director Ding. You're welcome. The live broadcast will start in 5 minutes. You can go back first, Ding Lei said with a smile. Okay, Su Luo agreed and walked back to the room. At this time, Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang were in the courtyard. They looked at each other, and a feeling of mutual understanding came over them. Both men failed in their morning mission. When Zhou Yang opened her eyes, she saw Lina bringing over a simple meal. Lina put aside the phone she was talking on and spoke. Honey, how about trying it? After Zhou Yang washed up, he picked up the chopsticks, took a bite, and his expression changed instantly. Oh my God, are you going to kill the salt cellar? Zhou Yang immediately put on a mask of pain and spoke. How does it taste? Not so good. Honey, you're not up to par. Zumb. Ding, Lina received a text message. The mission failed. Oh, the mission failed? Lina said disappointedly. Why did it fail? Zhou Yang asked curiously. My job is to hear you say it's delicious, Lina said helplessly. Oh my God, you can say this is delicious. I'm afraid this is a prank on me. Zhou Yang was shocked. In the end, Zhou Yang accepted the fact of failure. On the other side, Tang Jiru got up early and made a video call when Zhu Jai went to wash up. A few minutes later, Zhu Jai opened the bathroom door. A piece of exciting music began to play. Tang Jiru immediately began to dance to the rhythm of the music, twisting her body seductively. Only, Jai Ru, are you having a seizure? Zhu Jai looked at Tang Jai Ru in amazement and said. Ding Lei and Li Xiaoshuang from the program team were already laughing their asses off. Director, this screen recording must be edited into the main film. Li Xiaoshuang suppressed his smile and said seriously. That's a must-have. The action is still going on. Zhu Jai was puzzled and walked in front of Tang Jiru and wiped it towards her forehead. What are you doing? Tang Jiru asked after dodging. I think you have a fever and your brain is burned out. Zhu Jai spread his hands and said, You are the one with a burnt brain. You have lost your mission, Tang Jiru said unhappily. These fans are really funny. Knowing that they can't dance, they still choose this for themselves. Is it really fun to watch yourself make a fool of yourself? The key is that it won't be broadcast live. At exactly 8 o'clock, all live broadcast rooms are opened at the same time. According to yesterday's voting rankings, the current female guests' tasks are Zhou Yang failed, Zhu Jai failed, and Su Luo succeeded. Task ranking. 1. When you speak today, you must add Chinese letter as the first word. 5. Give a gift to the female guest. Only use existing resources. According to the regulations, Zhou Yang and Zhu Jai need to complete tasks 1 and 5, and Su Luo needs to complete 1. Please ask for the content of the task that the female guest will do this morning. Today's mission always feels more fun. When I think of the way they talk, I want to laugh. Hey, you evil creature, show your true form now. Chapter 63. Sea King, Sea Dog, and Seaman. Su Luo returned to the room, sat on the sofa, and took out her cell phone. It took some time to take screenshots of a little wild cat and the comments of several big Vs. Then she began to browse the Weibo updates posted by a little wild cat. Looking at the chat screenshots, Su Luo smiled and didn't take it seriously. The Weibo user you follow has updated his Weibo. A prompt pops up above the Weibo interface. Su Luo smiled knowingly. Yi Zairamu had posted an update. Currently, he only followed Yi Zairamu, so this reminder came from her. After clicking, Yi Zairamu's Weibo was opened. Yi Zairamu V, the best encounter in life is meeting you at the right time and place. From then on, we will hold hands and grow old together, walking through the long life together. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter. Looking at the Weibo post, Su Luo smiled. This Weibo post was very popular and had already received many comments after it was published. Su Luo opened the comments and started reading. Mumu, be careful, Su Luo has been exposed as a scumbag. Su Luo, did I eat your rice? Why are you worrying about so many things? Mumu, blessings, blessings, no matter whether Su Luo is a scumbag or not. As long as the two of them never separate, then this is love. When Su Luo saw this message, she suddenly felt a little emotional. At the same time, because of Yi Zairamu's bold declaration of love, Su Luo made a decision, even if it meant social death. Otherwise, no matter what, it would be whitewashing, not the truth. Thinking of this, Su Luo began to type. Su Luo, I'm not a scumbag, dear. I was originally the king of the sea, but because Zairamu came ashore, we've been together for the rest of our lives. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. After replying to this message, Su Luo did not continue to read the comments, but returned to her main interface and began to write the copy. Su Luo V. I also wanted to live a life of wandering, but I accidentally fell in love with someone, and that person turned out to be you. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. Image times 8. These pictures contain the complete chat records of all the girls Su Luo has ever chatted with, including a little wild cat. By stitching them together using software, 9 pictures were made. Then Su Luo continued to insert another chapter of pictures below the picture. This is a brief record of all the big Vs who participated in bashing him, and a little wild cat. Then Su Luo added the text. Looking at my wife's affectionate confession, I decided to act impulsively. The price of impulsiveness is social death. Destruction, I am tired. The last picture is evidence of fabrication. I will submit it to the police immediately. Thank you all. I'm in the process of social death. I haven't been on Weibo for a month. Then Su Luo clicked send. She closed Weibo and put away her phone all in one go. Then Su Luo sent all the pictures to Tanya. Sister Ya, these are all evidence as well as the original chat records. Please help me call the police. Su Luo sent a message to Tanya. Okay, let me take a look first. Tanya replied immediately. If possible, can you please not watch it? Ha ha ha, this is so funny. You let someone pretend to be your girlfriend just to have a meal. Who said that? There are still people watching movies. Su Luo's mouth twitched. They asked you to bring your ID card, but you said you were an internet cafe member and had a card. Su Luo, you're going to make me laugh to death. Sister Yo, we have something to discuss. Why don't we just stop watching? Su Luo covered her forehead with her hands. She was really impulsive and was confused by Yi Zairamu's simple love confession on Weibo. The Aquaman character is gone, the cool male god character is gone. Wait, when did the cool male god character appear? In the beginning, he was just a joke teller. Su Luo obviously did not have a correct understanding of herself. She found someone to pretend to be his girlfriend and sent the chat records to her childhood friend to show off. This is really something. Haha, here's another funny one. Oh, it's this little wild cat. She said she broke up, but you don't even know who she is and haven't even added a note. Sister Ya, business is important. Business is important. I've uploaded the Weibo as well. I haven't blurred the profile pictures of the little wild cat and a few others who previously trolled me. The others have been coded. Please check and help me file a case for all these people. Sister Ya, you can make the specific arrangements. Su Luo ignored Tanya's ridicule, because as long as I was not embarrassed, others would be embarrassed. I really want to go to Weibo and take a look, Su Luo thought to herself. After all, sometimes when you know that you will be socially dead, you still want to see it with your own eyes. Seeing that Sister Ya didn't reply to her message, Su Luo thought that she must have gone to deal with something, so she opened Weibo. Grass. Weibo Hotlist number 1. New achievement after Aquaman and Sea Dog, Seaman Su Luo, hot. What the hell is a seaman? Su Luo opened the hot spot out of curiosity. If you flirt with 100 girls, you are called Aquaman. If you lick 100 girls, you are called Sea Dog. If you act out 100 girls, you are called Sailor. It has to be admitted that after Su Luo's wave of self-exposure copywriting, his image as a scumbag has been completely reversed. It can be seen that height and figure are reflected in several nicknames that have not been blocked. It was just a little wild cat, and there was no note, and the chat records between the last two people were also ridiculous. A little wild cat, let's break up. Su Luo, sorry, no notes, which one are you? A little wild cat, Su Luo, you scumbag. We can see that in all the chat records. There is a mention of pretending to be a girlfriend, cooperating with Su Luo to complete the chat content. The chat record sent by a little wild cat was exactly the screenshot. And based on the chat records we saw, we can even tell that Su Luo is a person who keeps himself clean. Phew. The food is already in your mouth, but you want to go to the internet cafe. A reminder, the internet is not a place for lawlessness. Please be mindful of your words and actions. Finally, I hope Yizairamu and Su Luo can live happily together until old age. When Su Luo saw this, she took a deep breath. Open the comment section and reply. Thank you, I am Aquaman and need no explanation. Come and see, a sailor was captured alive. Haha, Su Luo, you're going to make me laugh to death. I'm a fan. Is there anyone this funny? Can I say that boys are sometimes so childish? Su Luo closed her Weibo account with an embarrassed look on her face. She checked the time and saw it was already 10 o'clock. She then stood up and left the room. Liu, phew. Yizairamu was sitting in the small courtyard. When he saw Su Luo coming out, a smile flashed in his eyes. Do you know now? Su Luo looked at Yizairamu and immediately said aggrievedly, Pache, please say hello. At this time, Lu Jun immediately shouted outside. Hey, do you know now? Su Luo put on the tie helplessly. Ha ha ha. Everyone around laughed out loud. No one knew whether they were laughing at Su Luo's tie or her social embarrassment. Hey, wait, Brother Jai, Brother Joe, you have to laugh again and follow the rules. Su Luo immediately interrupted their laughter and started speaking. Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang were dumbfounded and looked at Lu Jun, who nodded with a smile on his face. Chapter 64, Weird Chen Chicha. Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang looked at each other, helplessness flashing in their eyes. Hey, ha ha ha. The two people completed the task as if they were reciting lines. Several girls laughed together. Just now when Yizairamu took out her mobile phone to post on Weibo, she told a few people about this, so everyone else also knew about Su Luo. At the same time, while Su Luo was in the room, the director team also submitted tomorrow's tasks. The female guest's tasks were more difficult according to the audience's requirements. The male guest's task is to remove the last option, the one of giving gifts, and then add a new option, a passionate confession. Obviously, this option was arranged by the program team. After all, the main theme of this program is to show affection. Hey, Su Hei Yuan. She stretched out her little hand and said, hey, which was really charming. Hey, what sailor? I'm the Sea King. Sea King knows that. Su Luo rolled her eyes. What the hell is a sailor? Hey, you blew yourself up, Zhu Jai said with a big laugh. Liu, come here. Seeing Su Luo standing there, Yizairamu patted the chair beside him and spoke. At the same time, it also interrupted the funny bickering between Su Luo and Zhu Jai. After hearing Yizairamu's words, Su Luo walked over to Yizairamu and sat down next to him, the two holding hands. Hey, where is Zairaman? Su Luo looked around but didn't see Peng Zairaman. Hey, she left this morning, Zhu Jai added. Old Joe is almost done. Jai Ru and I will go cook first. At this time, Lena spoke to Zhou Yang. Hey, okay, my dear wife, thank you for your hard work. Jiru, you have worked hard too, Zhou Yang said. He is indeed worthy of being the king. Even the sound of a tie makes him sound righteous and awe-inspiring. The scene became quiet again, and Su Luo and Yi Zairamu were playing with their little fingers hooked together. It's not because everyone is unfamiliar with each other. The main reason is that they have to add a tie every time they speak, which is really funny for the male guests. So they plan to talk as little as possible today, and they would be free after the day. Ha 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 ha. At this time, a burst of laughter came from the gate of the courtyard. Hey, a guest is coming. Zhou Yang immediately stood up and walked towards the gate of the courtyard. Old Zhou, Ag. As soon as Chen Chichai walked into the courtyard, he saw Zhou Yang and others, and then they shook hands with each other. This must be Su Luo, Chen Chichai said with a smile when he saw Su Luo standing with Yi Zairamu. Brother Chichai, Yi Zairamu called out. After all, he was a senior in the entertainment industry. Brother Chichai, Su Luo also shouted after Yi Zairamu. Oh no. Hey, Brother Chichai, hey, oh, that's not right. Su Luo walked in front of Chen Chichai, and the two shook hands. Puchai, what the hell? Chen Chichai said with a smile, a little confused. Hey, this is a mission, Zhou Yang explained on the side. Is your job to say tie before speaking? Chen Chichai asked curiously. At first he thought Su Luo was seriously ill, and wondered if he had misjudged her. Hey, yes, Zhu Jai also nodded. Next came Chen Chichai's moment. He kept saying this to Zhu Jai, and his words, one after another, reached the ears of the other people. Lao Zhou, I brought the raincoat. I have one more, but let me tell you, my leg is injured. Chen Chichai said, lifting up his trouser legs. Hey, oh my God! Everyone looked at Chen Chichai in surprise. Almost his entire leg was covered with bandages. Hey, Brother Chichai, I'm afraid you're going to have your limbs amputated. Su Luo saw through Chen Chichai's move at a glance. It's okay, I can still bear it, I can still bear it, Chen Chichai said with a smile on his face. Oh, Brother Chichai is here. Tang Jiru rushed out of the kitchen with a kitchen knife. Chen Chichai jumped 3 meters high and immediately ran away. Hey, old Chen, this is so fake. Zhou Yang pointed at Chen Chichai speechlessly. Ha ha ha, just a joke to everyone. Hi, Jairu, Chen Chichai said with a wry smile, then greeted Tang Jairu. Hey, shocked, Brother Chichai actually, Su Luo said sarcastically. Hey, it's actually like this. An old friend came here and wanted you to have a good rest. Zhu Jai followed behind and fanned the flames. Hey, alas, the most important thing in life is honesty. Zhou Yang shook his head pretentiously. Yi Zairamu and Tang Jiru covered their mouths and laughed secretly. Brothers, I was wrong, I accept the punishment. Chen Chichai could only beg for mercy. If he continued to be so sarcastic, he would probably be hanged on the pillar of shame. Hey, Brother Chichai, we don't actually want to punish you. After all, you are a guest here. Su Luo spread his hands and spoke. Hey, that's right, how can we punish you? After all, it's not easy to come here and you came here to relax. Zhu Jai assisted from the side. Hey, he's a big shot after all. We can't punish him casually. It's not appropriate. Zhou Yang made the final kill. You three stop bullying Brother Chichai. He looks so fat and he probably can't take the punishment. I'm going to cook, you guys chat. Tang Jiru completed the winning move X2 on the side. I can see that. You're trying to make me work willingly. Okay, don't talk about punishment. Just do it directly and name the price. Chen Chichai looked at the tacit cooperation of several people in dumbfoundedness, and finally spread his hands helplessly. I'm dying of laughter. These 3 people sang the same tune, leaving Chen Chichai speechless. Look at the sarcastic energy of our seamen. I see tea in it. What kind of tea? New tea, 95. What are you talking about above? I don't understand. Ha Su Heiyuan's tea flavor is indeed quite strong. I guess he learned it from that 21, Cha-Cha 165D. Seeing that number 21, Cha-Cha 165D made me want to laugh. Su Heiyuan is quite talented to come up with such a note. I counted them, and there are a total of 101 chat screenshots, which means there are 100 notes like this. There's no note for the little wild cat thing. I guess I forgot, ha. Liang Bo and Master Hua both deleted their Weibo posts, but it was no use. The comment section on Weibo was nearly overwhelmed, so they eventually closed the comments. I said Su Luo couldn't be that kind of person. Look, Su Luo is still holding hands with Zaire Omu. I'm jealous. This dog food is slapped on my face like crazy. Hey, how about 10 trees? I don't want you to plant them anymore. I'll just cut down 10 trees. Zhu Jai put his arm around Chen Chichai's shoulders and said with a grin, Destroy it, I'm tired, Chen Chichai said with a look of despair. Hey, you shouldn't feel tired after lunch, Zhou Yang said with a smile. Director, I have a suggestion. Next time, let's have an option where we can have a conversation with the guests and just say, yes, okay, I agree. How about that? Chen Chichai's eyes turned, and he immediately spoke seriously to the camera. Chapter 65, Brothers Entertainment Villain Li Yang. This option is really good, especially when you encounter someone who likes to play tricks on you. Agreed, did the production team hear that? Celebrity Couples Daily Program Crew. Arrangement. Oh my God, Chichai, just shut up. Zhu Jai pulled Chen Chichai over and said loudly. Everyone knows how to stir up trouble, director. Did you hear me? Arrange it right away, Chen Chichai said with a smile. Ding-ling-ling. Su Luo's phone rang, interrupting the few people who were teasing each other. Su Luo picked up the phone and frowned as she looked at the unfamiliar number on the phone. Just hang up. After all, I'm doing a show and it's an unfamiliar number. Xiao Mu, I'm going to set up the chicken coop. Can you wait here for a while? In order to avoid saying anything more, Su Luo leaned close to Yi Xiaomu's ear and spoke. Let me go with you. Yi Xiaomu stood up, took Su Luo's arm, and said with a smile. Hey, Su Luo said, looking helpless. I protest. Who on earth came up with this mission? It's too torturous. The speaker felt uncomfortable, and so did the listener. Ding Lei glanced at the comments. At first, everyone thought it was fun. But as the communication time went on, people started to get tired. Considering the normal communication between the guests, the first task ends here. After receiving instructions from Ding Lei, Lu Jun held a loudspeaker and spoke. Oh, I finally feel like I can speak fluently. Zhu Jai immediately sat down on the chair and said with a relaxed look on his face. Brother Zhou, Brother Jai, Brother Chich, I'm going to go cover the chicken coop. Otherwise, it will be too late if it rains. Seeing that everyone had relaxed, Su Luo spoke. Dinner is about to start, Chen Chichai said. It's okay, it will be quick. After saying that, Su Luo pulled Yi Xiaomu and walked towards the kitchen. How is it? Watching Su Luo leave, Zhu Jai looked at Chen Chichai beside him and asked. It's pretty good. Chen Chichai nodded and spoke slowly. I watched his previous live broadcast. He has talent, jokes, and is quite childish. Most importantly, he is handsome. Don't you consider signing it? Zhou Yang said at this time. I haven't thought about it. Don't you see who his wife is? His wife's company should give priority to him and won't be able to sign him. Chen Chichai shook his head. However, you can arrange for you to participate in my variety show. Chen Chichai raised his hand and touched his chin, then spoke. Why think so much? Maybe they don't even want to enter the entertainment industry, Zhu Jai added. It doesn't matter. His wife is in the entertainment industry, and he has already stepped half a foot into the entertainment industry. Looking at the way they are, they must be inseparable every day. Chen Chichai looked at Su Luo, who was covering herself with a rain sheet in the distance, and said with a smile, TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. Sister Na, Sister Ru. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu arrived in the kitchen and saw two people busy at work, Chef Li Na and apprentice Tang Jiru. Xiao Luo, Xiao Mu, what are you doing? Li Na asked while cooking. Brother Chichai brought a rain cloth here, I packed it up, Su Luo said with a smile. Very good, Li Na nodded. Sister Na, Sister Ru, you guys are busy, I'll go and put it together. Su Luo said hello and took Yi Xiaomu to the chicken coop. Ding-ling-ling, Su Luo's phone rang again. She took it out and looked at it. The number was still the same. After hesitating for a moment, Su Luo answered the call. Hello. Su Luo, I'm Li Yang, the director of the Brothers Entertainment Investment Department. A young man's voice came from the other end of the phone. What's up? Regarding the rumors spread by Liang Bo and Master Hua, I hope you will withdraw the case. Li Yang's voice was filled with an unquestionable attitude. Su Luo frowned and signaled to the cameraman with her eyes. The cameraman understood immediately, and at the same time, Ding Lei's voice came through his headphones. Don't film Su Luo and the other person for now. Then Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu, covered the microphone, and asked in a low voice, Wife, do you know Li Yang from Brothers Entertainment? Su Luo's plan was very simple. If the relationship was okay, then she would give him some face. When Yi Xiaomu heard Su Luo's words, his eyes narrowed and a hint of disgust flashed in his eyes. That's right, this Li Yang was the one who drugged Yi Xiaomu more than a month ago, although Yi Xiaomu had no evidence. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu's expression and understood. I don't know, Mr. Su Luo, what do you think? A smile appeared on Li Yang's lips. Brothers Entertainment can be said to be the top entertainment company in China. Although he is not the boss, but only a director of the investment department, he still has great power. He has tasted a lot of sweetness, and with the reputation of Brothers Entertainment, most people can only choose to compromise. Li Yang was sitting in the office at this moment, leaning on the office chair with a confident smile on his face, thinking in his heart, "Humph, this Yi Xiaomu is actually married and pregnant, hehehe. You can't escape from my palm." "What did you say? The signal here is not very good." Su Luo moved the phone further away and then closer. "I told you to drop the case." "Stupid, what the hell?" Su Luo said with a sarcastic look on her face and then hung up the phone. Yi Xiaomu's expression just now clearly showed that she had some grudge against him, and she must have hated him very much. Naturally, Su Luo would not give him face. After all, he was a second-generation rich kid, and it was impossible for her to spoil him. "If you mess with my wife, you're done for," Su Luo thought to herself. "What's wrong? Is there something on my face?" Su Luo, who hung up the phone, looked at Yi Xiaomu's surprised expression and asked, "This is the first time I see you like this." Yi Xiaomu squinted her eyes and said with a smile, "You look like you hate him, so why should I care about him?" Su Luo reached out, touched Yi Xiaomu's brow and smoothed it. "I feel like there's something going on here." Su Luo withdrew her hand and asked, "On February 11, he must have drugged me, but I have no evidence." Yi Xiaomu took Su Luo's hand, moved closer and whispered, "Xiaomu, wait a moment, I'll post something on Weibo." Su Luo narrowed her eyes slightly when she heard that and spoke to Xiaomu. "As a sailor, as the king of the sea, you must have great eloquence, and the same goes for being sarcastic." Su Luo opened Weibo, found the Brothers Entertainment account, and started commenting below. "At Brother Entertainment, I suggest you check at Li Yang, the director of your investment department. I heard from others that he is quite rich and can even hire internet trolls." Then Su Luo opened her Weibo homepage and edited her post. "I'm not from the entertainment industry, so your tactics won't work on me. No one who spread rumors about me this time will be able to escape. At Chinese letter, are you satisfied?" What does Su Luo mean by this? Is this person named Li Yang behind this incident? Who is Li Yang? I feel like there's something fishy. Su Luo, I want to see you dance, it's so beautiful. Su Heiyuan, please do your best on the show and don't slack off. Chapter 66, Ordinary Daily Life. I put away my phone and ignored the online public opinion. "Xiaomu, I'll put up the rain sheet. Wait for a while," Su Luo said as she unfolded the rain sheet and started hanging it up. After seeing this, the cameraman walked back and started filming. "Liu, do you need my help?" Yi Xiaomu said and walked to Su Luo to help. "Wife, you can't do this, you're pregnant." Su Luo quickly stopped her. "It's okay, it's not a strenuous exercise," Yi Xiaomu muttered. "Be obedient, it will be done soon, I'll give you some candy later." Su Luo quickened her pace and said with a smile. "Su Luo," Yi Xiaomu looked at Su Luo angrily. After finally fixing the rain sheet, Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu strangely. "Don't treat me like a child," Yi Xiaomu said, stamping her feet lightly. "Puche, why do I treat you like a child?" Su Luo clapped her hands and couldn't help laughing when she heard Yi Xiaomu's words. "What are you laughing at? I'll give you some candy later. Aren't you treating me like a child? I'm older than you, so you should call me sister." Yi Xiaomu pretended to look fierce at Su Luo, but her delicate face did not make people feel that she was angry. "Okay, sister, I'll be obedient. I won't treat you as a child." Su Luo walked forward and hugged Yi Xiaomu's waist, saying with a smile. Yi Xiaomu saw the photographer beside her out of the corner of her eye and blushed a little. She twisted in Su Luo's arms, and when she saw that he didn't let go, she let Su Luo hug her. But Yi Xiaomu still blushed a little, even though the two of them were very close in private. But outside, especially when there are many people around, or during live broadcasts like this, Yi Xiaomu is still a little shy. "Sister Ru, let me make you a soup, black chicken and angelica soup. You can drink this at noon and in the evening." Su Luo hugged Yi Xiaomu and came to the kitchen and spoke. "Thank you," Tang Jiro said seriously. "You're welcome." Su Luo waved her hand, then pulled Yi Xiaomu to the refrigerator and took out the ingredients prepared by the program team. "Xiaomu, the kitchen will be quite fumed soon. Wait for me at the door." Su Luo spoke after simply processing the black chicken. "Then I'll watch you at the door." Yi Xiaomu nodded obediently, then walked to the kitchen door. He found a small stool and sat down, supporting his chin with both hands, looking at Su Luo quietly. Su Luo also looked at Yi Xiaomu at the kitchen door from time to time. The two looked at each other and then smiled at each other. Su Luo is so lucky to have a wife who only has eyes for him. I envy her. Even if they don't do anything now, I can still feel the pink bubbles popping up. Kill Su Luo, grab Miu Miu. Don't kill her upstairs, just give Su Luo to me. I want to give birth to a baby boy for him. Okay then, Su Luo is yours and Miu Miu is mine. I'll take the child's surname. There's something wrong with you upstairs. TT keyword add data title equals beauty. Data tag equals recommended products. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. Sister Ru, just stew it like this and you can drink it at lunch. 20 minutes later, Su Luo added water to the pot and then spoke. Thank you for your help, Luo. Tanjiro looked at Su Luo gratefully. It's okay, right, relax, it's okay. Don't be stressed, I have a special secret recipe. Su Luo spoke deliberately to increase Tanjiro's confidence and reduce her anxiety. Okay, thank you. Tanjiro's smile became more and more intense. Not being able to give Zhu Jai a child was her regret for the past 2 years. Sister Ru, Sister Na, you guys are busy, I'll leave first, Su Luo said as she came to the door. Yizayamu stood up with her hands behind her back. Liu Liu, you are so awesome, Yizayamu said with a smile and narrowed his eyes. Su Luo smiled and stretched out her left hand towards Yizayamu. Yizayamu immediately took Su Luo's arm, and the two of them turned to look at Li Na and the others, waved their hands and walked out of the kitchen. Liu Liu, do you have any recipes for breast enhancement? Yizayamu looked left and right, and found that the cameraman was not following very closely, so she spoke. Su Luo looked at Yizayamu in surprise and said, You said this. Yizayamu looked at Su Luo's expression and lowered her head a little embarrassedly. Zyro Mu, I'll tell you a secret. Su Luo did not answer Yizayamu but made an action. What? Have you forgotten about Brother Jai's social death last time? We have a radio with us. Su Luo pursed her lips and motioned Yizayamu to look at her waist. Ah, Yizayamu's fair face turned red visibly. She screamed and hid in Su Luo's arms. Su Luo hugged Yizayamu with a smile on her face. I laughed. Aside from her small breasts, Mumu has no other shortcomings. Who doesn't like Ki Luo? By the way, is there really a recipe for breast enlargement? I don't know, let's see if Yizayamu's Xingda will change in the future. Ha ha ha. Let's go over there. Looking at Yizayamu, who was hiding motionless in her arms, Su Luo patted her back gently and said, Don't tell anyone. Yizayamu, who had recovered a little, stepped out of Su Luo's arms, looked at Su Luo seriously and said solemnly, Well, don't tell me. Su Luo nodded and responded, then stretched out her hand. Yizayamu placed his hand in Su Luo's with satisfaction, and the two walked back to the pavilion in the courtyard. I really envy you young people, sticking together all day long. Chen Chichai looked at Su Luo and Yizayamu, who were walking over inside. How old is Brother Chichai? Su Luo pulled Yizayamu to sit down, looked at Chen Chichai opposite and asked. I'm 37, Chen Chichai recalled briefly and spoke. Isn't it 38? Zhu Jai added. 38 is the age in lunar calendar, Chen Chichai said with a dissatisfied look on his face. Are you angry because of shame? Did I hit you where it hurts? Zhu Jai teased Chen Chichai with a smile on his face. Ag, if you make Chen Chichai shy, who will go to chop trees in the afternoon, Zhou Yang advised. But no matter how you look at it, what he said seems to be adding fuel to the fire. Men only gradually develop their unique charm when they reach a certain age. Look at Brother Zhou, the ageless male god, book in advance, Su Luo said with a smile. Well, did you see that? A Luo still has good taste. Chen Chichai raised his head and said proudly. Haha, goose, goose, goose. Are you stupid? What a Luo means is that Brother Zhou is 8 years older than you, but when you two look at each other, it's obvious that you are older. Zhu Jai laughed like a goose, rolling his eyes and teasing Chen Chichai. Chen Chichai's face changed. Oh my God, where's my knife? Where's my knife? He stood up and paced back and forth. A Luo, is the matter resolved this time? Zhou Yang asked. Regarding this incident, Zhou Yang, Zhu Jai, and others did not post on Weibo. The main reason was that, at the beginning, the little wild cat was not a person in the entertainment industry. The incident did not have a big impact until Brothers Entertainment took action in the morning. But Su Luo quickly produced evidence, and the matter was immediately concluded, making it impossible to refute it. Chapter 67, Feeling Sorry for Chen Chich. It's not a big problem. We have already called the police and there is sufficient evidence. Su Luo nodded and spoke. Su Luo is now basically certain that this rumor came from Li Yang of Brothers Entertainment. There is definitely no evidence for this. But Liang Bo and Master Hua will at least be placed under administrative detention and will not be seen again in the short term. Oh my God, you're so tough, Chen Chichai exclaimed in admiration. But it was this incident that reminded me that a Luo is only 22 years old this year, right? Zhu Jai said with a smile. Haha, Zhou Yang also laughed out loud. Haha, so let me interview you, Comrade Su Luo. What made you do such a childish thing? Chen Chichai looked at Su Luo teasingly and asked. Su Luo's face began to turn red, and Yi Zairamu was also covering her mouth and laughing. What are you talking about? You made Zairo Luo blush. At this time, Li Na came up with the dishes. At this time, the barrage of comments had already exploded, and most people were surprised that Su Luo actually blushed. We were talking about how Su Luo found over 100 girls to pretend to be his girlfriends. Zhou Yang stood up and took the dish from Li Na's hand and said with a smile, "What, more than 100? You are the Sea King." No, you can't be called the Sea King. Li Na looked at Su Luo in surprise. Now our Luo has been given the title of Seaman, Su Heiyuan, which means actor. Zhu Jai added on the side. Su Luo was completely depressed. She held Yi Zairamu's hand, lowered her head, and said nothing. It's okay, I think it's cute. A man stays young until he dies. Feeling Su Luo's embarrassment, Yi Zairamu smiled and spoke gently. Wow, love it, love it. Mumu dotes on her husband online. I envy Su Luo so much. I also want a wife like this. The person above, please pay attention to your gender. You can only have a husband. Wow, Chen Chichai smiled. Hearing Yi Zairamu's words, Su Luo looked up at her and saw her smiling sweetly at her. Then he looked around and saw that the people around him were also looking at the two of them with an anti-smile on their faces. It seems that if I don't confess, I won't be able to get over this today. Su Luo didn't feel that his brothers were laughing at him. In fact, they said that on purpose in order to guide Su Luo to explain things clearly. This will prevent anyone from spreading rumors about this matter in the future. After all, it's almost normal in the entertainment industry to spread rumors with just one mouth and refute them with a lot of effort. My dear brothers, it seems that I have to speak out today. Su Luo took a deep breath and said helplessly, "Go ahead and tell us what you're talking about. Let us laugh at you. Of course, you don't have to tell us anything. Just help me chop down the tree this afternoon." Chen Chichai said with a funny smile. "We don't agree," Zhu Jai said immediately. "Chichai, you must cut down the tree. Not even a single lesson will do. You don't know, his wife called me last night and said I had to make him work more and lose weight." Zhu Jai looked at Chen Chichai with a smile on his face and blinked at the same time. "What a trouble. Wife, why do you treat me like this?" Chen Chichai seemed to be wearing a mask of pain. "This is a backstab from my wife. I feel sorry for Chen Chichai." "All right, Ah Luo, you can speak now. We will not approve Chen Chichai's proposal." Zhu Jai immediately leaned forward and pretended to listen. "Actually, it's nothing serious. It's just that my childhood friend always brags about how many girlfriends he has in front of me." Su Luo touched her nose and spoke. "We made a bet. Whoever has more girlfriends will be the boss in the future." "And did you win?" Yi Zairamu's eyes lit up and she asked excitedly. Looking at Miu Miu's gossiping side, I started to believe in love again. No matter what stupid things her husband does, winning or losing is what she cares about. No, what is Miu Miu thinking about now? "Zairo Miu, why is your focus so strange? The more girlfriends, the better. It seems like you are looking forward to it." Zhu Jai looked at Yi Zairamu strangely. "Ha, I'm just curious. Yi Zairamu looked at everyone's surprised eyes, covering her mouth and laughing. "Yeah, I'm also curious about the outcome of this matter," Zhou Yang echoed. "The competition is not over yet. He failed. 5 girls came to his door," Su Luo said with a smile. "I really don't know what you were thinking at that time." Zhou Yang smiled and said, "At that time, I always liked to compare myself with others. I compared everything. I was quite arrogant." Su Luo replied with a smile. Thinking of the past, Su Luo's lips curled up. "I'd like to know what boys are comparing themselves to each other about. Is it size? Wow, maybe I'm so dirty. Regarding size, who dares to fight me? Upstairs, private chat. Get lost, you are a man. I can tell you clearly that I will urinate farther than anyone else." Because it involved Su Luo's childhood friend and personal privacy, no one asked any more questions. Su Luo explained, and the issue was resolved. "It's time to eat." Li Na and Tang Jiru came over with 2 dishes, and Zhu Jai and Zhou Yang immediately stood up to help. After Li Na and Tang Jiru let go of the dishes in their hands, they turned back. Not long after, Tang Jiru walked over with a big bowl of soup. It was the black chicken and angelica soup made by Su Luo, which was nourishing and helped with pregnancy, and the rich aroma filled the air. "Wow, this smells so delicious." Chen Chichai looked at Tang Zairamu with shining eyes as she put the soup in the middle of the table. Soon everyone stood up, sat around the table and started eating. Brother Joe, you are so lucky to have such a skill, Chen Chichai praised. Indeed, Nana has taken good care of me over the years. I am very grateful to her and cherish her. Of course, I still love her very much. Zhou Yang said to Li Na with a faint smile on his face. What are you talking about? You're so old and you're still talking about this. Li Na patted Zhou Yang and said coquettishly. What kind of show am I participating in? Chen Chichai shouted exaggeratedly, attracting the attention of several people. I thought I was here to watch the production crew mess with you guys, but all I saw was you guys showing off your affection, and then my wife even backstabbed me. I'm tired, let's destroy it. Chen Chichai said this loudly, his face filled with indignation. Then he slumped down in his chair. Haha, Chichai, if you hadn't said it, I wouldn't have realized it. There are 3 couples here and only 1 guest. They're here just to eat dog food. So the malicious intent of the program team is not only directed at the regular guests, but also at the flying guests. The program team yids. Okay, Chichai, stop doing weird things. No matter what you do, you can't escape the afternoon mission, Zhu Jai said with a smile. Oh my God, you guys really have no compassion. Chen Chichai spoke calmly, then picked up the chopsticks, picked up some food and put it in his mouth, as if nothing had happened just now. Chapter 68, I can't control myself and remember how many I sent. What a change of heart. I won't even lean on the wall, I'll just lean on Chichai. Okay, stop thinking about acting. You must cut down this tree today, Zhu Jihui said with a smile. Brother Chichai, I'll go help you this afternoon, Su Luo said when she saw Chen Chichai with a bitter face. Good brother, I knew you still love me, Chen Chichai said, blinking his little eyes at Su Luo and constantly raising his eyebrows at Su Luo. Brother, I have a wife. Su Luo leaned towards Yi Xiaomu and said nervously. You're making trouble, I have a wife too. Chen Chichai saw Su Luo's expression and the other people's faces changed drastically. He hurriedly explained. Brother Chichai, my sister-in-law has a miserable life, Su Luo said seriously. She's fine, it's just that taking care of the child is a bit hard, Chen Chichai explained seriously. Puchai, Yi Xiaomu couldn't help but grabbed Su Luo's hand and laughed. Chen Chichai looked at Yi Xiaomu in confusion, then looked at the others who were trying to hold back their laughter. I ha ha ha, Chen Chichai reacted as soon as he opened his mouth. He was so stupid that he cried. People were teasing him about his sexual orientation, but he responded with a serious face. Chen Chichai experiences his biggest sexual crisis. No, it should be Chichai's IQ that suddenly went offline today. It's causing trouble, I feel so stupid, Chen Chichai said helplessly. Get rid of that feeling, Zhu Jai said, suppressing his smile. Ah, are you all so naughty? Chen Chichai was helpless. He usually bullied others, but why was he always bullied and teased today? Hey, don't say anything, I was wrong, I surrender. Chen Chichai looked at Zhu Jai, who was about to speak, and immediately put his hands together and begged for mercy. Soon everyone finished their meal. Brother Chichai, let's go chop down some trees, Su Luo said. After eating, I just want to lie down. Chen Chichai leaned back in the chair and said lazily. Then I'll go first. Brother Chichai, you take a rest before going. Su Luo looked at Chen Chichai and said with a smile. Okay, Chen Chichai waved his hand, stood up and walked towards his room. Brother Jai, Brother Joe, you should also go and have a rest. Su Luo smiled. Okay, thank you for your hard work, Su Luo. Zhou Yang is a bit older after all, although not very old. However, due to the hidden injuries he suffered during previous filming, his body was not in very good health. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products. Data type equals 1, data value equals 1930. /TT keyword add watching Zhou Yang and his wife and Zhu Jai and his wife walked back into the room. Su Luo turned to look at Yi Xiaomu. Xiaomu, I'll take you back to your room so you can take a rest at noon. Su Luo stretched out her right hand as she spoke. Yeah, Yi Xiaomu held Su Luo's hand, smiled, narrowed his eyes, and nodded. After returning to the room, Su Luo covered the camera with a towel and prepared to leave. Liu, wait a minute. Yi Xiaomu called Su Luo and then ran into the bathroom quickly. Not long after, Yi Xiaomu took a cosmetic bottle in her hand and sprayed it at Su Luo. What is this? It smells nice. Su Luo sniffed the scent in the air and spoke. Sunscreen spray. Although it's not hot now, the sun is still very strong, Yi Xiaomu said seriously. By the way, don't move. Then he ran to the wardrobe. Don't run so fast, take care of yourself. Su Luo saw her look and reminded her. I know, put this on. Yi Xiaomu nodded with a smile, holding the sun hat in his hand and put it on Su Luo's head. Then I'll go. Su Luo looked at Yi Xiaomu with a smile and spoke when she was about to blush. Yi Xiaomu quickly moved close to Su Luo, stood on tiptoe and kissed Su Luo on the cheek. You go quickly, I'm going to sleep for a while. After Yi Zairamu said this, he gently took Su Luo's hand and walked out. Okay, go to sleep, I'm leaving. Su Luo smiled as she watched Yi Zairamu walk back to the bedroom. Su Luo took an axe from the kitchen tools, as well as some other tools such as saws. There was also a carving knife. Su Luo didn't expect there was such a thing in the kitchen. Yes, he was going to make something for Yi Zairamu. Although the mission was successful this morning, the other two people failed, so they would give the gifts to their wives. By then, Yi Zairamu would probably feel a little disappointed. After all, among the three couples, she was the only one who did not receive a gift. So when others receive gifts, if Yi Zairamu can also receive a gift, then she will definitely be happy. Thinking of this, Su Luo carried the axe and walked into the woods. This kind of tree is old and cannot be cut down. Su Luo picked trees as she walked. These are pretty good.